Washington Township High School has named Leslie Kaiser the coolest teacher of the year. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Leslie to our program. Hi, Leslie.
Hi.
Congratulations.
Oh, merci. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, you're a French teacher.
Yes.
Now, see, how do I say?
Félicitations.
Is that you're welcome?
Yeah, félicitations. That was actually very good pronunciation.
Thank you. Merci beaucoup. That's félicitations is congratulations.
Oh, how do you say you're welcome? I don't know that.
De rien.
Dorian?
De rien. Ask her. She's better at it
Yeah,
than I
right?
am.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think I have anything left to teach you.
Leslie, how long have you been teaching French?
So I've actually been teaching for about 14 years, but this is like my 5th year in Washington Township.
Fifth year in Washington Township, and yet you dominated. You destroyed all the other teachers, and you're the favorite. And you're actually, as Preston pointed out earlier, the first foreign language teacher of this cycle. What do you think makes you so popular with the students?
I don't know. I mean, I am pretty awesome, I have to say.
You are pretty awesome.
No, they're wonderful. I'm so thankful I have the most amazing students in the school. I mean, they are really, really top notch. So I am very thankful that they voted for me, and that is just very sweet.
Leslie, foreign languages, very difficult thing for some people to pick up on. How do you get a breakthrough with it with somebody who's having difficulty with learning a new language? Are there any tricks that you can use?
Absolutely. I mean, I agree. It can be very difficult. You know, it's not always everyone's bag to learn a new language, but I think if you can interest every person with something that relates to them, or kind of have targeted themes where people can, everybody likes to talk about themselves. I think you can win everybody over and kind of get them talking about themselves in a way that's relevant and meaningful to them, even in another language.
Do you put any stock in the newer ways of teaching languages like a Rosetta Stone and stuff like that, or is just the old school methodology still the best?
Well, I think there's many ways you can learn a language. I mean, I was really lucky in the fact that, I grew up, my dad literally was from France. So, I mean, I kind of had an advantage there. But, obviously going to the country is going to be the best possible thing you can do to just immerse yourself. But I think, a lot of my students love using a lot of the apps like Duolingo. And I think any way that you're interacting with a language that is relevant and meaningful to you and you're learning, that's awesome.
All right, so how often does this happen? You grow up in a household where you know the language. You go to high school, you take that class as an easy A. Leslie, you did that, didn't you?
Well, I have to say, I'm also an alma mater of Washington Township, so I was really lucky.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, look at you divert the question here. I asked you if you already knew French and you took that as an easy A.
It was not that easy because there's still a lot of grammar. I mean, you can speak French and still have to learn all the grammar.
Okay. All right. Let's just say it was an easy B+.
I mean, you can speak English and fail an English class,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Way to have her back, Nick.
Yeah, I got you.
I like it.
You French people all stick together.
Yeah, that's right.
Leslie, on behalf of the students, we're going to give you a couple things. Our sponsor, Dunkin', and by the way, it's National Donut Day today. We're going to give you a $50 Dunkin' gift card. Ooh la la. They do have things like croissants there. You can have and we're also going to give you the big prize, which is the Presidency Coolest Teacher of the Year coffee mug. And that's just to represent what the students think of you. So we hope you enjoy that, Leslie.
I've been looking forward to it. I can't wait.
Well, have yourself a great summer, and thank you so much for doing what you do, okay?
Merci, and thank you to all my students.
Excellent. All right, Leslie Kaiser, guys.
I love that.
A cool teacher, and our last one of the year. We'll do it again next year, and thanks to everybody. We wish we could do every single school. We just don't have enough time. This is just our acknowledgement of people who work really, really hard and are, really want our future to be bright and educated
and French.
And we appreciate what you do. So thank you very much. All right, to the entertainment stories. We're going to go there. Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds have teamed up as co-owners of the rebranded Bonds Flying Ruse Sail GP team. Alongside sailor Tom Slingsby.
So this is a sailing team?
I believe, I didn't look into this, and I assume it's, this is because they talk about, having these competitions and all this stuff.
Right.
So According to a joint statement, they said, "We're incredibly excited to set sail together in this new adventure. Apologies in advance to Australia." Hugh brings a deep love for a pride in his home. This is according to Ryan Reynolds. Pride in his home country, as well as being an avid fan of sailing. And he will also be bringing his overly clingy, emotional support human along for the ride. Yeah.
So if you stop and think about it, yeah, great song case. If you think Ryan Reynolds now has ownership of an actual auto racing team, right, and now a sailing team as well.
Yep. The Flying Roos will compete at the upcoming Sail Grand Prix in New York, where Slingsby leads with a record 3 championships. So they got a good shot at it. Yeah,
you know, I did a little bit of sailing when I had the opportunity when we were into boats. I'm too dumb. I'm too dumb to know what pulling the wrong ropes and all that stuff. I'm
I'd like to
Owen
do it.
Wilson in Wedding Crashers.
It's a kind of a light bucket list thing for me. To just have and here's the deal. I get motion sickness, but I want to know how to do it. I think it's an interesting skill.
It is, and when it's so, it was a friend's boat that I was kind of dabbling with, and it was very cool. And what's sort of wonderful is that it's quiet. The wind is. I mean, you're hearing the rattling of stuff on the boat, but it's still, it's just really peaceful.
My brother's a good sailor, Steve, and he learned actually at the camp that Marissa and I went to, and my son went to, called Camp Taco. It's on the Chesapeake Bay, and they have a sailing camp that's down there as well. It's called Tikwa, and it's really reassuring to be on the boat with him because he knows exactly what he's doing.
Good.
And I don't, and so to your point, like, but that's how his brain works. He's able to process that stuff, and like he likes having those tasks in front of him. And because of that, he's a really good sailor.
I think when I would leave the dock, I would immediately issue a Mayday just to cover my ass.
Just to cover it. All right, Benicio del Toro had a run-in with TSA that was more comedy than crisis. While flying from Boston to Los Angeles, the actor told Seth Meyers on Late Night that he got flagged at security because of his carry-on. It was a film script for Wes Anderson's The Phoenician Scheme, and it was printed in huge font. And Benicio said that he likes to make the headings bigger so that he says he can get to it real quick. But that was ultimately his downfall because he said the opening scene is called Interior Airplane Bomb.
Oh, wow.
Followed by Interior Cockpit Eject the Pilot, and then Crash. So not exactly light reading for airport security. Despite explaining that it was a movie script, the TSA officer wasn't convinced and called for backup. He said 5 TSA guys come over and they hover around the script until a supervisor who may have recognized him ended up letting him pass. Still, he gave props to the worker. He said, "I give that guy a thumbs up because he was paying attention."
Yeah. I mean, if you're carrying that through, I would be alerted to that.
Yeah. So they were very thorough. Now, another interesting encounter: Ellen Pompeo. She's a TV icon, but her travel habits are refreshingly relatable, minus the run-in with a bomb squad. In a recent travel and leisure chat, the Grey's Anatomy star shared that she always packs the usual stuff. She said mints, water, hand sanitizer, glasses, baby wipes, stuff like that in her carry-on. But a flight in March took a turn when the TSA flagged her. After being held by security, the actress couldn't believe her luxury Erewhon organic sunflower seeds. She said that were probably the most expensive sunflower seeds money can buy were the culprit. She said they literally held me for an hour, and they brought the bomb squad in. And the issue, apparently, she said, most likely a chemical on the packaging.
Yeah. That's pretty wild. You know, they had that story just recently about that the Chinese national was coming in, and there was kind of like scrunched up napkins, and inside the napkins were this fungus that they were, they thought they were planning, or it looked like they were planning to use them for nefarious reasons. Really? But yeah, they picked up on it. They caught it. Yeah.
Ellen even tried to throw them away, but instead had to wait for the bomb squad's assessment while texting her publicist. She said, "I might not get on the plane, and you're never going to guess why." Thankfully, she made her flight, but the seeds didn't make it. So I believe this is one of those things where, they do the swab and they come back and see if there's any, bomb-making materials or anything along those lines.
Have you ever gotten your luggage back and found like powder residue or things on it? I have once or twice, and I don't know what that's for, but I assume that's part of the screening process, or they just like to do blow on my luggage.
Never seen that. Tom Felton is heading back to Hogwarts, but this time on Broadway. The actor best known for playing Draco Malfoy in all 8 Harry Potter films, will reprise the role in Harry Potter and the Cursed Child starting on November 11th at the Lyric Theater. It'll be his first time playing Draco in nearly 15 years and his official Broadway debut. He shared saying, "It's surreal to be stepping back into his shoes and, of course, his iconic platinum blonde hair." He noted that when I begin performances this fall, I'll also be the exact age that Draco is in the play.
Wow.
Making it a full circle moment for him.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And it's his fictional father's birthday today.
Oh, yes. Jason Isaacs. You're right.
I've never seen Cursed Child, and I've heard mixed reviews on it. I want to. I think it would help sort of complete the Harry Potter. I've seen all like the prequels, the Newt Scamander things, but I would love to see this. I'm just not a Broadway guy as much as Casey is, but I don't know. I would definitely check it out.
You can get tickets starting June 12th. The play boasts 5 Tony Awards, including Best Play, and is sure to feel even more magical with Tom Felton joining the cast.
So he's played a prick so much, but the word is he's like the nicest guy.
Yeah.
He's one of those actors that just knows how to do it.
Yep.
How long did you say that run was going to be?
19
I threw it away.
19 weeks.
19 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's a good stretch.
Yeah.
Yep. So weeks after Cheer star George Wendt's death, the Los Angeles County Department of Public Health has shared how he died. And according to his death certificate, his immediate cause of death was cardiac arrest with congestive heart failure, coronary artery disease, and hypertension listed as underlying causes.
It's kind of what you would have assumed because he's always been overweight.
Yeah. Also, they list significant contributing conditions, including end-stage renal disease and kidney failure. So sad news. He passed away in his sleep. He was at home and he was in bed. So, not a horrible, drawn-out ending for him.
I think we all would, you want to go that way.
So he was 76 years old, of course. Tom Cruise earned a Guinness World Record for performing 16 burning parachute jumps during the filming of Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning.
16.
Each jump involved his parachute being set on fire midair as part of a high-risk plane sequence. He shared while talking about the stunt in a video posted online saying, "If this is twisted while it's burning, I'm going to be spinning and burnt. I have to kick out of the twist and then ignite in 10 seconds.
No.
The film is thought to be Cruise's final appearance as Ethan Hunt. When asked if he's truly leaving, Cruise remained vague, saying, "I'd rather just people see it and enjoy. The culmination has come to this moment right now."
Hey, the series is supposed to carry on with his brother Michael Hunt.
Oh, wow. You can only hope so.
Yeah.
The movie debuted over the Memorial Day weekend, earning a franchise best $200 million opening around the world. Its global box office total has reached $360 million so far and continues to climb. So get ready to let it go all over again. Frozen the Musical is headed to Disney Plus on June 20th. The filmed version of the West End production brings the magic of London's theater straight to your screen. The cast is stacked with Samantha Barks as Elsa and Laura Dawkes as Anna, plus Jimmy Kasongo, Craig Gallivan, and Oliver Ormondson.
Jimmy.
I'm sorry, I didn't have that turned up.
Jimmy.
Yeah. Rounding out the leads. With the music by original film songwriters Kristen Anderson Lopez and Robert Lopez and book by Jennifer Lee, the show stays true to the heart of the Disney hit. And fans will definitely feel the magic. In addition to 12 new original songs.
12?
Yeah, there's more Frozen
Jesus.
to love than ever. So, it's a longer.
It's a long one. I remember seeing clips of wherever it debuted, and they employ a lot of stage effects that are pretty damn impressive.
Awesome.
Like that whole freezing her environment.
Yeah,
sequence.
making the palace or whatever.
That's pretty wild to watch.
Yeah, they're getting better at that stuff on stage because the Stranger Things adaptation in New York is apparently getting great reviews for it. Mainly its effects. Like they're blowing people away. So got to get up and see that. MGM Plus just teased The Institute, its upcoming thriller based on Stephen King's 2019 novel.
Did you read it?
I did. I didn't love it, but a friend of mine who is also a King fanatic, he loved it.
Oh, all right.
So sometimes the book speaks to you, and it doesn't speak to other people, and that's kind of the way it is. It's an interesting story. It's freaky, for sure.
It's about the Just Saying Institute, correct?
It is about the Just Saying Institute, yeah. No, Steve, it actually has...
From Stephen King.
It's an interesting. Well, I'll read the synopsis and I'll give you a little bit of my take on it. So, the streamer's first look photos gave fans a sneak peek of Mary Louise Parker as the Evil Institute director Julia Sigsbee, and Joe Freeman's teen genius character Luke Ellis strapped down in a chair. The 8-episode series centers on Luke, who is kidnapped and taken to the Institute, a creepy facility filled with other kids who also have strange powers.
King loves using those, like the Institute in Firestarter.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
So that's called The Shop.
Right.
And that pops up in a few different books, and the Institute feels like The Shop.
Like that, yeah.
So it's kind of like that. Elsewhere, Ben Barnes plays a former cop trying to start over, but that's too bad, as his path will eventually intertwine with the teen prisoner. The show is set to stream on MGM Plus, and that will be on July 13th. So, but there have been stories that have been just kind of okay, and then the shows and the movies end up making it really cool. So maybe that'll end up happening. We'll find out. CNN will air a live, commercial-free broadcast of the Broadway play Good Night and Good Luck tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern, a first for live Broadway telecast. The play, starring George Clooney, tells the story of CBS journalist Edward R. Murrow confronting Senator Joseph McCarthy's tactics. Anderson Cooper and Pamela Brown will lead special coverage, with Brown reporting live outside the Winter Garden Theater before the show. After the performance, Cooper will host a live panel discussion, Good Night and Good Luck, Truth and Power, with journalism students in the audience. Scott Pelley will reflect on Murrow's legacy, and a post-show panel includes notable voices such as Jorge Ramos, Connie Chung, Kara Swisher, and Walter Isaacson. And Cooper will also interview Marvin Kalb, who is one of the last reporters hired by Edward R. Murrow.
Wild. So C-SPAN's trying to compete. They are running Revenge of the Nerds with a chat session afterwards.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little booger breakdown.
Tom Brokaw is going to interview the existing cast.
Nice.
So, as Booger, were those real boogers?
All right, let's get to this case. This movie's opening this weekend, so yeah. All right, opening this weekend, Ballerina, action-adventure starring Ana de Armas, Keanu Reeves, and Ian McShane. Taking place during the events of John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum, the film follows Eve Maccaro, who is beginning her training in the assassin traditions of the Ruska Roma. Running time, 2 hours, 5 minutes. Long's rated R, wide theater release, and Rotten Tomatoes gives it a 74%.
So I got the breakdown on this.
Yes.
And basically, the female components of this world, whereas John Wick and his ilk are straight-up assassins, the ballerina and the ballerina characters or whatever league it is, their job is to rescue. Oh. So they're sent to rescue people, whereas John Wick and his ilk are sent to terminate people.
Alrighty. Then the movie I'm looking forward to seeing this weekend, The Life of Chuck. It's a drama, sci-fi, fantasy. It stars Tom Hiddleston, Chiwetel Ejiofor, and Karen Gilliam. Charles Chuck Krantz experiences the wonder of love, the heartbreak of loss, and the multitudes contained in all of us. It's an hour and 50 minutes long. It is rated R. And a wide theater release with Rotten Tomatoes score coming in at 83%. It's really getting some good reviews, so I'm excited to see that.
You're seeing that today?
I will see it tomorrow, most likely. Yeah. The Phoenician Scheme is also opening. Comedy, action, crime, and it stars Benicio del Toro, Mia Thrillpatton, and Michael Cera. It's a story of a family and a family business. Simply put, a movie about things. It's an hour and 41 minutes long, rated PG-13, wide theater release. Rotten Tomatoes score is at 78%. And then finally, Dangerous Animals opens. It's a horror, mystery, and thriller. It stars Hassie Harrison, Josh Houston, and Jai Courtney. When Zephyr, a rebellious surfer, is abducted by a shark-obsessed serial killer and held captive on his boat, she must figure out how to escape before he carries out a ritualistic feeding to the sharks below. It's an hour and 37 minutes long, rated R, wide theater release, and Rotten Tomatoes score at 84%. So all the movies this week getting pretty good reviews, so that's solid. All right, let's get to the clips. Over 7 seasons of Mama June from Not to Hot.
Great show.
The infamous matriarch has lost 300 pounds, been arrested for drug charges, and caused endless family drama. And in this clip, daughter Aliana Honey Boo Boo Thompson talks about how that has molded her.
Yeah, I tell myself all the time, like, I would never do anything. Like, I just could not imagine myself being where my mama was. I would never. I think in a way it was kind of good to see my mom like that, just so like I know I'd never, ever want to be like that.
Shut the up, huh?
New episode of Mama June from Not to Hot airs tonight on WeTV. Here's our next clip. Stick follows a washed-up golfer who focuses on a rising young star in the game to turn things around. And in this clip, Owen Wilson talks about how starring in the show has affected his game.
I don't know if I'm a pro, but I have gotten a lot better. And that's an accomplishment because when I started, golf just seemed like, Mount Everest to me. It was like, I just felt like I just do not have an aptitude for this game. But I've slowly but surely, been learning it.
First 3 episodes of Stick are streaming now on Apple TV.
You going to check it out?
Absolutely. Yeah, without question. That's my game, and I like Owen Wilson, too. All right, that's your entertainment report, folks. We got stuff to get to today, so we will take a break. We're going to have a guest on the program at Helium Comedy Club. Corey B. is going to be stopping in today. We'll give away our Word of the Week prize. We'll do, the Connoisseur, our Friday things. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. Sun is shining, so enjoy this. We'll be hanging out together today. Is the only way to do it.
She's a lunatic.
I actually didn't even know you could cook an egg in
Yeah, you can do it, but it turns out
it's gross, right?
Yeah, come on. You don't get a soft center on the yolk. You get a kind of hard, almost a boiled type of thing.
I mean, even I can do an egg in a skillet. Come on.
Hang on a second here. This one says, not exactly cooking. This is a text. It says, not exactly cooking, but my mom cuts pizza with scissors.
Oh,
I've heard
no,
of
I've
that.
heard
I
that
have
too.
heard of that. Yes.
I've seen it too.
Oh my God.
I worked for a family who owned a pizza shop. They owned a very successful, still successful pizza shop down the shore. And when their kids were little, they would bring the pizza home for dinner and they would cut it up into like little pieces for a baby, but they would do it with the scissors.
Okay.
Do you do the same thing we do? So with our deli meat, we'll use hole punches and put them into a binder.
A 3-ring binder? Mm-hmm. I haven't tried that, but that's awfully efficient. Saves some.
Where's the liverwurst book?
Marissa?
I feel like the scissor things comes from Italy. Like when you're in Rome, they have these long pizzas and they cut them with scissors.
Okay.
Do you
So
think
that's maybe where that comes
I
from.
don't know.
on that note, do you think that pizza tastes slightly different if you eat it with a knife and a fork than
Yeah, it's not as
Tastes
good.
different? No.
yeah?
I mean, it's a different
No,
eating experience, but I don't think it tastes different.
I think
know, but,
psychologically-
like the bite and the.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I don't. Preston's probably right. No, it's not
No,
going to taste different.
there can't be any change in the taste, but yet I perceive one.
It kind of feels like it is. Yeah.
All right, so a few more examples. We'll go to some phone calls if you guys have them. How about this one? I love this. One of my relatives deep fries things and then puts them in the air fryer to make them, quote, less oily.
Wait.
That is absolutely
And then
ridiculous.
Then they go on and say, and then there's my aunt who buys takeaway fried chicken, fries it again at home just before serving it to her guests. She says the outside is too dry and not oily enough.
Oh my God.
Okay.
So she refries fried chicken.
Did everyone have a heart attack?
Is everybody good?
Oh, that is the best. This one says, once we watched my wife's grandma dice an onion by slicing rounds with the peel still on, like you do for burgers. She would peel each slice one by one and then finally chop it all with a steak knife.
Huh.
So that's way off. I watch people dicing onions.
I need help.
And I sip. Oh, Casey, I'll give you the full
Please do.
tutorial. It is so easy to do.
I do not know how to cut an onion.
Really?
Not properly.
There's a process.
Well,
Okay.
can
And
you
you
give us a quick verbal tutorial?
I would. Okay, so you cut off the base, the bulb end,
right.
and then you cut off the top. You turn it sideways, lie it on one of the flat ends. You cut it in half. You take the peel, the outside layer off. Then you flip it back over on the flat edge like this.
where it's like round and
No, on the flat side.
on the
Okay,
flat edge where it
yeah.
lies now. And then, Casey, so here's the onion. It's like an arc this way, okay?
Correct.
Then you slice it 3 times this way.
Okay.
And you slice it 3 times this way. and then you go boom, 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 and it's all chopped up.
Are you a fan of chopping devices?
No.
A lot of chefs say no to those, right?
No, you don't need. It takes up room in the kitchen, and all you need is a knife. But what you do need to know are the proper techniques, and all you have to do is learn them once, and you got them.
So at some point, I'd seen a YouTube video that described how to cut a pineapple, Preston, and we had a fresh pineapple in the house. I think I misremembered how to cut that pineapple.
Oh, really?
Because it's that main part in the middle, the stem, the core of it. And I cut that off.
Yeah.
And I cut the outer layer, the prickly part off. And I was cutting what I thought was correct, and yet that part of the core. Do you do
still
core?
solid?
Yeah,
hard?
still solid. Or was that just me not cut? Was that me cutting it too soon?
I didn't cut it all out.
All right.
I mean, you need to cut it into quarters and then just slice the. There'll be like a wedge, and that sharp part of the wedge is the core, and then you just cut it off that.
I
way.
effed it up.
Then you're good to go.
Steve, I hate to bring it back to this, but
no.
A listener texted this in, so thank you, random listener. Apparently, in the movie Cobra, starring Sylvester Stallone,
We're watching the video.
he uses scissors to cut pizza.
He's eating cold pizza.
Hey, pizza.
And he cuts it with scissors.
You're the pizza, I'm the scissors.
That's where that whole thing with that cult. They were scissor. They were pizza.
They cut their pizza with scissors.
No, they cut theirs with axes. If you remember.
Clang, clang.
But Casey, I'll. You know what? I could bring in an onion. Maybe you know what? Maybe we'll do a demo day for the Connoisseur sometime.
Thank you for calling Cobra's Pizza.
We'll show you a couple things. He's got a pizza shop now.
Slices.
Would that be like a version of show and tell?
All of the drivers wear mirror shades
Absolutely.
and have a matchstick in their mouth.
Yeah. You hungry or what?
Yeah.
And actually, the pizza is put in a barber's chair, Preston, and then he walks around.
All right, here's some other things that people do, interesting ways they cook things at their home, questionable ways. Here's another entry that says, my mom said that cooking the turkey on Thanksgiving Day was too much work when you're hosting, too. So she would cook the bird weeks in advance, carve it, and then freeze it.
You might as well. No.
May as well just go to the deli and buy turkey that way. It's not part of the, Thanksgiving experience that way.
I'm getting the borderline criminal aspect of this whole thing.
But also,
that's just the whole purpose is to have that fresh turkey.
Listen, I cooked a turkey for the first time in my life. Like, I did it on
This Thanksgiving just passed, right?
And I did a great job. Dude, it's not that much work.
No.
You prepare the beginning, right? You do that in the morning, you stick it in the oven, and then you got the rest of the day to do everything else. Like, it's really not that difficult.
Agreed. I like this one a lot. It says, my family calls every small grain-like food in large quantities rice.
Wait, what?
Quinoa, that's rice. Couscous, that's rice too.
Couscous.
So
I love couscous.
they just call it rice.
By the way, couscous is like 1,000% superior than quinoa.
I am I'm a quinoa fan.
I'm not saying I don't
totally
like
different.
quinoa.
It's completely different.
It's better. I mean, if you're going
It's like
for
pudding is the best version of steak.
But that's like saying you like pasta better than rice.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I think it's more like saying you like risotto better than rice.
And milk duds.
No, so, couscous is a pasta, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Quinoa is a grain, I believe.
I believe you're correct.
So they're two different things. So,
Okay.
so rice and risotto are both grains.
Your quinoa's in my couscous.
Couscous is in my quinoa. I kind of liken them to be almost the same thing, even though they're not.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, so you're like these guys.
Yeah.
All right, so here's another one that says, my mother-in-law proudly makes this one very specific chunky salsa, and it has raw diced carrots in it. I have no idea where she got that recipe from, but it's bland, it's watery, and way too crunchy.
I had carrots in a salsa one time, and
Were they raw?
Yeah, chopped.
Okay.
Raw carrots, and when I saw it, I was like, "No, this is going to be terrible." It wasn't bad, and I don't know why it was done. Like maybe for nutrition reasons or whatever. I was not completely turned off by it.
Do you know what? I pretty much hate carrots. I don't hate, but I find them bland. And the only
Yes.
thing, but however, I love carrot cake.
Yeah, well, that's not.
Yeah.
That's not really carrots.
Now, are you talking about
There are carrots diced up in it.
just are you talking about like raw carrots,
Yeah,
or do you
steamed
like
carrots.
them
Nah, baby carrot. I'm not a big
roasted?
fan. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe we need to roast some for you in some good olive oil.
I love carrots.
I
yeah.
do too.
Any
I
form.
could eat them with every meal. Yep. So let's go to some phone calls. I want to go to Frank. We're talking about questionable way things people prepare things in their kitchen at home. Hi, Frank. Good morning.
Good morning, bitches.
Good morning. What's up, buddy?
All right, this infuriates me, and I'm about to ruin everybody's morning. My fiance's aunt, she prepares soup separately, as in if she made chicken noodle soup, there's chicken in one pot, broth in one pot, noodles in one pot, and then vegetables in another pot. That's not how you make soup. That's not how you make soup.
So she makes them all separately?
The reason for it is so that you get individual flavors of everything. No.
Frank, I feel your passion. Absolutely, because the big thing about soup is all those ingredients together blend, and they spend time together.
Yeah.
The longer you let soup sit like that, the better it tastes.
That's insane.
That's crazy, Frank. Have you ever confronted her on this?
Yes, and she's big and mean and Italian. I don't know.
Frank, that's insane. Does she do, like, when she makes a cake, does she prepare the separate ingredients separately?
Right, it's like taco night, but with soup. So you just walk up and then you just put everything into your bowl. And
That's kind of funny.
Yum, yum. I'm really happy to be married into this family. I can't take it.
All right, Frank, good luck to you, sir. Thank you for the call. We appreciate it. Oh, my God.
That's crazy, man.
That's too funny. So here's another one that says, once we watched my wife's grandma dice an onion by... Oh, wait, I already said that one. Never mind. There was another onion one coming up a little bit later on. This one says, I... brought my mom and a niece to a nice restaurant in Boston and interpreted the menu for them. It was in Spanish, and I could make out most of it, and we played it safe considering their plates, but also ordered a few things for them to try. Adventure in food and culture is important for my kids. My mom screamed, "Ooh, gross," like a child in the middle of the crowded dining room, all because I said that there were anchovies in the Caesar salad as they brought it out to the table.
Isn't that a standard part of Caesar salad?
Yeah,
anchovies?
The dressing is made
right.
with anchovies, but she probably didn't know that. She got a little freaked out by that whole thing.
Ooh, there's carrots in this carrot cake.
Right. All right, let me go to Adam. Hey, Adam, good morning.
Morning, guys.
What's up, Adam?
My fiance's mother will put whole chicken breast into the oven with like an inch worth of olive oil and no seasoning and just let it cook in there for like an hour.
Wow.
My fiance suggested that I learn this recipe.
What's to learn?
Wait, let me take notes.
Yeah. So, Preston, would there be any reason to prepare chicken that way?
If you maybe were going to add it to something else, but they just eat it like that, Adam?
It's the weirdest thing that I've ever seen. They pull it out of the oven, they cut it up, and they're like, "Oh yeah, it looks great." I'm looking at them like, did she forget to put like salt, pepper, like any kind of seasoning on this thing? I came home from work one night and it was just sitting there on the counter. I'm like, yes.
Are they treating it like Preston, like focaccia bread, where you're dipping it in the...
Everybody just takes a piece and then they
dips it in the olive oil?
Oh, man. That's super duper bland. Thanks, Adam. I appreciate it. Yeah, you would do that if you're going to add it to something else, maybe. But even then, you at least want to give it a little bit of salt and pepper, you know? Something in there. Let's see here. This one says, my mother-in-law... These are
all mother-in-laws.
Questionable ways that they prepare things in their kitchen. My mother-in-law cuts every single vegetable up with a paring knife. Now, a paring knife is really small.
Yes.
She said it's horrible watching her struggle to cut large items like potatoes and onions. But she just sits there and insists that a small knife makes it go faster.
Yes.
But then again, he says she also boils chicken in water in the microwave and eats it too. Boy, that's about as bland as you can get too.
So smaller tools will make the job go quicker. So like a really tiny lawnmower.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Try that.
Yeah.
It'll speed things up.
I'm gonna
quite
cut
a
my
bit.
time in half.
No. You need a nice big knife.
No, I'm gonna dig out this pool with a spoon
for some things. And by the way, always sharpen your knives. I think the rule is a dull knife cuts people. A sharp knife doesn't, because a dull knife won't. You can move.
Jump. Yeah.
It'll skip around and not cut cleanly, and you can cut yourself.
What are your kitchen knives of choice? Are you using the Guy Fieri?
Traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
All right, thank you very much, Marissa. Real quick before we dive into anything, I did see this Eric Simon, our promotions director, who could be the hardest working person here.
Oh my God!
Wanted me to mention this. We have an email newsletter for members of WMMR.com and so on. and it's a chance for you got to check out. It's our Do It for Dad contest. It's a chance to win a $200 Lowe's gift card. So if you're already getting our emails, just look for the latest one in your inbox. Click on the link, register. If you're not signed up yet, it's a great time to do it. You can go to WMMR.com, look for the link, and subscribe under the More tab. The entry deadline is going to be Sunday, June 15th. So there's always something cooking like
but you
that.
don't get bombarded with emails.
No.
They send you stuff out when there's something worth sending.
Yep. So I wanted to pass that along to you. All right. Hey, let's dive into the connoisseur right now. Let's do it.
Well, I got to wait for you to hit the bell, and then I hit the music.
I didn't know we did it at the beginning of the segment. All right.
It's time for the connoisseur. We just followed bell protocol.
Yeah, thank you. We will hit that again. But listen, we're going to have a theme today with the clips because today is National Donut Day.
Yeah.
And by the way, our friends at Dunkin' have brought in, look at all these donuts behind me. Marissa just brought them in. They're WMMR, Preston and Steve, National Donut Day donuts. So thank you to Dunkin' for that. And thank you for our spokesmodel.
Yes,
Marissa
Carol Merrill.
She was totally doing the prices right with that as she came in. But yeah, so they're marking the occasion in the only way that Dunkin' can. Bold, joyful, fueled by donuts and coffee. Guests can enjoy a free donut with any beverage purchase. And it marks a major milestone for the offer 15 years of free donuts on National Donut Day, which is pretty awesome. So stop by and check out your local Dunkin'. Participation may vary. Offer valid today only. Exclusions apply and while supplies last. So rock on. So we will do that with the clips that we will play, and I will get to that in a moment. And we will be giving away Acme gift cards, $50 Acme gift cards. Who is the sponsor of our Connoisseur segment? So I'm going to start with this story. An award-winning restaurant that boasts over a dozen locations across the United States will be closing its only Pennsylvania establishment. Del Frisco's Grill.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Man.
And
like
I've
that
never
place.
been to Del Frisco's.
Oh, yeah, I've been a few times. I really like it. Good steaks.
Isn't that where we went when we sat and had dinner with Eric Lindros?
Yeah.
It was awesome.
No, is that?
There was more than one. So Del Frisco's is the one that has the. There's more than one dinner with Eric. That's how close we are with the guy.
I gotcha.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. I went to the one that was whatever took over the striped bass. Whatever.
So a little clarity here. There is a Del Frisco's on Chestnut Street. That is remaining open. The Del Frisco's Grill is at the Cambria Hotel where we broadcast from for the Super Bowl parade. So it's like a secondary location.
So there's a difference between Del Frisco's and Del Frisco's Grill? Mm-hmm. Okay, so the grill is closing. And Marissa actually...
Eric Lindros would be calling my phone.
I don't even know why I do this segment anymore because Marissa...
she knows it all.
...is the one who does it all.
I'm just here with a little backup information.
There we go.
It's kind of my area of expertise.
Her Delicious City podcast, yeah. Del Frisco's Grill, multi-award-winning American bar and grill that is known for offering elevated handcrafted cocktails and modern menu options, is slated to close its only location in Pennsylvania. According to a notice filed with the Department of Labor and Industry, the Del Frisco's Grill location at 225 South Broad Street in Philadelphia will be closing its doors later this summer.
I find it hard to believe that a restaurant of that caliber, what's the reason?
They don't know. They didn't say. So they have 51 employees, so they're going to be affected.
It sucks.
The closure is set to begin on July 31st, and it will end on August 3rd. So you have time to get there and go have it.
There are a plethora of steakhouses in that area of Philadelphia.
That's true.
Yeah. You got that, Capitol Grill, Steak 48. I don't know if you've tried Steak 48 yet or not.
No.
Oh, wow. That's one of those places where it's almost like you're in a spa. People take care of you from the second you walk in. They're like, hello, Mr.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you're getting the top level treatment.
Yeah.
And do they have a steam room?
Yeah. But I'm like, I'm not that special.
Yeah.
Just
Oh, you must think I'm famous.
They let you go in and sit naked with all the steaks hanging from the walls.
Oh, I love this.
The meat spa.
This is great, right? I'm sitting on a London broil.
Man, I would love to be in a meat spa. What a great idea.
Have you done the meat spa?
According to the Del Frisco's Grill website, the restaurant also has 13 other locations that are scattered across the country in states such as Texas, Massachusetts, Florida, New York, Tennessee, New Jersey, and Colorado. Currently, Del Frisco's Grill in Philadelphia remains open and operational. It is still unknown why Del Frisco's has decided to close its Pennsylvania location.
Yeah, I would be curious to learn because even though you do have high-level steakhouses in that very same area, Case, it has a reputation. I mean, it's got a legend to it.
Yeah.
Hey, and by the way, I'm going to do this from time to time because, we have the fast food roundup, which I told you, I get so many fast food stories, I decided to compile them into one portion. And sometimes I get a lot of local stories as well, like that one.
Yeah.
And I have other stories I want to fit in as well, because usually only do 5 stories for the Connoisseur. So I'm gonna combine another local story in this particular
Are you
segment.
the localizer?
No, I'm not the localizer.
Is this kind of like the City Beat?
No, stop it, please.
Stop it.
All right.
The man's trying to work.
Evil Genius Beer Company celebrates June as Pride Month with the release of the official beer of the Philly Gay Pride Month. It's called Love is Love. And the Pride-themed charity beer returns for the month of June to raise money for the Trevor Project to help at-risk LGBTQIA plus youth. Festivities have started. They started this past Saturday, I believe, with a giant all-day and all-night series of events. No, actually, it's tomorrow. From noon to 7, they're going to be having a Pride block party where Evil Genius will close the street outside the Fishtown Lab and present a full day of live music and entertainment, photo stations, beer release, food and LGBTQ shopping and vendors. And the event is open to the public, and it is family and Fido friendly. After the lab,
what if your dog's not named Fido?
They will present the first ever Pride rave from 8 till midnight. Evil Genius will also celebrate the gay icons of Pride Month, and they'll have music with Pride drag shows in June, celebrating the music of Beyonce, Spice Girls, and Panic at the Disco as well.
Hey, have they ever used U2's Pride in the Name of Love for Pride parades and
That's
stuff?
a good question.
I mean, it just occurred to me, but it kind of fit in pretty well. I mean, I know it's about MLK.
I know. Lyrically, yes, it fits in, but tonally, it's a completely different story, so I don't know.
See it as an opportunity to make more money. And as such, we're glad to apply it to a wholly other cause. Send your checks to Bono.
All right, so let's play a clip. And I said there's a theme, National Donut Day.
Yeah.
See if you know what movie this food clip is from.
I love David Bowie. He is so sexy.
You think the time to make the donuts guy is sexy.
All right, 610-660-9333 is the number. Call if you know. Order up. So Americans have been getting hit hard in the wallet when it comes to buying groceries. Food prices are expected to rise close to 3% overall from tariffs, including 4% for fresh produce. And I have a list of the most overpriced snacks to watch out for. So these are the ones whose prices have increased and are scheduled to increase even more. Potato chips. Your favorite bag of chips has become more expensive lately. 10 years ago, the price of an average 16-ounce bag of chips was $4.27.
You can save some money if you can get your doctor to write a prescription.
As of April, the same bag will cost you $6.61.
I have been off of potato chips for a little while, and if I'm having a hankering for chips, I'll go Pringles. I used to be
You crazy bastard.
I know. But like
you step way out of the box and you go for Pringles.
It's almost like they're not potato chips.
But they...
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
They're crisps.
They're not as greasy as other chips usually. That's part of it. That makes you feel a little bit better about eating them, or at least me personally. But Casey, I've stayed away from chips for a while too. I will sparingly eat a couple here and there, and they'll do it. But as I eat more, I start to feel not right.
There's almost like you can't eat just one.
Yeah.
I think they're chemically designed to do that.
Yeah.
I think they use the same active ingredient as heroin.
Okay.
Do they make Munchos anymore?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I haven't had one of those in a
I
minute.
like Munchos. I am a fan of Munchos. All right, another product, cheese. Cheese. Yeah. So the cost of cheese has jumped 15% in price. The average price of cheese went from, and I guess this is just overall because cheeses range hugely.
Absolutely.
In price. Yeah. Obviously, things like Reggiano and Brie and stuff like that are going to be more expensive. But cheese went from $1.80 to $2.07 per pound for dairy farmers. In addition, there's been a 20% increase in export inquiries, and particularly from Asia. So those prices will continue.
What
to
is a
rise.
good Asian cheese?
I don't even know.
Yeah,
it's a good question, Steve. In eggs, in the world of eggs will increase 39.2% this year, while the May 2025 food price outlook noted egg prices dropped 10.5% over the last couple of months. Prices were nearly 50% higher in April of 2025 compared to a year ago.
Well, that's because eggs are made with cheese.
Yeah. Well, and also the bird flu thing, besides the fact that they're made from cheese.
I mean, if you had chickens, it's not like you would get eggs for free. Like they're
going to charge you.
No, but you have to pay for bird seed or whatever it is
feed.
to keep them. Yeah, feed.
That'll be $6.
I would imagine.
You're not getting a free ride just because I live in your backyard, you prick.
Yeah, I would imagine it works out to be more economical, though. I don't know. But yeah, you have to pay for the upkeep of these animals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
School.
And let's not forget about
chicken
education.
school.
Yeah.
Chicken eds.
I want them educated.
Chicken ed.
Chicken school.
Costs a lot of bucks.
She's in her third year at chicken school right
I'm very
now.
proud of her.
Yeah.
Teacher, can you teach me?
Oh, my. All right. Also going up in
Coolest
price.
chicken teacher.
Oh, my God. Coolest chicken of the year. Oh, my God.
Oh, wow.
We could do
That's
that.
a whole other subject. Yeah.
All right. Girl Scout cookies.
Love them.
They're increasing. In 2023, a box was between $5 and $6, but now it's $7 as a result of inflation and the rising cost of cocoa and other baking supplies.
Were they more expensive in New Jersey than they are in Pennsylvania? I thought.
I have no idea.
Maybe heard that.
I don't know. Chuck sells them or used to sell them out of Jersey.
Yeah.
I
will
don't know.
tell you this: a lot of this stuff, like I don't buy it enough to, see a price increase. It's like like gas.
Yeah.
Like I need Girl Scout cookies, so I buy them.
Yeah. No, this past season, I literally. I didn't buy one box of Girl Scout cookies. I didn't see a Girl Scout outside of my act. I mean, normally I see them.
they're afraid.
Yeah, they were afraid. No, but
That radio guy comes here.
Hey, Casey, just to let you know, they change from state to state. So it's the prices are set by the local Girl Scout council. So they can be more expensive in New Jersey as opposed to PA based on what they set those prices to be.
Okay.
So of the Girl Scout cookies and then the Boy Scouts were popcorn, right? Yeah. I have not seen Boy Scout popcorn stands in like a couple of years.
That's a good point, Steve.
Yeah.
I haven't either. Yeah, that's their main fundraising drive is popcorn. So, wow. All right. Also on this list, crackers and bread. Yes.
Of crackers.
Over the last 5 years, the price of crackers and bread have increased.
Ladies and gentlemen, a mega show tonight. We have cracker and bread.
The prices have increased 36 to 38% higher than in 2025 versus 2020, which is a $7.28 difference in value.
Do you have a cracker broker that you use?
I do not use a cracker broker, but
I've become vis-a-vis cheese.
Yeah.
I have my favorite crackers.
What is it? Do you know?
It's a sesame cracker.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Which I love. And it's
Are they like the water crackers that have sesame seeds on them? Love those. And my favorite one, Steve, is there's one that infuses olive oil and rosemary.
I know where you're going.
Those are my
Oh,
favorites.
yeah. I'm chubbing out.
Yep. So during the first quarter of 2025, Pepperidge Farm cookies, Goldfish crackers,
and crackers
dropped 2% in sales. Food Business News reported. So that's your update on
Boxes of crackers.
Thank you.
Real quick, you guys all right with cracked pepper water crackers?
Yeah.
All right.
In fact, Nick, you pulled up the brand Cars.
Yes.
Those are the ones that I prefer.
There's a
Gary
tiny
Neumann owns that company. Crackers from Cars. Eat crackers from Cars. They're good.
It took me a second.
Breton, I think, is the
other one?
the other brand that I like. Yeah.
I like there's a little bit of kick to the black pepper, cracked pepper ones, And so the plain one, Steve, I'm with you, plain sesame. But if sometimes you need a little bit of level up.
Yep.
Cracked pepper,
Crackers and Cars.
Crackers and Cars.
Crackers from cars. Crackers from cars. They're crackers from cars.
That is a meal, right? Cheese and crackers. Like that?
I have
Okay.
some of my lowest. I can commiserate with the movie Barfly now, and never having really been anywhere near alcohol, where I've walked away from an entire box of crackers and cheese that I've just molested sexually because And that can easily become a meal.
Yeah, Nick, when I went to the graduation party at Preston's house last Friday, I immediately went into the kitchen and I stood around the crackers and cheese.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
Boom, 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 boom.
How often do you employ I'm standing by the counter, so I'm not really eating this method of giving yourself permission?
Count.
Yeah.
I'm just killing some time sitting here eating something. I have no one to talk to, so I'll just sit here and eat for a little while.
Right.
Yeah, no, exactly. I'm
It's
in
your
that.
carte
I'm in that
blanche.
as well. All right. Also, and here's the thing where I think you really get ripped off at grocery stores is, and listen, if you need to do it, if it's a time saver, I totally get it. But pre-cut fruits. Mm-hmm. There's a big difference in price between pre-sliced versus whole fruit. You can get it and cut it yourself. So here's an example. So a whole watermelon at a grocery stores was just as a blanket example, is priced at $3.87, while the package of pre-cut watermelon is $7.97.
Oh.
So that's $4 more. And now someone did the work for you and saved you some time. I know that's sometimes very important, but I like to do that stuff myself.
I had to let my produce cutter go.
Yeah.
He became too expensive. No, I do get the pre-cut watermelon chunks.
Well, that also might be because if you buy a whole watermelon, it's going to go to waste.
Yeah, and that's really it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll make a helmet out of the
the rind.
just for fun.
I kind of have always wanted to do that.
Steve, obviously, I know you're not a drinker, but if you cut a watermelon in half and you pour vodka into the watermelon,
is that a little bit of heaven?
It's like it's terrible for you.
Yeah.
And the vodka gets so diluted so quickly that you have no idea how much you're drinking.
Right.
But you put some ice in there, it's damn good, man.
All right, another thing. Oh, we're looking at a cat with a miniature melon helmet. Oh my God, that's adorable. All right, another thing along the same lines as the pre-cut food, pre-made charcuterie boards.
Oh, yeah.
While there's plenty of pre-made charcuterie board options at the store, you will pay more. It's easy to make one for yourself, and it'll cost way less. Plus, you have more variety. For example, a 12.5-ounce Columbus charcuterie board that includes crackers, meats, cheeses, and olives.
Of crackers.
For around $19, you can buy the same items for around the same price and have way more to serve to your guests if you do the work yourself.
To Nick's point, though, a lot of times, if it's just Claire and myself, we're not going to. We wouldn't need all that extra.
Right.
I love charcuterie boards, but I'm not a fan of the meats that are included.
Oh man,
I know that's sacrilege.
Like
because,
salted meats?
Yeah, I am not a fan.
I missed this when we were in Italy, but my friend Eric, he was ordering a charcuterie board, like a tray of meats, and there was like some sort of, I don't know if they were using the metric system or whatever, but he ended up buying like 5 pounds of meat.
Oh no.
And it was like one of those things he didn't realize until they brought it over to the table. It was like, well, it's too late now.
It's already been cut, dude.
All right, well, those are some of the things that you pay extra for, and the prices on certain items at the store you're going to see over the not too distant future. All right, we have a food clip to play and try to get an answer for what movie this is from.
God, I love David Bowie. He is so sexy.
You think the time to make the donuts guy is sexy.
All right, we're going to go to Michelle, see if she knows the answer to that. Hi, Michelle. Good morning.
Gadzooks, good morning, guys.
Gadzooks, Michelle. All right, can you name that movie?
Wedding Singer.
Wedding Singer.
Oh, good job.
Absolutely correct. Hang on just a second. We are going to give you a $50 Acme Markets gift card. Hungry and in a hurry. Acme's Flash Grocery Delivery or Pickup gets you fresh groceries in 30 minutes or less. Fast, fresh, right to your door. Acme Fresh Foods, local flavors. Let's play another movie clip. Has to do with donuts. It's National Donut Day today. Let's see if you know what this is from.
Let's talk a little bit about desserts. What you don't want to do is eat donuts. No donuts.
Thank you, Arnold. This might be a tough one.
Okay.
This might be a really tough one. Marissa was telling me about it, so we'll see if you know the answer. All right, 610-660-9333. What movie is that from? All right, order up. Hold on. Nope.
I know.
This time, you wait for the bell. All right, this time.
I always wait for the bell.
All right. Order up. There we go.
Quick question, if I may.
Yeah.
What's your favorite flavor Dunkin' Donut?
The cruller. Cruller, and I have two favorites. Cruller and the toasted coconut.
Okay. Chocolate glazed.
Very good.
Yeah.
Straight glaze, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it changes from week to week. All of the ones you said are my favorites.
Except the coconut one.
No, I don't like coconut.
Yeah. Marissa, how about you?
I love the toasted coconut and the cream filled.
All right, There we go. Our favorite donuts. All right, so I'm going to continue on with a sweet treat. Steve sent me this story, and it's all about monkey bread.
Oh, my God. I
The
love
sticky, pull-apart pastry that's typically made from canned biscuit dough. Sugary, cinnamony treat. Despite its seemingly silly name, monkey bread has nothing to do with actual monkeys. So why
disappointing
is this sweet pastry named after primates? Well, we're going to dig into the history of monkey bread.
Monkey!
Starting from the very beginning. Before it became a centerpiece on American tables, the dish was known as something else entirely. Food historians trace its roots to, and I'm going to mess up this pronunciation, Arne Galuska.
Wow.
Arne Galuska, I guess is how you say it. It's a Hungarian dessert that translates into the golden dumpling. And this pull-apart sweet bread
That's a strip club.
Was brought to the U.S. by Hungarian Jewish immigrants in the late 19th century. It was a bakery staple in the immigrant communities, especially in California, for several decades. In the 1970s, Betty Crocker even featured in a cookbook. Yeah, I knew it. Yeah, Betty
Crocker.
Betty Crocker.
I finger blasted Betty Crocker.
Dear God.
Why did you have to do that?
I just had to give you that. I wanted you to go into the weekend with that imagery.
She featured it in a cookbook. The book labeled the sweet dish as Hungarian coffee cake. Eventually, it became known as monkey bread, a name that has stuck around to this day. And thanks to thanks to actress and First Lady Nancy Reagan, who's a big fan of the treat.
Nancy, I don't taste any monkey in this.
Monkey bread made it to the White House Christmas table.
So my introduction, just to jump in here quickly, I became aware of monkey bread as a thing, I'd say 20 years ago. I mean, I'm an old bastard, so that's a long time to be unaware of it. And I fell in love with it. What I do love about, and I assume this is the classic monkey bread style, it's an easy, pullable pieces.
Just little bite-sized little pieces that are all kind of like glumped together.
It's got what I love.
And so Steve, I probably became aware of monkey bread about 30 to 40 years ago on the Ocean City Boardwalk. There's a monkey bread store.
Oh, is there?
It is the best, most tastiest I've ever, and I've made it at home, and it's really, really good that way. But you really need a bundt cake.
I see.
A mold.
I see.
Mold,
It puts me in mind of Mr. Sticky.
So where I became, and I was late to the game too, when Carter was in grade school, he was probably in 4th, 5th grade or whatever, he started making it.
And you'd never heard of it before, right?
No.
Neither did I.
I loved it immediately.
Oh, it's so good.
And it's very simple to make, by the way. So eventually, it became known as monkey bread, and Nancy Reagan and Ronald Reagan loved it. And
there's no monkey in this.
The pastry.
You assume there'd be some blood and viscera.
Maybe some hair.
Some hair.
Yeah.
Something like an orange ass, maybe from an orangutan.
The pastry has continued to evolve. Now there are seemingly countless recipes floating around on the internet for traditional monkey bread, other sweet versions, and even savory spins on the dish. There's no clear answer as to how monkey bread got its name, but like most good mysteries, there are several theories at play. The most common explanation, and this is always what I thought, is that it's named after the way it's eaten with your fingers, pulling apart sticky pieces of dough one by one, much like a monkey might eat something.
That's a mystery.
Some also trace it back to 20th century slang. In the 1940s, monkey food was Southern slang for casual snacks that you could pick at.
Probably the same. So the same reasoning.
That combined with jumble bread, another old-timey term for breads made from small pieces of dough.
I can't taste any jumble in this.
Could have led to monkey bread. Another theory credits a silent film star, Zazu Pitts.
Zazu.
Is it Zazu Pitts?
Yeah.
I don't know who that is. Reportedly used the term in 1945 in a 1945 cooking column after bringing the recipe.
Sorry, dude. I was just clearing my throat. Forgot we were on the air, guys.
Home from Nashville.
Care to fart?
Pitts was known for her lavish Hollywood parties, and apparently her monkey bread was a hit. In the end, monkey bread might just be one of the names that just stuck literally and figuratively. Like the dessert itself, it's a little weird and oddly delightful. So there you go.
Yeah, it is one of those that falls in my dangerous category. If there's one within reach,
Yep.
I'm going to go to town.
Monkey bread history. All right, let's see if we can get a winner.
bad.
That's okay. We'll figure it out. Let's see if we can get a winner.
What's that first time doing this?
People know what this is from. Here we go.
Let's talk a little bit about desserts. What you don't want to do is eat donuts. No donuts.
All right, we're gonna go to John and see if he knows. Hey, John. Morning, bud.
Gadzooks.
Gadzooks. All right. What movie is that from, John?
The movie is Dave.
Dave is correct. Yes.
I remember that sequence.
So Arnold Schwarzenegger makes a cameo in the movie, and you got it right, and we are going to give you a $50 Acme Markets gift card. Hungry and in a hurry. Acme's Flash Grocery Delivery. Pick up, get your fresh groceries in 30 minutes or less. Acme Fresh Foods, local flavors. All right, we have another movie clip to play. Let's see if you know what this is from.
A gesture.
Donuts.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hard one.
Want to play that again?
Yeah, one more time. Listen closely.
A gesture.
Donuts.
Wow, I wonder if anybody will know what that is from. If you do, 610-660-9333. Call now. Oh, wait a minute. Casey, here's what we're going to do now. Hit it for me. Time for the fast food roundup. I've only got 2 stories, but they are from the world of fast food. And the wait is over. McDonald's is bringing back the beloved snack wrap on July 10th, and this time it's sticking around for good. I actually do like the snack wrap. It's easy.
I'm not sure I've ever had a snack wrap.
So I'll describe it. So you can choose between spicy or ranch, both packed with McCrispy chicken strips in a flour tortilla.
I have had it.
Yeah, so you can
it's
snag.
good.
You can say and they're if you just want literally a snack, just a little bit.
Right.
It's something that's small that you can get on the go real quick. If you're driving by Mickey D's and you just need a little bit of something, you can grab that. And I did like those, and they're easy to eat in the car too because they're like a one-hand, excursion into food. So you can snag one solo, or you can go big with the combo, which is 2 wraps, fries, and a drink.
It looks like you have 2 options. It looks like you have one fried option and one grilled option.
I believe that is the case, Steve. Yeah. After nearly a decade of begging, posting, and even petitioning, Snack Rack superfans are finally getting their moment with this.
I need a food I can eat while I'm driving.
Try monkey bread.
Monkey bread.
And then only one other fast food story I saw worth passing along. Wendy's is famous for their Baconator burger.
Yes.
That features their Applewood smoked bacon strips, and several Instagrammers have spotted packaged Wendy's double smoked bacon at a grocery store in Kentucky. Now, it's not clear if it's the same exact bacon that's on the burger, but it claims that it's, quote, restaurant inspired and double smoked, and that it appears that it's now a grocery item available for purchase.
I thought I heard the other day on this very station a Wendy's commercial pitching the bacon.
You did. I heard it too.
And I thought that was like nostalgically cool.
Yeah, I thought so too.
The Baconator is one of the landmark sandwiches.
Yep. The new bacon has garnered tons of comments, with one skeptic saying, I don't understand the point. If it's not the same bacon, why would Wendy's put it out there in the grocery world? And if it is, why peddle the bacon without the burger? Another said the name will sell the product, basically restaurant inspired, is just a gimmick product, and it isn't what they actually use. But other posters have positive comments and were willing to give the bacon a shot. Wendy's has previously offered burger patties and cans of chili in grocery stores, so the Wendy's bacon could be here to stay. So we'll see. Keep an eye out.
I normally don't do bacon burgers because I feel like the bacon is trying to be the star of the show, and
You don't like that.
the burger's fine by itself. But there was a gentleman. I don't know if you guys met this guy the other day, the dude from More Meats.
I did.
Oh, yeah.
He was telling, because I prefer, when I'm making my burgers at home, 80-20. If I could find a 70-30, I would do that. But he recommended getting some bacon while it's still raw.
Yeah.
Puree it up.
Yeah.
And then you insert that, and you mix that up with the ground beef.
He's a wise man.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what Robert Irvine told us years ago.
Yeah.
Not only do that, he said take a hot dog and a slice of bacon and put it in a food processor.
Yeah.
And then you fold that into the burger meat, and it's going to give you a richer flavor. I did it. It tastes great.
Okay.
So you can do that with bacon, absolutely. And it adds that, it gets that pork fat in there.
Yeah.
Which is very, very flavorful.
That was that guy Jake Moore from the Wagyu beef place.
Yes.
You know what he could do is a meat spa.
He could do a meat spa.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
Finally, maybe work with Joseph Anthony.
All right, I'm wondering if we'll get anybody who knows what this movie is from or not. So far, no. I've been told.
We might.
No, he just went like this.
Oh,
he went thumbs
so that's
down.
the
That was
gladiator
Sam
move
with a thumbs down. So I'll play the. This one might be too hard.
Why don't you give the answer and then wait for someone to call in?
Why don't we do a different clip, Marissa? What do you look?
I guarantee that 80% of the audience has seen this movie.
Okay.
I haven't seen
Shut
it.
up. I've never seen it.
Can we give a clue?
They at least, Pamela Anderson.
There you go.
Well, there you go. All right, I'll play this one more time. Let's see if you know.
A gesture.
Ooh, donuts.
All right.
I'm going to write down an answer.
I'd say hardly anyone has seen this movie.
All right, I'm gonna say, and then you tell me, Preston, 1 second. Is it this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not a lot of people have seen that movie.
I know. But it's all good. Marissa finds these clips, and usually somebody knows. But this is a tough one.
Well,
right?
you think of all those movies in the Pam Anderson library, you'll probably end up with it.
Yeah.
We're also running low on movies, guys.
Yes.
Are we?
We've been doing this for like a year, 5 clips.
Oh, we've been doing it for more than a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of
3 years.
clips.
No, I know, definitely.
My
But
brother had the poster on his wall. Maybe I just thought everyone has seen
No,
it. Maybe
no.
everyone just had the posters.
the thing that I realized
about
why I thought this might be sustainable is in any movie you ever watch, at some point,
Right.
somebody says something about food, or food or drink. In almost any film, even if it's as simple as water or whatever. So I think we can still mine some movies.
There's a lot. There's I'm sorry to cut you off, Nick. There's a lot. There's just sometimes a clip when you think something is mentioned, when you isolate it, it's kind of like mumbled or quiet or not
it's
as
not
excited as highlighted.
indicative of the movie, right?
Yeah. Have it stalled long enough?
Is it this movie?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, yeah. I wish I hadn't seen this movie.
You saw it?
I've seen it, yeah. It's fairly terrible.
Yeah, it looked pretty bad.
There's a diner scene in the Last Temptation of Christ, if you want to.
A diner scene?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I don't know. Do I have the open face? That was the Last Temptation.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see if someone knows, but Sam is still going through. Yeah, actually. All right, we're gonna go to Sam. Not Sam in the other room. Sam on the phone. Hi, Sam. Or no, it's Scott. Hey, Scott. Good morning, Scott.
I just dropped my son Sam off at school. That's perfect.
Oh, perfect.
There we go.
All right, Scott.
Circle of life.
Tell everybody the movie.
That was barbed wire.
Exactly. You got it. Hang on a second, and we'll get your info. We'll give you that $50 Acme Markets gift card. Acme's flash grocery delivery pickup or gets you fresh groceries in 30 minutes or less. All right, let's tee up another clip. This has to do with donuts. Let's see if we can get this one.
Now, if you'll just sign here, flattery will not distract Miss Turnblad's agent from reading the fine print. Her agent? Tracy, eat your donuts. Let's talk.
All right, 610-660-9333. Let's see if you know. Order up. All right. Thought this was kind of interesting. I'm thinking about adding another section. To,
wow.
So we
already had the food hacks.
We have the fast food roundup. We have the we have now the local compilation, but I only have one story today, but there's almost weekly multiple ice cream stories.
Yeah.
This is just one today, but maybe eventually down the road I'll do it. So Carvel is serving up summer in the sweetest way, literally, from a soft serve dispensing billboard in New York City's West Village.
The billboard is actually dispensing soft serve ice cream?
Yep. On June 18th, swing by 137 Perry Street for free vanilla soft serve, sprinkles and giveaways.
It's right near the meat spot.
Plus the first 50 people in line to flash their Fudgy Fanatics loyalty program email will get some exclusive swag. As well. That will be the intro to the ice cream segment, by the way. Even if you can't make it to Manhattan, Carvel has you covered covered nationwide with BOGO Sundays every Wednesday all summer long.
I'm really bummed that there aren't any Carvel stores anymore. There used to be one in Wynwood. And the reason I'm bummed, listen, I know you can still get ice cream cakes, but if you went to the Carvel store, you could get extra Cookie Crisp. You know, and they have the vanilla ones. You can't find them anywhere.
One of my formative memories growing up was walking with my grandmother during the summer when she would come and stay, and we would walk to Carvel's. She was a huge Carvel's fan.
Yeah.
Loved Carvel's. And they were all growing up in Long Island. They were all over the place.
Yeah, so you had great memories from that.
Great memories, yeah.
Love it. All right, we'll see if you know.
By the way, there's not the grandmother who's knockers.
I was going to ask.
Not the grandmother that what?
Whose knockers I saw.
Oh,
in
okay.
Flagler Beach, Florida.
So you were able to focus on the ice
I was able to
cream.
digest better.
Okay. Here's that clip again.
Now, if you'll just sign here, flattery will not distract Miss Turnblad's agent from reading the fine print. Her agent? Tracy, eat your donuts. Let's talk.
All right, we have Rob who is going to take a shot at it. Rob, morning.
Good morning. How are you guys?
Awesome, Rob. All right, name that movie, buddy.
That is John Travolta in Hairspray.
That's correct. Yep. Hang on, bud. We are going to give you the $50 Acme Markets grocery delivery, or they give you the Acme Markets gift card, but flash grocery delivery or pick up, get you fresh groceries in 30 minutes or less. All right, we have one more clip to play, and then that will be it. This is our last donut clip. Let's see if you know what movie this is from.
See, I don't need to be hearing about no dead cameraman, all right? Now, I'm warning you guys, I am a verb away from vacating these premises. I'm gonna go get me some coffee, donuts, Prozac, see if I can find some crack, Special K, X, not Malcolm, and I'll be back when you guys start talking about something a little more saved by the bellish, all right?
All right, 610-660-9333. Let's see if you know one more story. Let's do that. All right, last one. Hooters just pulled the plug on about 30 of its company-owned locations across the U.S., following its quiet Chapter 11 bankruptcy filing earlier this year.
Declaring bankruptcy.
While the closures came as a surprise, they're part of a bigger shift to focus solely on a franchise model as the chain works to stabilize its finances. Fans in states like Florida, Texas, and Georgia are mourning the loss of their local wings and beer spots. With no warning and no full list provided either.
So the food is much maligned. I happen to think that their wings were always pretty good. I like them. I'm not a big wings guy to begin with, so they work for me. The question is the draw, the conceit of the Hooters waitresses or servers, is that enough to offset, the food that may not be up to everyone's standard?
I don't know.
And I because they've been around forever, and I'm wondering why they're getting particularly hit.
And maybe they've just aged out of it. Maybe it's just one of those things where it was trendy and the trend has faded.
I think that's it.
Steve, we went there a lot. There was one in King of Prussia that's moved. It's closer to where the REI is now.
Right.
Anyway, they had trivia night every Wednesday night or whatever. And so my friends and I, when we were early 20s, were bored. We went to Hooters, looked at the girls, played trivia, had some beers, and it was a fun night out. I've aged away from that. Will young guys in their 20s now gravitate towards it? I don't know.
But the bill is, when you see outside the family fun place to eat,
which is just
really
not. Yeah, I mean that's just you're being deceptive at that point.
Are there tilted kilts?
There was. I don't know if they're still around.
There's definitely not any around here. I don't know if they exist anywhere in the nation anymore or not. So Hooters
What about
insists
crotch shot?
that it is not going anywhere, but it's just tightening its belt and rebooting for the future. So that's what they're saying. Nick, tilted kilt, any?
There's there's only 6 locations left.
Okay.
Of tilted kilts. Yeah.
Wow. So I think that style of restaurant is kind of come and gone. It happens, but we'll see. They said they're hanging on. All right, let's see if somebody knows what movie this food clip is from.
See, I don't need to be hearing about no dead cameraman, all right? Now, I'm warning you guys, I am a verb away from vacating these premises. I'm gonna go get me some coffee, donuts, Prozac, see if I can find some crack, Special K, X, not Malcolm, and I'll be back when you guys start talking about something a little more saved by the bellish, all right?
All right, we're going to go to Jason, see if he knows the answer. Hi, Jason, morning.
Hey, good morning. Scream 3?
Scream 3 is correct, yes. You got it, buddy. Hang on. And you got yourself a $50 gift card from Acme Markets. Hungry and in a hurry, Acme's flash grocery delivery or pickup gets you fresh groceries in 30 minutes or less. Fast, fresh, and right to your door. Acme, fresh foods, local flavors. All right, that's it. That's
there we go.
That's the end of the Connoisseur for today, and hopefully you got some food love for you as you head into the weekend. And thank you again to Acme for sponsoring that, and for Dunkin' to drop off the goodies that they brought here today. It is National Donut Day today.
Enjoy.
And you can get a free donut with any beverage purchase when you stop by there today. All right, let's take a break. When we get back, we will indeed have the bizarre file for you, so you stay right where you are, friend.
Preston and Steve.
Guy Fieri
They're
Nights.
pretty amazing.
Yeah, we got what's called the Battle Station from Guy, and we've had it for, I don't know, 8 or 9 years or something like that. Yeah, they're really good knives.
We just got those colored ceramic knives.
How are they?
I love them.
Because I see them advertised on QVC occasionally, and the guy who appears to be a chef seems to really love them.
Yep.
Very sharp?
Yeah.
Okay. One last quick question. Do you have to sharpen those ever? I don't think so, right?
I don't know. You're asking this guy over here.
I don't, I've never dabbled in ceramic knives, so
right?
I'm not really sure if they need to be sharpened or not. Here's another one. It says, my stepfather's an absolute toddler about food. A literal 60-year-old man who still throws tantrums when my mom doesn't make him what he wants for dinner. One of his normal practices is to eat slices of white American cheese straight from the packages. Sometimes he just takes slices out of the package and stuffs them in his mouth. And I think these are the individually wrapped ones.
Yes.
Because he goes on to say he spent all of last summer insisting that every pack of cheese that my mom got was bad, but they were all totally fine. Our conclusion, we think that for the first time in his life, he actually smelled the cheese before inhaling it. So if it wasn't wrapped tightly in that package, because those, like the Kraft ones, like they barely have any scent to them at all. And you get a real cheese, it's going to have a really strong scent to it. All right, Tony has a crazy way of making soup. We're going to go to Tony. Good morning, Tony.
Good morning. How are you?
Great. What's up?
All right. So someone else was talking about making soup separately.
Yes.
I have a texture thing. So I like the taste of the soup greens, like celery and onions and things like that, but I can't stand the texture. So I boil them in the broth, and then I strain them out, and then I kind of pulverize them into their own soup, and then I add it back into the broth, and then I boil the noodles, and then I add the chicken.
Okay. So you don't like texture of vegetables, so you just kind of puree them and make them into a liquid.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Huh.
You're still going to get the flavor. That's interesting.
That's
I
probably
guess.
a Bill Weston way, right?
Yeah, so you know what? In fact, here's this same one. It says, my dad hates the texture and taste of most vegetables. He passed this down to my brother and me. So my mom always made us this awesome salsa that was completely pureed.
Yeah.
I was very confused by chunky salsa when I was old enough to notice it at other people's homes.
Huh.
I didn't know people didn't like the texture. Well, I guess, yeah, Rochelle.
Texture's a big thing.
The reason she doesn't like mushrooms is the texture of them.
Me too.
She can handle the flavor. She can get mushroom flavored stuff, but if she gets the pieces,
It's like
I've been on that roller coaster with avocados. So I like avocados I initially liked. And then I did not like them. I did not the texture, and now I kind of like the taste, so I can handle. I think I'm coming back as the pendulum swings. But man, yeah, there was a period like I couldn't stand the feel of it in my mouth.
What about, Kathy, mushrooms, no dice for you?
No, I can't do mushrooms. But I'm okay with the avocado. Like, I don't.
I know. That's kind of slimy too. It's a little different.
It's a little different. Yeah, the mushroom
offensive.
is so. Yeah, I don't know.
Avocado's
so
almost
slimy.
creamy in nature.
Yes, and I'm okay with. I'm okay with creamy.
I'm okay with
stuff.
Yeah, say it clearly and into the
I'm
microphone.
okay with creaming.
What about mushroom flavor in general? You don't like it either, or?
I don't know that I would hate it. I don't. What would be mushroom flavored?
Do you
I don't
like
know. I don't think
sauteed mushrooms on like a hamburger?
Oh yeah, I do.
That's awesome.
Absolutely. So like a cream of mushroom soup. You know, I mean,
Nah.
there are
No,
little
but there are
pieces,
chunks in there. Yeah, no, I can't
but they're
do
very,
it.
very.
What
tiny.
about split pea soup? Something like that.
Oh, I'm okay with that. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Casey's not good on.
My wife despises it, and I love it.
Yeah, the only one I've ever had is like a canned split pea soup.
Oh, yeah,
If I had it homemade,
You got to
I
have
think
free
maybe.
range.
Speaking of canned, hang on a second. Here was a one that said, my mother has entire cookbooks dedicated to cooking in the microwave, and she thinks that there are only two ways to cook vegetables. One, place frozen vegetables onto a dish, add water and margarine, microwave until mush. Two, dump canned vegetables and liquid from a can into a pot, add margarine, heat, and microwave until slightly warm. I only realized that I actually liked vegetables for the first time I tasted fresh green beans that had been lightly sauteed with olive oil, garlic, and salt. So some people, if you grow up on the canned or frozen stuff, you don't know the majesty, the wonderfulness.
That would have held true with a couple of like pineapples. Again, I only had canned pineapples when I had fresh. Like, well, a whole new world.
Right. But Casey, yeah, we'll have to get you some split pea soup. I hated peas when I was a kid. Couldn't stand them. They were disgusting to me. I love them now.
It's the way it goes.
We were talking over the weekend about Brussels sprouts and how they're a revelation these days. But when I was growing up, Brussels sprouts were prepared boiled. And so that was like terrible to me.
It would blow out your O-ring like nobody's business.
I wouldn't even give it that chance. I hated them so much they never made it into my body.
I love them baked.
Like now? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. How about this one? When I eat at my in-laws, here's the in-laws again. It's always stressful. They're wild about portion control. My mother-in-law always cooks one potato per person, and they're baby potatoes, like the size of a golf ball.
So, like, you can't have extras.
She said during Thanksgiving, she'll hover around and snatch your plate away the second you're finished. Don't even think about seconds. Remember, one potato per person.
What's that about? Are they? I guess they don't describe whether or not they're very thin.
That's weird. How about I made Christmas dinner once, and my sister deemed the ham trash because I didn't take the bone out. Apparently, Gordon Ramsay wouldn't have done that. And I was deemed unfit for next Christmas dinner, so she took care of it. She cooked a tube of deli ham instead.
Really?
A tube of it?
How's everyone's tube?
How's your tube of ham?
God, that sounds awful.
It's very good. This is good tube.
Let's see. Let's go to Bob. Hey, Bob. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
When I first got with my girlfriend when we were kids, about 18, 19 years old, coming home from work, and her mother, she's like, oh, we're going to have spaghetti the poor way. Bunch of soggy-ass noodles with tomato soup poured over top.
Soggy-ass noodles with tomato soup poured over them? You should have used ketchup.
Well, exactly. Almost the same thing.
Yeah.
Man, no, that's not even that's just the stupid way.
Yeah, I agree. Thanks, man.
I mean,
Appreciate
especially
it.
since you just go to the supermarket. There's tons of marinara already in jars ready to go.
Yeah, costs about the same as soup.
Yeah.
Probably. So, how about Justin? Hey, Justin, good morning.
Good morning, Ed.
Good morning, Ed. What's up, buddy?
So, due to that TikTok app, I come downstairs this morning and my son I saw him pouring cereal, but he pours the milk in before the cereal.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
Can you divorce your children?
Yeah, he said all the kids in his class do it, and I questioned him. I said, that is un-American. We do not do that here.
Well, it's just stupid, too, because you can't fill up the bowl with cereal. You're just getting a surface layer.
Well, yeah, so apparently this video says that it helps so the cereal doesn't overflow over the bowl.
What?
I mean, yeah.
Are you that...
You can stop pouring milk at some point, and it will not overflow.
Stop!
I know, right?
Ham!
All right, thanks, Justin. My daughter likes to let her cereal sit in milk until it gets all mushy.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Not me.
I think I might have been that way when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And now it's like if it sits there too long, I don't even want it.
You know what? I've found my ability to buzzsaw through, especially cereal that I like, like Frosted Mini Wheats or the was it Kashi? What are the Kashi? Oh, their stuff is. I can go through like half a box. And like nobody's business. It's just crazy.
All right, one last
That's
one.
why I can't do it.
One last one, and then we got to take a break. This one says, honestly, I'm amazed that my grandfather never got food poisoning. He would frequently leave soup out on the stove for days on end, just heating it back up when he was hungry and letting it cool down for hours or even days before heating it up again.
What was that?
Just leave it there.
What was that story? It might have been debunked at a certain point, but it was the Chinese food that had been left out on a counter.
Oh,
yes. And they thought it was a meningitis case or something like that. And it turned out to not be what caused that guy's illness. You're right. And then this person goes on to say, in the winter, he would store food outside instead of the refrigerator since it was, quote, free to cool it down. Except he continued to do this until it was in the 50s.
Yeah.
No, you can't do that.
No, you don't want to do that.
Maybe the dead of winter, yes.
For safety's sake, you don't want to do that.
I need you to stop talking.
All right, we will stop talking.
Damn it.
Do I need to do this one, Nick?
It's just impressive.
This one says, my mother-in-law makes mac and cheese without milk, just cheese on top in a sheet pan and melts it in the oven. Never, is that it?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
She puts it on like a Macintosh computer?
No. Anyhow, there you go. That's what I have for you in this little list. People with questionable ways that their families cook specific foods. Thank you for sharing. We appreciate that. We do have to take a break, but listen, cool thing happening tomorrow night. We have a screening of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Very exciting.
And I have 3 pairs of tickets I can give away. So first 3 callers, 215-263-WMMR. Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, UA King of Prussia. Movie doesn't even open until Friday. This is a big blockbuster movie.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
And let's get you into this exclusive screening. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have your chance to win $500 and tickets to the MMRBQ with the concert cash. B-File up 2. Stay there.
You're a crumb creep.
In less than 2 weeks, we'll be broadcasting live at Keenan's.
That's right.
For the Coors Light opening of the Jersey Shore, Eggs with Peg, the 5 different names that it has. All we know is that it's a party we haven't had in a long time. We're looking forward to it. Over the next few days, we're going to start to maybe pitch some ideas out there to you and maybe get some participants in some contests and so on.
Try to lay in as much ahead of the show work as we can.
Yes.
We've had a whole bunch of time off. We're trying a whole bunch of new things. It can only turn into a disaster, but the kind that we enjoy.
Our kind of disaster, your kind of disaster.
Right.
So that's coming up. And that means MMRBQ is this weekend, this Saturday, as mentioned just a little while ago. So just a little reality check for you there. All right. One of our favorite things is when we, as a show, are trying to figure out exactly what might be a topic of conversation. One of us goes, I have a question I want to ask on the air.
Oh, okay.
And that usually means I'm not going to tell you guys what it is.
Right. We want to hear it.
I'm just going to save it, and that's what we do because we don't like to, quote-unquote, ruin something ahead of time by knowing too much about it. And we just like to head into the unknown. And today's unknown comes to us from Kathy Romano.
I'm telling you, my heart is beating so fast right now because I'm so nervous.
Seriously?
Yeah, I'm pretty nervous.
Oh, I didn't know it was that kind of thing. All right.
Wait.
Does it involve a boy?
No. So here's how I think I want to do it. I'm going to ask a question.
Yes.
Okay. We're going to go around the room. Okay. I'll call your name out.
Right.
All right.
I want Marissa to participate too.
Do we need goggles?
No, I'm just going to ask you a question. All I want you to say is yes or no.
All right.
Okay. With no follow-up,
No
nothing.
commentary, no follow-up.
commentary.
All right.
Don't
Yes or
even
no?
indicate whether you're positive or not. Just give me your answer, and then after that, we'll break out into discussion.
Never heard anything like this.
intrigued
now
now.
I'm nervous.
Yeah.
All right. Oh,
Because and I'm gonna go in order because there's definitely someone in this room who knows the answer, and I'm hoping that person doesn't go hard on me when they realize I didn't know the answer.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
You ready? I'm gonna start with Marissa.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
So we're going in the height order.
Yes, we're going height order. Marissa, can you drive to Alaska?
Yes.
Casey,
Yes.
Preston,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
F.
Stop it. Oh, my God. Kat. You poor thing. They're adorable,
Who
though.
knew Alaska was attached to Canada?
There's an amendment to this. Did you know that you cannot drive to the capital of Alaska? The capital of Alaska is Juneau, and it's separated. Steve, you've been there, right?
Been there.
Yeah. So they're like, if somebody would ask the question, "Can you drive to the capital of Alaska?"
Yeah, no, I just thought the whole state.
All right. I was trying to help.
Kathy, the crazy thing is there is like if you there is a line that connects Alaska to your driveway. I mean that's
it's a big line.
It's a gigantic line.
Here, I was in a conversation with somebody and we were talking about a film crew, and he goes, "Yeah, they're driving to Alaska, and they're going to document the whole way, and then start the filming there." And I was like, "You mean they're going to drive through Alaska?" They were like, "No, he's driving to Alaska." And I was like, "What do you? I don't understand. What do you mean?"
You adorable.
And then, but listen, so
Adorable
then
thing.
that same night, I was out to dinner with 8 people. And at the table, I said, okay, I did what I did with you guys.
Yeah.
I said, give me yes or no. There was only two people at the table who knew the answer, and it was my dad and my mom. And my mom said, I only said yes because I knew your father would know, and he said yes. The rest of the people, all adults,
said
no.
What was your perception of Alaska's attachment to the continent?
Here is my issue with this. It is the map of the United States. Okay? The map of the United States doesn't include Canada.
Right.
Now, I know that it wasn't like Hawaii and,
that you'd have to cross an ocean.
But I didn't think you could drive there.
Okay. All right. Yes.
And
It is not part of, they say, the contiguous United States, right? So it's not directly connected to the borders of the mainland, as they call it in Hawaii, the mainland. Yeah.
Right. So I thought.
And that's your traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
Froggy.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
You really need to tune in to our YouTube channel when that song plays, because our community goes crazy with Froggy love.
Wasn't it just the anniversary of Froggy as a band?
Yes.
Because I follow him on Instagram.
They posted that on social media. Right. Absolutely. All right, we are going to get to the B-Files brought to you by United Tire and Service. Get ready for summer travel. Buy 2 tires and get $50 off of an additional service. Don't drive alone, drive United. UnitedTire.com. So out of Dearborn, Michigan, police seized a rented Lamborghini after shots were fired from the luxury sports car during a wedding celebration on Sunday evening. Yeah, it was totally like that, Steve. The celebration included several cars. During the festivities, dash cam footage caught someone firing shots from the passenger side of the purple Lamborghini Huracan. This prompted the police department to investigate, and the wedding celebration was traced to a banquet hall.
Is that their sort of SUV looking vehicle?
No, it's a regular.
It's a regular Lamborghini.
Yep. All so the rented Lamborghini was seized.
Rented.
And after police received an anonymous tip, a suspect was arrested. Police say that the suspect faces charges for reckless discharge of a firearm.
You routinely bring a gun to a wedding?
Of course.
Yeah.
You never know. Pop off a few rounds. All right, as acts of protest go, this is a new one. During a Mecklenburg County Commission meeting in North Carolina on Tuesday, someone let bugs loose in the room. The forceful infestation caused a brief disruption in the meeting, as one can imagine, and county leaders said that the person was quickly removed from the building after releasing the incident. You know what it doesn't say?
Cockroaches or bees? Or?
Probably.
Yeah.
So no one was hurt, and the meeting continued after the situation was handled. Officials didn't say what kind of bugs were released or why the person did it.
Like if it was inchworms, it'd be less impressive.
There's no word on if any charges will be filed, and it's not clear if it's illegal to release bugs during a meeting.
That's a good question, yeah.
All right, Jonathan Marlowe last week teed off with friends at the Splinter City Disc Golf Course in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. He said, I was just there to play disc golf. And on hole 11, he looked up and he saw an osprey carrying something in its claws, and that's when things got a little bit weird. He said it's not uncommon to see an osprey carrying something, but you take note because it's still really cool to see. And as he watched, 2 crows suddenly showed up and started pursuing the osprey. And within seconds, the 3 birds took their tussle into a nearby tree. And that's when the osprey lost its lunch, and something crashed to the ground, Marlowe says. He said, I thought it would be a random fish. Well, technically, he was right. It was a small, dead hammerhead shark.
Wow.
That laid on the ground.
Man.
And it is not common for ospreys to catch sharks. However, the water-loving raptors are expert and opportunistic anglers. They dive from as high as 100 feet at speeds of up to 50 miles an hour, plunging feet first with their extra curved talons to grasp and retain whatever slippery prey that they spotted from above.
That's pretty cool.
And in this case, the osprey didn't get to eat its prize. Mobbing behavior from crows isn't unusual, especially in the springtime when the smaller birds team up for safety to chase potential predators away from their nesting sites or food sources. And it's not unusual. It is unusual for disc golfers to encounter wildlife on the courses, which are often located in natural areas. But this sighting was one for the books. After the encounter, the friends left the hammerhead shark under the tree in case the osprey came back for it. But later, when Marlowe posted photos of the incident on Facebook, another disc golfer commented that he found the shark under the tree. He said they were standing there in shock with no frame of reference for what could have possibly happened.
It's a tree shark.
But then they saw the post and said, thank goodness, because how do you explain a random hammerhead in the woods? So pretty wild.
Claire and I were hiking in John Hine, the park. It's wonderful. And they have a nesting osprey there.
Oh, that's cool.
It's just unbelievable.
Yeah, they're cool birds. A woman's practice of nasal irrigation led to her death via brain-eating amoeba in a recent case report.
There we go.
Health officials describe how she contracted the fatal infection of Naegleria fowleri through tainted tap water sourced from a recreational vehicle.
This is why I say it all the time. And I do the Neomed sinus rinse 3 to 4 times a day.
Yep.
But you have to use distilled water.
If you don't, you burn the hell out of your sinuses.
Right.
I made that mistake one time. I'm like, what's the difference? And I used tap water. It was like I shoved gasoline up my nose.
Yeah, federal and local health officials in Texas detailed the unusual death. The 71-year-old woman developed neurological symptoms days after using the nasal irrigation device and died only a week later. These infections, while rare, can be prevented through practical safety measures such as using only sterilized water for nasal irrigation. N. floweri is a shape-shifting amoeba that lives in soil and warm fresh water, typically feeds on bacteria, and isn't dangerous to humans when it's simply ingested. But when the amoeba enters our body through the nose, it can end up in the brain. And once there, it will literally feast on brain cells and trigger massive inflammation, causing a severe brain infection known as primary amoebic meningoencephalitis, or PAM. The previously healthy woman sought medical care with fever, headache, and altered mental status. And for days earlier, she had irrigated her nose with tap water from an RV's water system at a campground in Texas. She developed seizures and died 8 days after her symptoms began. The bizarre nature of her death then prompted an investigation.
That's horrible, man. When we go away, down to a spring training, I first thing I do is grab a distilled bottle of water from someplace.
Yep, that's true. All right, and there you go. We're going to have to wrap up. That is what I have in the bizarre file for you this morning. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back in just a second. A little bit later on this morning, we're going to have Corey B. stopping in, Helium Comedy Club. Hang out. We'll be back in a moment.
Preston and Steve.
Get on a plane together.
Wow.
I mean, you would prefer to get on.
Yeah, that's how I did. I fly.
It's a long ass way.
Yeah, we flew into Seattle, then flew up to Alaska.
Kathy, I want to make you feel better because you admitted to peeing in the pool last week.
Okay.
And I love that. It was more recently than not that I saw a map and I was like, oh, that's where Hawaii is.
All right.
Oh, really?
For the same reason.
You thought it was in the Atlantic?
No, because maps that we've seen growing up, it was like the continental U.S. and then there was just little corners.
No, you're right. I have heard and read stories of people who thought that Alaska and Hawaii were actually down in this little corner right next to each other.
Very close to each other. How does one have such wonderful tropic weather and the other one so cold?
For the record, I didn't think it was like in the Atlantic Ocean or anything like that, but I just didn't actually know like how close it was to California. And I was like, oh, that's why you stop over in California if you're flying to Hawaii.
Listen, there are these things in life that elude you as far as your thinking. I remember as a family member who was studying, law, and thought that the Titanic sunk in the Pacific because that's where the icebergs are.
Oh, right. I remember.
Yeah.
And let me just say, by the way, my 10-year-old was also at this dinner, and his answer was yes.
Oh, wow.
By the way, do you want to hear some of the texts, Kathy?
Yeah.
Well, my kids are never going to Westchester. That's lower, slower bucks for you. Somebody says, Jesus Christ, you guys drive me insane, Preston. You need to learn how to pronounce contiguous. Did I say that incorrectly?
Contiguous with
contiguous,
a
not a hard G.
So we're all stupid here.
Yeah, we're all idiots.
And it's awesome because, most people have, thousands of people listening to everything that you say so that they can correct you on everything.
That's all right.
Yeah.
This one said, it's okay, Kathy. I thought so too until about a few months ago. I'll bet you there are many people actually listening right now as well for one reason or another that weren't aware that, yes, you can indeed drive to Alaska if you need to.
By the way, you may think you don't have something like this in your intellectual arsenal. I guarantee you do.
You sure do.
I told you guys, man, when we were playing this game one time with some friends of mine, it was just a driving game. It was in my fellow band members. We were driving for a few hours to play a gig and play this game where you say a state, whatever that state letter it ends with, you lead the next state with the start, and then we ran out of states, so we started doing countries, and I swore.
Oh no.
That euthanasia was a country.
I remember.
That's right.
It is part of Asia. It's the younger part.
And I dug in, man. I did not give up. Yes, it is. I saw it on a National Geographic.
It's
special.
where the teenagers live. It's where Asian teenagers
where the youth
live.
in Asia live.
Are you stupid?
It's in the name.
Where do you think they go? Youth in Asia.
I need to apologize to my buddy Greg. Because I just really drove that home as if I had it as fact.
Listen, if you were to design a part of Asia where the younger people would go, what would you call it?
Youth
in Asia.
In Asia, of course. Hang on, let me go to Ryan. Hey, Ryan. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, baby wheel.
Baby wheel.
Spin it, baby. What's up, Ryan?
So, kind of going off of what Marissa said. My wife, for the longest time, didn't know where Hawaii was. She thought it was right next to Texas because of how it fits on the map.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I totally understand. And I had to explain to her it's in the South Pacific and how far away it is. And that's where we went on our honeymoon. But
okay.
Oh, my God. So
that's funny.
That is pretty funny.
Ryan. Hey, by the way, I read something this morning and I tossed the story away because I didn't think it would be worth bringing up. I didn't know we were going to be talking about geography this morning. But apparently there was something that surfaced on TikTok that got some people in a bit of a tizzy. And it was about the fact that the state of Maine has more coastline than California.
Oh.
And the reason being is it's how coastline is defined.
Okay.
And it's like, it's general. I have to bring up the story, but
the way it's reckoned. I think I saw the same story, Preston, and it's not.
Makes sense.
It's exactly the way they interpret it for both sides.
So the reason being is because when you look at the map of California, as you trace the coastline, you can see that there's more of it than Maine. But what you have to include are the coast of all the islands that are part of the state as well. That's all considered coastline,
which they do,
and intercoastal waterways and things like that. So when you add all that up, Maine ends up having more coastline than California. So there are some things that are weird like that. But then again, it's a little different than driving to Alaska because you can clearly see that there's a way to get there. If you look at a map of the world,
called
if you look
Canada.
at a map of North America altogether.
I'm trying to think of what the last argument that I had was where I dug in deep, even though I was wrong, and trying to determine. Just being that stubborn and not willing to give up on something.
Well,
it happens to everybody, and I know that I've done it.
Yeah. All right, let me go to these calls. I have Courtney on the line. Hey, Courtney, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey. What's up, Courtney?
So, a couple months ago, a friend and I were talking about a friend of ours that moved back home from Alaska, and I was like, wow, she had to pack all of her stuff in an airplane. That probably was expensive. And she's like,
you can drive from Alaska. And I was like, what? No, you can't.
Well, it's out in the middle of Canada.
Yeah, and was it, Courtney, was it because of the maps that we've seen
Yes.
that have the little cutout of Alaska and Hawaii?
Yes.
Okay. There you go.
You know,
And
it's
that's what
funny,
you
though.
thought.
All right.
Stop and think
I'm
about
with you, Courtney.
people who are like
Yes.
who believe that, Courtney, and who think, okay, well, we're going to Hawaii, but it's got to be like, what, about a 2-hour trip? Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
It's right there.
It's right off Texas.
Yeah. Hang on, completely different, but somebody who believed something for the longest time because of a name. I'm going to go to Mike. Hey, Mike, good morning.
Hey, Mike. Hey, guys. How are you?
I love
What's
that.
up, buddy?
So my cousin, she was doing a project on guerrilla warfare, and she was talking to my aunt about it, and then she asked my aunt who gave the guerrillas the guns.
Oh, my God.
Who gave the gorillas the guns?
And she's also Westchester grad.
Oh, Westchester.
Oh, my God.
Wait,
This is so
seriously?
great.
Yeah.
I love it, Mike. Thank you.
When you're a kid, I could see you thinking, okay, the gorillas are fighting each other, but yeah, no, guerrilla warfare. I love it.
It says my adult sister didn't know that New Mexico was a state. She thought there was Old Mexico and New Mexico, and therefore that it wasn't a state. So let me go to Kenny. Hey, Kenny, good morning.
Gadzooks.
Gadzooks, what's up, bud?
So we were driving, and it was a group of us. There was like 6 of us in a car, so it was 3 against 3. And I was team wrong that New England was a state. I was like, of course New England's a state. There's the Patriots. They have their own chowder.
New England state, yes.
Yeah, and it literally came down to, okay, we're going to name all the states. And we're like, and we're at 51. Okay. My bad.
Oh, that's funny.
That's hilarious.
But you
though.
can see that,
Yeah.
you know, you make assumptions and it happens.
Yeah.
Hang on. Somebody who actually has driven to Alaska from Philadelphia. We're going to Sierra. Hi, Sierra. Good morning.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, good. What's up, Sierra?
So back in 2010 or 11, I guess it was, my now husband and I, we actually drove to Alaska. We were going to move there for about a year.
Wow.
We drove there from Philly, and everyone that we talked to, we were in college at the time at Temple, and all of our friends were like, that's funny. Like, you can't do that.
Temple too, Kathy, not just Westchester.
You don't feel so bad.
All college-educated people had no idea.
Wow.
No, I don't remember anybody that thought we could actually do it.
Sierra, how long did that take?
7 days. We drove in the wintertime, and so we had to stop at night because everything would shut down, like gas stations and everything, because the roads we took were mostly used by 18-wheelers.
Yeah.
Because no one's driving up there. And so because the roads would ice over, it was really dangerous. So we kind of had to, like, plan our stops every night.
No, that's amazing. I mean, yeah, you're in areas that, and with it, as you said, are only used by interstate and inter-country truckers. So,
yeah, it's actually called the Alaskan Highway.
Yeah, wow. That's
and
pretty
it's
wild.
the only major road that runs
What did you
through
drive?
a lot of parts.
Were you in a car or did you drive an RV or something?
An F-150.
Okay.
There you go.
Little blue truck.
You had the right vehicle. Yeah.
Man, oh,
Yep.
man.
Yeah.
And how come you guys ended up not moving there?
Because of us.
It was just, we just decided to take like a year off of school from college and just go up there and
WMMR.
All right, thank you very much, Marissa. Casey and I are headed to a different beach today. We're going to Maury's Piers.
Nice.
So we're headed to Wildwood. And,
Love that place.
Yeah, we're going to be cutting a commercial for the season. And I want to remind you that we have our big friggin' deal, and it is winding down. In fact, wow, I think they're projected to sell out today, maybe. Yep. We'll see. If you haven't gotten them yet, I highly, highly, highly recommend you go and get the same-day ride and water park combo tickets to Maury's Piers for just $70. You save $50 per ticket for unlimited rides on 3 piers, both water parks, the whole day.
That's a lot.
If you do a 4-pack of these, which is a standard family size package to buy, you end up saving $200. So even if there's like a remote shot that you're going to head down there this summer, go ahead and buy these. That'll give you a reason to go there, actually. And you'll end up saving a lot and have a great time. Maury's is awesome. And we will be there today. So we're looking forward to that. I wanted to pass that along. All right, before we head into the weekend, I have to clean out my junk drawer. And we're going to do that very next.
Preston's cleaning out his junk drawer. Getting things out of his junk drawer. Finding stuff here in the junk drawer.
Before I go into the junk drawer, there was a butt plug I meant to do.
Oh, wow.
So let me do this real quick. This is from Matthew Canning and his family. Nicole, Aubrey, and Cole wanted me to pass this along. They said, thank you for the shout out back in September for everyone at the Miller Lab at Washington University School of Medicine in St. Louis. He said they are spearheading the research for both a treatment and a possible cure for Mitchell syndrome. He said, my son was diagnosed with this extremely rare genetic disease in 2021 and was the 9th known case worldwide. There have been a lot of ups and downs in the past 4+ years, like my son going deaf, having to breathe with a trach, and being hospitalized for 6 months. He said, but the past year, Cole's been doing great. He is getting stronger every day, and his teachers at the Pennsylvania School for the Deaf have nothing but good things to say about his progress as a student. And he said, this brings me to the reason for my email. I was hoping that you could help me with a butt plug for an event on June 14th in Philadelphia. It's called the $1 Million Bike Ride. And this brings over 600 cyclists and volunteers to Penn's campus to raise awareness and funds specifically for rare diseases.
Yeah.
He said, when I heard about this event in our own backyard, I knew that we needed to do something for the Mitchell and Friends Foundation, which has given us so much. Our team, the Mitchell and Friends Foundation, Cole's crew, is writing on behalf of the scientists who are working to understand the disease better and working to find a treatment for Mitchell syndrome. He said, I'm attaching a link that goes directly to my page for the ride along with some other information about his story. So Nick has this information. Yeah. And we have that posted, right?
Yeah, it's on the community page at PrestonandSteve.com, and it's on Saturday, June 14th.
Okay.
These rare diseases don't get the funding a lot of times, and so they really have to fight an uphill battle.
It's true. And a lot of times they are life-threatening and just terrible, and so we want to pass that information along. So that was the butt plug I wanted to get out there. All right, now let me go to the junk drawer. All right, so this first piece of junk I found is an email, and it has an audio component to it.
All right.
I got this from Ryan Gaffney, and he said, I've been holding on to this idea for over a decade, and I thought it could be something silly to give to Casey and discuss on air. They wanted us to wait until his birthday to do this, which is July 4th, but we're going to do it now. He said, like so many, I turn to you guys for laughs. I may be a bit more meticulous than your typical listener, though. When there's something I hear on the podcast that makes me crack up, I make note of the podcast date and time. I have a boatload of isolated audio, going back to the days of Regis and the Taxi Cab Confessions, for example.
I remember that.
That I keep handy when I need some laughs to pass the time. And I started to notice a subgroup in some of the clips. He says, I love the unplanned moments in the show, usually built from a mistake or a flub from one of you guys. Lest you think I'm being critical of you, I see these moments as indicators of how human and real you all are, especially when you laugh at yourselves. And he says, Casey is the champion of this category. So for his birthday, and I apologize, Ryan, that we're doing this ahead of time, he said, I'm finally sharing some of these clips with all of you. You'll see the pattern immediately. Hopefully, you will relive these little moments as well as the sheer amount of them will be as fun as it is for me over the years. And Ryan says, please share this with Kathy. Some of the best moments are when she's laughing in these clips. So the reason we're going to do this now is today was the last day of the coolest teacher. We had Leslie Kaiser of Washington Township High School, French teacher. She was our final winner of the year. And a lot of these mistakes, we decided to focus on that. So Ryan compiled a ton of stuff. I mean, like hours worth of stuff. Marissa has narrowed this down to a couple of minutes, and these are all from the coolest teacher.
Right, I know this.
And it's all. Is it all the same mistake every time?
I think so. Marissa, is it?
So,
yeah.
And I don't
want to hear in your defense.
I don't want to say in my defense, but in somebody's defense. I have to go through.
I don't want an explanation of it. We'll get to it after.
Funny. Yeah,
we'll get to it after. So these are us making the announcement of the coolest teacher, and I mean it goes on and on and on. Here we go. So here's what we do: we have somebody reach in and draw the first school. Should I begin? It's you in front of me. You're the Preston.
Oh God, I do that every time.
So you heard the burp, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what we have.
That's it.
Liar.
Just happened.
Why a burp?
because it was on the wrong page.
We should have a burp roll just to have a backup.
We have an announcement to make. Mm-hmm. We have a winner of Preston C. School's teacher from yesterday. And what was that for?
It was not for anything. It was for that.
Okay. The school that we chose yesterday was Gwynedd Mercy. We now have a name and a prize to...
I did it again. Sorry, man.
Now I will want that belch every day now.
We got to find out who our coolest teacher is. Seriously?
Mark one on the board.
That was
the list of
first mistake.
What was that meant to be?
It was meant to be this. I forgot to switch the sound bank.
That's more impressive than the burp.
Drum roll, please.
All right.
What was that? And we're ready to announce our winner, so let's do that very thing. Had a little gas, so let's get rid of that first. And I'm feeling very strong this morning.
Yeah,
Almost bionic. Next announcement is happening right now. So, Casey, give me a drum roll, please. Never mind. And we have a winner.
Yeah.
The
God, I hate when I do
drum roll, burp. It's the same button.
What just happened?
It's on the wrong page.
He's on the wrong page.
It happens probably like 3 or 4 times a year.
We are happy to announce that the cheese and crackers.
Cheese and crackers.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Exclamation.
Nailing Palin.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
HE double hockey sticks.
I have kids. I don't curse in front of them. Sometimes this spills over to these airwaves.
Yes, it does. We have an announcement to make concerning our coolest teacher.
God damn it. Done.
It should be the thing now. It should just be the default button. It's so good.
Oh my God.
That got funnier as it went on.
I love it.
Oh my God.
Like every time.
I like how it was confusing to us every time. Like, how did we not get used to the fact that it's the same mistake, and it's an easy mistake to make, Casey, so I understand why and how it happens, but it just didn't dawn on us that the burp page is near the drum roll page for 15 years or whatever.
And I suggested a number of times just make it part of the intro.
Yeah.
Burp into the drum roll.
I have dozens of pages of sound effects, and a lot of them are on what we call hotkeys, and those are all labeled, and you can see exactly what you're hitting. Mm-hmm. The drum roll and the burp are on a completely different machine called an instant replay, and they are not labeled. There are only numbers. So I have to make sure that I'm on the right bank of sounds. So the drum roll is bank 6, number 15. Right. So the burp is bank 1. Number 15. Right. And so sometimes I forget to switch the banks because we have this cacophony of sounds. And the very first cacophonous sound effects is bank 4. Then when we do the sports intro, it's bank 1. And then I always forget to take it and put it to bank 6 after the sports intro.
So you know what? Yeah. I do have, and I bought, because I have 2 instant replays on my side of the board. And a lot of times the stuff gets spilled on the templates. I got to replace them out. I have 2 full packs of templates. If you want to have
Casey's not going to have room for the templates over here. That's the only thing.
On the instant replay?
Yeah, I mean, to lay around here. He's got so much stuff on this side of the board.
And on that machine, there's only some sounds that I use, and I know what numbers they are. So I don't really
And you
need
use
that.
the search feature.
And I use the search feature.
Yeah, but
that was so funny.
Well, listen, Ryan, the guy who put it together, is on the phone. So let me go to him. Hey, Ryan, morning, man.
Morning, yeah. In Casey's defense, I mean, none of this happened like day after day.
Right.
So when you put it all together like that, it sounds pretty predictable. But yeah, sometimes weeks, months apart, it would just happen, and you can hear just a second of dead air, and it's just hilarious your guys' reaction to it.
Well, it happened enough that it became an ongoing joke for us, and so just to hear it, put together that concisely is hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely went noticed. Oh yeah, I remember taking notes of this when it would happen when I was in college, and then when I was listening in at work, I would maybe take screenshots on my phone as the technology got better because I was listening on an iPod.
Oh my God! Well, how old are you now, Ryan? That was in college. How old are you now?
36.
Oh,
All
my
right.
God.
All those years of us screwing up.
We've been doing this forever. Oh,
And
my
we still
goodness.
haven't gotten it
Sometimes
right.
the best part of the show.
I love it. I love it, man. Thank you for doing all that work, Ryan. It is so much fun. And I apologize that we didn't save it for his birthday, but we thought at the end of the coolest teacher would be a great spot to put that in.
And sure enough,
no, just very cool that you guys are even talking about it. And yeah, I'll probably get around to putting up a whole bunch of other stuff and sending it your way too.
No, we love it.
Great,
Yeah,
yeah.
and if you have a site you want to put it on or whatever, let us know. We'll definitely promote it.
Yeah, sure thing.
All
Thanks, guys.
it's so funny because sure enough, first day of coolest teacher this year, I hit the burp
you
again.
did, yes.
I'm like every single
was great.
time. Yeah.
Ryan, thanks so much, buddy. Have a good weekend, okay?
Yeah, you too, guys. Have a good one.
All right, see ya. All right, we appreciate that. I loved it. All right, so that from Ryan to you.
That was great.
Early
Wanna
happy
hear it
birthday,
again.
bud. All right,
Not right now.
No, not right now.
Not right now.
All right, let me go back into the junk drawer.
All right.
All right, here's a cool little story came across. The Pope Leo, was seen wearing a Villanova baseball cap at the Vatican. It was part of a meeting between him and the National Italian American Foundation on Wednesday. The Italian Heritage Group. I mean, he just wasn't walking around the Vatican with it on.
Yeah, I went to Villanova.
Yeah, hosting ceremonies.
I just do the default accent. He doesn't have that
He's
accent.
American.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
he's American. Dude, I don't ever want you to change the Pope accent.
Yeah.
It was the same when we went from Benedict to...
Didn't change, yeah.
No, it stays the same.
The guy has the warmest smile. This picture of him, in the video of him wearing the Villanova hat, and it looks great. It's so cool to have a Pope wearing a friggin' Villanova hat.
So the Italian Heritage Group gifted Pope Leo the hat, and he quickly swapped it out from his traditional zucchetto, which is the official name of the holy skull caps that he wears.
Holy skull caps.
And Batman. At the Pope's meeting on Wednesday.
Holy skull caps.
At the Pope's meeting Wednesday with one of the largest associations representing Italian Americans in the United States, he grinned as the group's president gave him the white cap with the blue embroidered signature V. He wore it briefly before switching back to the white zucchetto.
He did take the opportunity to make Jay Wright a saint, though.
A closer inspection suggests that it's a version of the 47 brand adjustable cap, which retails on the university's website for $16. The website listed version of the cap has a small brand logo stitched in the back, while the Pope's version has the same logo in the corner, but stitched in white.
What is a bigger feather in the cap for Delco? The Pope being, I don't want to say from Delco, but having spent a decent amount of time
Certainly,
in Delco.
yes. He has an attachment, a connection to Delco.
Or there is a priest who is on the verge of being canonized as a saint from Delco.
Well, the Pope, I think, for the immediacy of people.
Yeah.
If you're of the religion, the saint would carry.
Yeah.
I'm Roman Catholic, so
But worldwide, I mean,
The
everybody
Pope.
knows who the Pope is,
Yeah.
even if you're not Catholic.
Right.
And you might not know who the saint is if you're not Catholic.
and then by default, everyone knows Villanova now.
Right, exactly. And by the way, speaking of Villanova, did you have a little rumor that you heard, Nick?
I heard a rumor. I didn't invent this rumor, but we are friendly with Jay Wright. I talk to Jay from time to time, and Jay, I think, in a really wise move, stepped away from Villanova basketball. The sport of college basketball has changed a lot over the last few years, and I think he saw the writing on the wall, and he got out. And Jay is doing just fine. He's got a TV gig that he's great at. And
Friends with the Pope.
He's well, Steve, I literally just texted him when we brought this up, and I said, it's pretty cool that you're friends with the Pope. So you and I are thinking the same way.
Yeah.
Anyway, the New York Knicks fired their head coach the other day, and the Knicks made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. So this guy, Tom Thibodeau, is a really good coach and sort of helped turn the Knicks franchise around. A lot of people who are Knicks fans were surprised by it, but it happened, and the owner of the Knicks is a bit of a control freak, and so they let this guy go. And the rumor is that Jay Wright, who has been out of basketball since he stepped away from Villanova, would be in consideration for the head coaching job at New York at the Garden. And part of the reason why is that there are 3 players on the New York Knicks that Jay coached, Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, and Josh Hart. And he helped lead all of those guys to national championships. They won 2 national championships under Jay in 2016 and 2018. So, look, it's probably far-fetched. And if I were Jay, I don't think he'll do it. But everybody has a price, and maybe he wants to be reinvigorated. And I talked to my mom about it the other night. My mom said
she's not up for it, is she?
No, but my mom got her master's from Villanova, and so she's a huge Villanova fan. And she says that basketball's in his blood, and I don't think that she's wrong. So who knows?
I hope this doesn't happen. I would hate to hate Jay Wright. And that's the bottom line is if he does that, if he switches allegiances.
And he would expect you to.
Switches allegiances.
He's from this area,
job, dude.
No, he is from this area. He is not allowed. He was not drafted by the Knicks.
I think it'd be great. I mean, listen, I agree. You know, when push came to shove, you'd have to stand by the Sixers. But for Jay, who we know and love, if it were a great opportunity for him, I'd be very, very happy for him.
I mean, it's quite something. You're literally, you know, all eyes are on you. And it's that much more than the college realm. I mean, holy hell.
Yeah. So we'll see if any of that comes to fruition or not. But wanted to pass that along. All right. Back into the junk. All right, here was a scary little thing that happened, and Steve sent me this story. Mike Jarek, our good close personal friend, brought a dermatologist, Dr. Joanna Walker, on air before the pair discovered a likely cancerous spot on his elbow, like live on the air.
Yeah.
Walker, who works at the Tara Miller Melanoma Center at the University of Pennsylvania, told Jarek that his spot has all the features pointing to skin cancer. So as she's looking at it, she says, so this is basal skin cell cancer. That has all the features of the most common type of skin cancer. And of course, Mike's like, what?
Yeah.
So she reassured him that it was very treatable, as it's one of the more slow-growing types of skin cancer. She told the host that he would need to have the spot removed, to which he asked, what are you going to do? You're going to burn it off? And she said, this one probably needs to be cut and stitched. And he was like, all right, stitch me up. She said, this one is very slow growing type of skin cancer. It's not going to spread to anywhere else on your body. So it's the type where if you get it taken care of,
you're fine.
You're going to be okay.
And Nick, you have a history, right?
Oh, yeah. I have to get checked at least once a year. My dad has had several bouts with skin cancer over the years. You get it removed, 99% of the time. If you get out in front of it, you're going to be okay, but it's important to get checked.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
You have to keep getting inspected and find those things and stop them before they can get bigger than they should be.
If and when you find a good dermatologist, and if, I recommend that you do, here's a little trick that I learned. When you go to a dermatologist, if you have an appointment in 2025 and then you leave that appointment, make your appointment for 2026 as you're leaving.
Oh, yeah.
Because in order to get into the dermatologist, it is such a long wait. And I love Penn Medicine. That's where I go to get my medical care. But, man, you just wait forever for one of those appointments to open up.
Casey and I have the same dermo, Dr. Jamie Altman, which is out in media. And so yes, I do a yearly inspect. And also, here's another thing about going to a dermatologist. Just get ready to have every bit of your body looked at. Full on naked. They're going to take a peek at absolutely everything. But there's a lot going on there, man.
Yeah,
so
it's the biggest organ of your body.
Absolutely, you need to do that. A dermatologist is so important. My dad wasn't seeing a dermatologist. I'm like, Dad, come on.
Yeah.
What are you doing, man? You got to go to the dermatologist.
Really quickly, you mentioned that this doctor worked for the Tara Miller within Penn Medicine.
Yes.
The Miller family is actually very good friends with my group of friends. And every year we go to this event called the Tara Miller Make the Best of It Bash. It is one of the best charity events of the year. 100% of the proceeds from the event go towards melanoma research.
Okay.
They're a very generous family. And it's happening Friday, June 27th at the Golden Nugget. They have all of the best Shore type of prizes and fundraisers and events and really, really great stuff. If anyone can make it, Friday, June 27th, 7 p.m. Golden Nugget, and then all money goes to Tara Miller melanoma research.
Cool. Nick, I made my appointments coming up on September 11th.
There you go.
There you go.
Nice work.
By the way, so Mike had said on the show something along the lines of, I should have had this done a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, Jarek, get to your dermatologist. And he's he's having the spot removed today.
Well, good. Yeah, Dr. Mike is his doctor.
But you got to go to the specialist as well. Dr. Mike can do tons of things,
right.
but there are things that specialists have to take a peek at. Basal cell carcinoma is the most common type of cancer with an estimated 3.6 million cases in the U.S. annually, and the cases can look differently on a case-per-case basis, but typically appear as an open sore, red patches, pink growths, shiny bumps, scars, or growths with elevated rolled edges. So make sure you get to your dermo. All right, let me go back in. Draw. All right, here's something I saw on Pinterest, and they have just come out with their summer trend report, highlighting what's popular now with their users, from home decor to fashion to summer escapes. These are the trends that will be taking over the season ahead, according to Pinterest.
All right, let's hear it.
And I do like Pinterest. I will check it out from time to time.
Do you have a Pinterest page?
No, a page?
Yeah, like Preston's Picks kind of a thing?
I used to. I haven't been on it actually in a while. You know what? Hang on a second. Let me double back. I was thinking of Etsy, not Pinterest.
Okay.
But I used to go on Pinterest, and I found like some recipes and things like that were pretty cool.
So you can cultivate your own type of stuff that you like and have, it's a different version of a social media.
Okay, so here are the things.
Like choke porn.
Here are the things that are going to, like choke porn.
Come on, man.
That's not where I was going, but sure.
Let's put a pin in that.
Here are the things that are going to be taking over this season. Rustic farmhouse.
Rustic farmhouse.
Dig it. A nice big old sink. And, yeah.
Yes. Big old sink.
Old
rub your
farmhouse
sack
sink.
along the edge. So we're
Big
getting
old sink?
Yeah, big farmhouse. So we're getting our kitchen redone, and we're getting a farmhouse because it's an 1880 house, older house. And we're getting that farmhouse kind of sink.
You get a big old sink?
Big old goddamn sink.
So rustic aesthetics and farmhouse cottage interiors are becoming more popular, with searches for farm cottage aesthetics soaring 910% on the site, and farmhouse cottage interior searches up 370%. Thrifted home decor is also very trendy.
Oh, man.
Searches for it have increased 488%.
My wife is a thrifting fiend, and it's become a weekend activity. And
one that you savor or one that you...
Well, no, here's
Sounds
what
like you love it.
I don't go, so I love being at home.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, and so I actually, yes, I do love it.
All right.
It gets me some alone time in the house, which I enjoy very much. Here's what I'll say about it: she's really good at it, and for her, it's like a treasure hunt.
Yeah.
She goes out and she finds this stuff, and she doesn't get stuff that she doesn't need or whatever. And man, when you thrift and you find like something that's worth a lot of money, and you pay $4 for it. There's a thrill in that. So I understand the appeal. It's not for me, but if you're into it, go for it.
Chuck's wife is a big time thrifter, and she will also like repurpose stuff, and she's so good at it.
Does she sell stuff?
Yeah, because she does like Leave It to Leanne. She's got like a little
like an Etsy page.
Well, that's on her Instagram. Leave It to Leanne. But like a few years ago, she got a Cricut machine, and that just kind of like took off.
She makes crickets.
She does. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. No, but so she has like a cool little like homemade stuff that she she makes. But
she's made some stuff for us, which is really cool.
Yeah, but she also will get like old furniture and repurpose it and paint it. And
I love that. When people do that, and it's a hobby and productive at the same time.
Yeah. So here's another thing that's going to be hot according to Pinterest this season: a digital detox summer. People are ready to ditch their screens and embrace nature this summer. Searches for digital detox ideas are up 72%, and those, for digital detox vision boards have increased, by 273%.
I see this trend catching on more and more. You reported about in your own family, turning away from the screens.
Yep.
I think organically people realize how often your mood can be worsened by going on and just sort of, scrolling and scrolling and scrolling.
Yeah. And it can do both.
It can do both.
There are moments where I'm like, I'm really glad I saw that.
Yeah, I love choke porn.
And in a whiplash moment, it can go south the other way. Like right after I was feeling really good.
And that's it. And you realize that if you just generate those emotions in real, and I have my moments. I posted something that I saw yesterday, which was a newly adopted dog from a house and just loving a bed, and the owner was a beautiful video. Yeah. But then 2 or 3 down, it's something that makes you go, "Oh, I did not need to see that."
Yeah. By the way, what's a vision board?
It's where it's sort of where you put the things that you envision or want to achieve.
You write them down.
No,
it
you
can be
take
pictures.
Yeah, pictures. You can cut things out of magazines. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and you use it as sort of a self-motivation, a visualization of things you would like to achieve, ways you would like to be.
Okay.
You know?
Nick just pulled up an example of it. Okay.
You got to check out Stevie Wonder's. It's really amazing.
So, interest in nature travel is on the rise, including searches for nature retreats up 72% and relaxing in nature up 32%. Users are also searching book retreats up 103% and book club retreat ideas at 265%.
You know, it's up 81%. The meat spa. A lot of people checking into that.
That's a great trend.
Another trend is urban farming and garden-to-table cooking.
The problem is getting the tractor up in your building's elevator.
All right, so Pinterest users are taking inspiration from an expert in these areas, Martha Stewart, with searches for Martha Stewart aesthetic skyrocketing. Listen to this. 2,989%. Harvest recipes searches are up 680%. Urban farming's up 374%. And searches for Martha Stewart vegetable garden have increased by 72%. What were you going to say?
Are you getting into the gardening realm now?
I'm really starting to love it. I'm not.
Do you like creating or fostering life?
Yes.
Yeah.
I do like that. And I like using what we're growing, a lot of herbs. We have
to throw at neighbors.
They're really taken off, and I'm so happy about it. But it's once you get into the rhythm, it's pretty simple.
Yeah.
And yeah, we've got tomatoes, eggplant, some jalapeno peppers, and then the rest are all herbs. So I've got chives and rosemary, thyme, parsley, mint, lots of mint, as for cocktails, and sage. So we're digging it.
You have parsley, sage, rosemary.
I have all of those.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you very much, Mr. Simon.
You going to Scarborough Fair?
Our basil's coming in nicely, Preston.
I have basil too, yes.
Yeah, and also can be applied to drinks.
Yes.
I was in the city yesterday. I was in Philly yesterday, in South Philly, with our buddy Nick Murphy, and there's an urban garden not too far from his house. And to me, as somebody who lives in the suburbs, to see an urban garden, there's something very zen-like in that. I'm like, this is what a nice little addition to an urban area where there's concrete jungle everywhere, and there's this green spot. It was a nice little oasis.
Preston, you mentioned sage. Where does the term sage advice come from?
Sage is more of a wise person.
Yeah. Okay.
And so there's two meanings. You have the herb, and a sage is a knowledgeable teacher of sorts.
Did you know that whoever coined the term?
Okay, so whoever coined the term, coined the term. No, that's good. That's right. Yeah, you're absolutely correct. Portuguese. Here's two more quick ones. Crafting ideas are way up. This summer. So crackers and crafting.
Boxes of crackers.
While they're doing a digital detox, a lot of people plan to get crafty with searches for cute summer crafts.
I would
rising
like to participate in
106%.
some cute summer crafts.
Summer knitting projects.
Knitting.
Jumping 64%, and book club crafts are up 558%.
I just bought a vajazzling kit.
That's crafty.
Yeah, that's crafty.
Very crafty.
Summer colors.
Yeah. She's crafty, right?
Yeah.
I haven't heard this song in ages, man. Yeah.
Starts with Zep?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that either.
It's used throughout the song.
Yeah.
It's the main sample.
They probably wouldn't have had to pay. They just had you going, ying, ying, ying.
Yeah, I could have done that. This is before sampling was not allowed, really. So, all right, anyhow, so crafting ideas. All right, and then the last thing, I know, sorry, Ad Rock. Last thing on this list is nostalgic fashion.
Yes.
The boho trend from the early 2000s is back in style.
So that you just like a hoe.
No, not that boho. Bohemian.
Oh, I'm sorry.
According to Pinterest users and searchers for boho chic summer outfits.
I'm wearing spats today.
Have sorts. So what would, Marissa, help us out. You are now our fashion consultant. So for me, for a guy, do you have any idea what boho chic might be?
Ooh, I don't a male version of boho chic. Probably like 90s hippie-ish, like I think it would start with we call them like drug rugs, like
all right,
those kind of like surfer style, loose gouchy pants and like the colors. The colors are very neutral tones and earth tones.
Well, the picture of Johnny Depp came up, Preston.
Yeah.
Okay.
But also this hat, all right? Like, we're looking at a picture like, almost like a fedora type of hat.
Okay. So it says here that crochet short dresses climbed 2,030%. So Carter, my son, dresses very flamboyantly.
Yeah.
And he had this full head-to-toe crochet outfit on.
Did he make it?
Really?
No, he didn't make it. And I'm looking at it, I go, dude, what are those pajamas you're wearing? He's like, these aren't pajamas.
You don't know boho, Dad.
It's like crochet outfit. I'm like, it's really cool.
Did you see Marissa's jacket yesterday? It was a crochet jacket.
What was I wearing yesterday?
The crochet jacket. It was either yesterday or 2 days ago.
24 hours ago.
Yeah.
So crochet short dresses climbed 2,030%.
What about crochet underwear?
And searches for 2,000 summer dress are up 4,000 or 483%.
What is 2,000 summer dress?
Everything from the early 2000s is
Okay.
back.
All right. Which would be what?
Yeah, like I'd have to see.
Like a lot of the short skirts. It's kind of the stuff that I wore in high school. It's short skirts. It's like think about Britney Spears when she first started, or like Hilary Duff,
like baby
Mandy
doll
Moore.
stuff?
Remember like the big belts and like the tank tops with the shrugs on top.
Okay.
Like, everything was kind of like laced and looked like kind of a baby doll-esque.
Yeah, Nick pulled up some photos, so I got
think like Christina Aguilera,
Paris Hilton.
Paris Hilton.
Yeah.
Those like red carpet styles.
That's
from
sexy
that time.
stuff.
It
I mean,
is back.
it's a little more skimpy. So, yeah, okay.
Hey, Marissa, when it comes back like this, do they immediately jack the prices on these types of items?
I mean, like inflation. You mean like compared to?
No, I just mean like if it becomes trendy again and you get it at a fashionable store or whatever, is it automatically much more expensive?
It depends where you get it from. Well, it depends where you get it from. There's so many fast fashion places like that offer it, but then there's also like really chic versions of it. It's always a little bit different than the original too. So if you try to wear the original, it doesn't always match what the exact style is.
They get you at the drive-thru.
Yeah. All right, so those are some things, some trends to look forward to, according to Pinterest over the next year.
Here we
or so.
go.
Yeah. All right, we got to close up the junk drawer. Let's do that right now. Here we go.
Close the junk drawer. Preston's closing up his junk drawer. There's nothing left here in the junk drawer. Until next time, that was the junk drawer.
By the way, the singer and creator of that song is our buddy Kyle Mack, and his band Minute by Minute has got a show coming up.
They're great. They're the Michael McDonald tribute band.
Correct, and it's what's the date on that?
Sunday.
On Sunday at 118 North. I'll give you some more of the details coming up in music news. We will hit that. Listen, we got to take a break because our guest is coming up. We're going to have Corey B when we return.
Yes.
He's going to be performing at Helium Comedy Club, so stay there for a moment. We'll be right back.
Preston and Steve hang out, and then we came back.
All right,
college again.
You got your fill. All right.
Cool.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank
You're
you.
back.
Appreciate it, Sierra. So somebody who's actually done it, Kathy.
And see, there were a lot of people that didn't know.
A whole bunch of them at Temple, apparently.
I'm going to go to Nick. Hi, Nick. You're on the air. Good morning.
Yo, guys, put a bomb in a possum and feed it to a shark.
Yep. Yes. That's the solution. Yeah. What's up, man?
All right. So I went to O'Hara, Casey's alma mater. Thank you, Delco. And senior year theology class, we had to do a project on different things, and this one girl picked euthanasia, which we were learning about what you guys were just talking about was the mass killing of people.
Right.
She literally did her senior theology project on youth in Asia and stood up in the middle of the class and went 10 minutes into her presentation about it. Everybody's laughing and like snickering, and the priest, it was Father Urian, finally goes over to her and goes, you can sit down now, hon.
That's
mortifying. People, like, their jaw was on the ground. She's talking about how children are not being fed in Asia and everything, and we're just all looking at her like
she was
not even close. You're not even in the right ballpark.
Oh, no. That would have been me.
Yeah.
Had you seen the word, though, had you seen the word euthanasia?
No, actually, it wouldn't have been me. I actually thought euthanasia was a country.
Yeah, that would have been your geography.
Yeah, it would have been my geography.
What's the capital?
Yeah. Wow. All right. Thank you, Nick. Oh, I feel horrible for people when that happens to
All the way
you.
into it.
You realize how dumb that really was. Kath, when did you feel stupid, but probably not because you were in company with other people who did?
I actually laughed so hard. I mean, now, of course, now that I'm telling the entire area, I'm sure plenty of people make me feel stupid. But no, at first I laughed. I was like, oh my, and I went like this, Preston, look. I took my hands and I just went like this, like mind blown.
Wow. Here's a text that says, hey guys, my wife is incredibly intelligent, but one time a few years ago, she said in response to something, frogs don't have blood. And I was like, what? He said she thought that they were, like bugs or something, just a sack of goo. And I still tease her about it because I never win arguments. So that's from Mitch.
Frogs don't have blood.
For whatever reason, she had believed that. Wow.
I think it's very easy with the amount of information you're asked to process throughout life that something will elude you, as you were saying, Nick. Something will get by you.
Here, this text also says they thought that Texas was the biggest state because in those maps, sometimes Alaska is scaled down on the map,
true.
and you don't see that compared. It would take up too much space and take away from the, the contiguous United States. Contiguous.
So when,
damn it, I'll never get it right.
When they show it represented, and there are certain maps that will accommodate for the curve of the Earth, and they will show, they will show it in relative proper size.
Yeah, you want to get the real size look at a globe because Greenland is not nearly as big as it looks like on the maps. Greenland is it's a big island, but it's not as big as it looks on a normal map. So
it looks like a massive continent.
Yeah, if you look at a globe, you'll get the actual size. If you look at a map, you're going to get a distorted size.
Let me go to. Hang on a second.
You can't drive to Greenland, Kathy.
Let me.
Well, I know now because I was looking at maps all weekend.
We go to Joe next. Hi, Joe. You're on the air. Good morning. What's up, Joe?
Hey, guys. Hey, so my story is this. It was back in the early 90s. I was home from Westchester University, Cap.
All right, yes, go Rams.
Old Rams in the house. And we were all sitting out on the front porch, my family and I, and my sisters were out there with my parents. And my parents had just came back from Canada with from a trip with my younger sisters. So we're all sitting out there on the porch, and my one older sister says to my parents, hey, so how was Canada? They said, it was great. And she said, well, how was the weather? And they said, it was hot. And my sister said, really? Wow. The other older sister chimes in and says, of course it was hot. Everybody knows heat rises.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. No lie.
It's like the second story of a house.
Yeah, Canada's above the United States. I'm sure heat rises.
Yeah, he just goes up that way. Oh, my God. That's so funny. And did you guys laugh, get a kick out of that, or what?
We laughed our behinds off, but we've gotten used to my sister saying like crazy outlandish things. Like she had told my one younger sister, "Don't stand next to the microwave; you're going to get radiated."
Right.
Well, that used to be a lot of people had that concern in the early days. Yeah. In fact, there is. Go ahead.
But then with radon being prevalent, she would tell the one younger sister, "Don't go in the basement. You're going to get radon." The younger sister, being so young, thought there was a guy, must have looked like the Michelin Man, who lived in the basement, like Radon Man.
Radon. Oh, that's funny.
Ray Donovan lives in the basement.
I love it.
He was always making up crazy things.
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it. What is this one, Nick?
It's just like a mispronunciation, but it's sort of like O-range or
okay.
C of E,
This one, this one time, me and my friends picked up a pizza, and on the top it said Italian, and I looked at it and I said, "What is Italian?" And my buddy goes, "That's Italian, you idiot."
That is orange or fragile.
I did the same thing. My buddy was writing down in high school, and I was like, "What is Alabama?" And he was writing down Alabama.
Alabama.
Because that's where he wanted to go to college and play football. I was like, what is Alabama?
I have Chris. Hi, Chris. Good morning.
Listen, a-holes, I don't always use ranch dressing.
Well done.
Good.
One of my favorite moments. What's up, Chris?
Hey, how you doing? So, if you don't mind, maybe we could play the yes or no game here on my stupidity.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do we know why Pounders are called Pounders, the beer?
No.
Yes, I do.
Assume. I know.
Pound them.
Yeah. No, because of the.
It's a pound.
It's a pound.
It's 16 ounces of liquid.
I'm 39 years old, and I just realized that last week.
Why'd you think they called them pounders?
Because you can pound them.
There you go. Now there's 16-ounce beers.
Now, I wonder if
Thanks, Chris.
Is there some sort of lineage between the fact that pounding, we call it pounding a beer because of a pounder?
Oh, that like the term pounding came from
that.
the fact that it was a pounder? I don't know.
Yeah.
You got to pound that down, man.
I didn't know. So, I mean, there was a point in my life where I thought like all rivers ran north and south and that, but there's also, speaking north and the south, I thought when you flew to China,
yes,
that you just kind of flew east and west. And because my buddy Vince, he goes there for business.
I was
quite a
assuming
bit.
that too.
Yeah. I was like,
I
yeah,
didn't
you
think
just
about
go
going over the top.
all the way around. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking, like, well, is it faster to go east or is it faster to go west? And he's like, no, you go over. I was like, oh, you can go. I didn't know you could fly over. You can fly north over into.
Yeah, the map can be a strange thing because when we have, and we've flown to Europe together before, and the next thing you know, you're getting close to Greenland, and we're like, are we going like way north to get there? And if you look at the map, no, that's the path you take.
Right,
pretty much,
yeah.
and so things on a map versus a globe look a little bit different, and that's why you can be thrown off a little bit. By maps that you've seen.
They were pointing that out. I was watching this special about the Titanic sinking and the perception of where things were. And the fact was the Titanic was going along a route that was, at that time, was highly trafficked. It was basically like two opposing lanes, one going one direction, the other going with maybe a 50-mile spread. So that was the way they were going through. But when you saw it depicted and where the ships were placed on the map, it seemed, that was spread out incredibly far, but it wasn't.
Nick just pulled up a flat map of the world, and Greenland looks gigantic, Nick.
Right, and it's called the Mercator projection. I couldn't remember the term earlier, but there was the reason why maps are stretched like that is because of in order to draw them flat so that you can see them in a rectangle.
Yep,
you have to stretch them up in the north and the south. But yeah, Greenland's not nearly that big. Antarctica's not nearly that big as well.
Wow.
Here's a funny text that came in, Preston. I want to find it.
The Mercator projection was Rick Astley's first band, right?
I did not know that.
Yes.
Wow. Let's see here. Somebody texted in and said, I thought that it was Roman Cokes, not rum and Cokes. Roman Cokes. Get a couple Roman Cokes over here, please. Oh, that's so funny.
We have some Greek Cokes.
Yeah, roll out of the Roman. Sorry. Let's go to Colin. Hey, Colin, good morning.
Hey, Gadzooks, guys.
Gadzooks, buddy. What's up?
Hey, so my sister-in-law, who just graduated from college, we were all hanging out like a year or two ago, and we were just talking about traveling, and she was going on and about how she had been to another country before, and all of us were like, oh, that's news to us. Where you been? She's like, well, we went to that wedding. Remember Steph's wedding? And we're like, yeah, that was in Colorado. She's like, yeah, the country of Denver. And
Are you
kidding?
That's a lie.
I swear. And so she was probably like 12 or 13 at the time of the wedding, but she thought because she got on a plane to go there.
Oh, okay. So this had lived in her memory as a child, and yet, even though she goes on to graduate college, for some reason, she never really... that's hard to believe.
There's some other issues at work here.
But wow.
Was there any head trauma involved at any point?
Did she fall too?
It's funny you say that, but that's a totally separate story.
Okay. All right.
She dissociated Denver.
That's
from the
wow. That's
reality of
tough,
Denver,
man.
Colorado.
That's funny. All right. Thanks,
I find
Colin.
it hard that somebody wouldn't set you right on that.
All right. This one I like. All right. So, and they, I have to spell this. They said they thought that prog rock, P-R-O-G, rock, was prog rock, P-R-A-G-U-E, and all the bands were from Prague. It says that I'm 32 and I have 2 master's degrees.
All these bands, great bands coming out of Prague.
These bands out of Prague, they all like really long songs.
It's like the Mersey beat.
That are very, meticulous and difficult and have odd time signatures. That's so weird that just in Prague.
I love this Czech music.
Yeah. God. Let's see. How about Joe? Good morning, Joe. You're on the air.
Good morning.
Hey, what's up,
guys?
buddy?
So I'm an RN at emergency department, and one of the guys I work with, he's about ready to graduate nursing school. So we were talking about some of the old shows we saw. Sonny and Cher came up, and he never heard of them. I says, "You never heard of Cher? Musician. She was in movies." So he looks up Cher, and he says, "Oh yeah, she was in this movie Burlesque." Burlesque? You mean burlesque?
Burlesque.
So his new name now is Burlesque. Every time he walks by, hey, Burlesque!
No! Man,
He'll
Joe.
never live it down. He'll never live it down.
That's great.
Sure,
Thank you, Joe.
It's one of my favorite movies, by the way.
Burlesque. And then, when you make a statement like that and you realize you're wrong, and it's like, oh, no.
And why did I say that out loud?
There was, Steve, I think it was Wink Martindale talking about getting a word wrong, and he was on, I think it was Tic Tac Toe. He was the host of that show.
Right.
And one of the clues, the answer was orangutan.
Yes.
But he had never seen the word written down before. And the person answered orangutan, and he goes, "No, it's orangutan."
No kidding.
Or something like that. And he said,
Right, yeah.
I felt like the biggest moron in the world, but he had never seen the word orangutan.
It's because I still will say by default orangutan.
Yeah, with
even
the
though
G
it's
on the end, me
orangutan.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's not. It's orangutan.
Yep.
And then you gotta pretend like you were just joking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, listen, Kathy, that's not as you're in company. You have people along with you.
Few out there.
Yeah. There's apparently an entire class of Temple that believes it as well.
5 points, Delco.
Let me go to.
There was
hang on.
that other story, Casey. Watch yourself.
I'll go to Sam. Hi, Sam. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Hey, what's up, Sam?
So I have two things. First thing is I just found out recently, by the way, I'm 24 years old. I just found out recently that there's a Virginia and a West Virginia.
Understandable, though. You think they'd just be referring that they were actually separate, but
that you're in Western Virginia.
Traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
All right, thank you very much, Marissa. So our next guest is going to be appearing at Helium Comedy Club. He's got shows tonight, tomorrow, and a show on Sunday as well.
There you go.
He is a fellow radio brethren. We were just having radio conversations off air, and he's got 2.9 million followers on Instagram.
All right, yeah.
This is Corey B.
What's up, everybody? How you guys doing?
This morning. What's up, man?
I'm doing great, man. How are you guys?
Doing well.
This is
Nice.
awesome. This
Nice
is sick,
to
dude. I haven't been. This is a real radio studio. We don't see this anymore.
We love it. And Preston mentioned you worked at 3 stations, right?
4. I'm out of Tampa. I did Tampa, then New Orleans, Chicago, and then New York City.
Yeah, man.
Man, you've worked in some good markets.
Yeah.
Which was most fun?
I had a lot. All my PDs were gay, and they really thought I was cute, so I jumped up.
Did you
quick.
really?
Yeah. They all thought they were gonna touch my cheeks, and I was like, no. But I think there was the thrill of it.
Yeah.
I jumped up quick. Social media kind of really helped that out. In New Orleans. And then that's when I got my first job offer in Chicago. Like the big one was Chicago, and then moved over to New York, which was great.
Okay, we were just talking about Chicago the other day. I love that town.
It's great.
So much great food and really cool culture.
The wintertime sucks.
It does
It's the
suck.
worst place.
It is.
If you have an underground tunnel to walk to work, you shouldn't live there.
Real quick, Corey, I took my son on a bunch of college tours last year, and we went to Chicago. We visited Northwestern, which is an incredible campus. It's beautiful, but it was in the middle of the summer, and it was a perfect day. It was so nice out, and he fell in love with it. I was like, buddy, it's a great school.
Yeah.
If you go here, I'll be really happy. It's not like this year round.
No,
if you come here in February and you're right on Lake Michigan, it's going to be a lot colder.
It's going to be cold,
Yeah.
There's a Northwestern kid that delivered my my son.
There you
My
go.
fiance's bits. That's
Nice.
great.
Where are you from, by the way? Originally?
Florida. Yeah. I try not to tell people that, but
You're a Florida man.
although from Tampa, which they call it Tampadelphia, because apparently a lot of people from Philly just go down there.
Dude, we go down for the Phillies spring training, and there are so many. It's little Philadelphia in that area. It's unbelievable.
Oh, we just found out a little factoid this morning, and they just made the announcement. So Pennsylvania is the home of Wawa, the convenience stores.
Absolutely, yeah.
As of today, there are more Wawas in Florida than there are in Pennsylvania.
Look at that, dude.
We're a little heartbroken.
We're
by
not
that.
loving it.
things.
Yeah. Did you do an arena for the Tampa Bay? You were an announcer, were you, for the Lightning? Or
I did. Well, I did some on airs, some in-game hosting. Yeah,
I
like
see.
3 times.
Yeah.
3 times a day.
There's a lot of conflicting information about. Would stand-up present itself when you were in Chicago? Is that
no stand-up? When I moved to New York City, I always wanted to do it, and then Chicago is when I had our son, and I didn't have it. You never know nowadays. I could have, but no. It was just I didn't have enough time. I wanted to go to the Second City out there, which was like really big, comedy.
Legendary.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Didn't have time, so when I moved to New York, all the open mics were right next to the radio station. So after the radio station, I would just go and do open mics, and I fell in love with it. I've always loved comedy. You know what I mean?
So you're a lot of people know you for your video. I knew you before I knew you.
Yeah.
And the thing that I knew you first when I saw your face, I'm like, this is the dude that does the food reactions.
Absolutely, yeah.
Which is a huge. But you're reading about you and seeing some interviews. There was, you tried to find your lane.
Correct.
And it's tough finding your lane. We've talked about this same topic. A number of people have come through, and we're all kind of perpetually fascinated with it because what started as the Wild Wild West in the beginning, and again, COVID, your videos took off and all that stuff. And we've heard that story played out more and more. Some after COVID, passed, found it harder. But you got traction because you kept sort of reinventing yourself. Yeah. Was there that eureka moment when you had that one video that said, okay, this is what I can do, and this is going to be an income source for me for quite a while?
So, when I first started doing my relationship skits back in the day, it was probably like 9-10 years ago now, back when Vine was a thing.
Right.
I kind of had a video that popped off, and I was like, oh, I'm going to stick with this niche. And I did that for a couple years, and it did really well. Then I got bored of that. And I was like, what can I do next? So me and my fiance were living in Chicago. We started doing vlogs and whatnot, hacks and pranks on each other. That blew up, so we did that for a year. Then the pandemic hit, and I was like, wow. Everyone's cooking. Everyone's doing videos. I wanted to react to a video, and it was like someone dumping pizza sauce on the rug.
I saw
they
this.
Cleaned it up
Yes.
with shaving cream.
Right.
I was like, there's no way that works. Let me try myself, and let me react to it. That video got like 20 million views, and I was like, let me do it again.
Yeah.
And now it's like I'm stuck. I have people calling me from the Food Network, like, we want you to do I'm like, I'm not a chef.
So
I just recreate things and say stupid things.
Funny things, though. What were your culinary capabilities prior to this?
The George Foreman grill, dude. I barely cleaned the tray. I don't know how to cook.
But you present like you were on Tamron Hall, right? And you're doing
there.
cooking segments.
Yeah, I did Kelly and Mark.
Yeah.
and all these shows.
They're bringing you out like you're Guy Fieri.
Dude, yeah, I was supposed to be on Guy Fieri's show, but I had shows last week. I couldn't do it. Dude, it's wild. Like Access Daily has me on with Mario Lopez, who's a friend of mine now, which is stupid to say. I don't know how I say that's wild. But like they like, we want you to come do a cooking segment. I'm like, So now I'm like trying to lean even harder into the comedy. Like, I'm not only a cooking guy.
Right.
Like that's not me. And some people will watch it and be like, I hate this guy. He's so cringy. It's like, yeah, but that's the point.
Yeah.
Like I'm not on here being serious. Like I'm not on, I'm like. This isn't like Dave Attell. Like I'm just joking around.
Right, but you know that it's funny though. You get listen. So when your audience comes to see you,
they have no clue.
They have no clue, right?
Yeah.
So that you have that whole other skill set.
It's so great.
Yeah, and so I remember years ago the story, one of the classic stories, and Bob Saget used to recount. People were familiar with him from the sitcom, right? And Full House. And they didn't realize that at that time, Saget was one of the bluest comedians working.
And just dirty.
Filthy. And do you get, I don't assume you get that kind of reaction, but you get a lot of...
Similar. So, and they enjoy it, though. It's luckily, I've had great crowds that love it. But they're like, this is nothing we expected, but this is way better than we expected. I'm like, thank God. But I use that correlation all the time. Like Bob Saget was on Full House. He was the morning show guy in the news.
Yeah.
But then you watch his comedy, you're like, what?
Yeah.
Was that?
Yep.
He told one of the most profane versions of the aristocrat joke. If you watch the documentary, he's like the slam dunk.
I remember I was in Christian high school, and my buddy, we went to his house, and he was like, I want to show you something. And it was Bob Saget. I was like, oh, he does comedy. He's like, yeah. And he played it. I was like, what is life right now? What is this?
You know, and you talk about the social media stuff, and you found, and we were talking earlier, I was just complaining about Facebook, and you don't go on it for a little while, and the password's all screwed up, and it's a nightmare. Yeah. It is such a complex crock of crap. I don't go on Facebook at all because I can't stand it. I use it so I can use my headset and my all the peripherals, I should say. But you found a way to really monetize it and work to your benefit.
Listen, man, if I didn't get paid to be on Facebook, I would never go. If I didn't get paid to be on social media, I wouldn't be on it.
Well, I want to quote an article, the title of the article, and you know the one I'm talking about. New York Post had one. It was titled, "Want to be a social media influencer? Corey B says it's hard as F."
Yeah.
And so, yeah, there's a lot of pain in the ass work involved in what you do in that regard.
It not only is thinking of things to do every day, new videos to do, it's also dealing with the crap. It's dealing with people. You got it, because like you're human. You go on there and you read things all the time, and there's so many. There'll be 10 great comments, but that one bad comment is just that's the one that really sears into your brain, and you hate it, and you want to track that person. you want to track
Absolutely.
them down.
Do you think your radio years trained you for, because you have to always create content
for word economy and being every day you have to come up with a new topic to talk about, and you have to engage listeners to call in and then talk. Yeah, absolutely.
So we were having a meeting the other day, and our program director sat down, and I'll preface this by saying I love John Mulaney.
Yeah.
And Mulaney was talking about his show that he's doing, and he was kind of indicating how difficult it is to come up with 1 hour a week.
Boo.
And Chuck was like, "You guys have been," so we've been podcasting for 20 years now. This program, and he's like, "You guys come up with 5 hours every day, 5
the
days
fact that you guys
a week.
do 5 hours, that's not normal for morning.
Well, we steal
drag
the
it
first hour of our legendary midday guy, Pierre Robert, who's legitimate, one of the classic legends in broadcasting. But he likes to sleep in a little bit, so he doesn't mind.
Hell yeah, he doesn't mind. Of course. If he's a legend, he's like, I'll take the hours.
Corey, when it comes to creating content, you're not going to hit a home run every time. It's just the law of averages.
Speak for yourself.
Well, I barely bunt my way onto first. So, but like when your mindset has to be, I know that some of these are going to get more hits than others, right? And some of them are going to get more views than others. How do you balance that with like the actual creation process? Because you know that sometimes it's just not going to land the way that, and I'm sure sometimes you come in and you're like, this is going to be terrific. I know people are going to respond to it. And then for whatever reason, which could be the algorithm or anything else, they just don't. Like, how do you balance that?
First of all, what I look at to do a video is its shareability. Why would someone want to share this video? What are they going to get out of it? You know, I mean, people are like, why don't you show the videos you do that when the food tastes like crap? I'm like, who wants to watch that?
Yeah.
You're not going to share that and be like, yo, let's cook this for dinner. You're going to be like, this is gross. I'm not going to ever watch that again.
No, that's smart.
So
that's smart.
I look at that. But if I post a video that I think is going to nail and it bombs, I'm like, algorithm. It's not me. It's just because it's Wednesday on a bad quarter.
It's got to suck though when there's something that you're turning out so much.
My fault.
Let me ask you this: you work with your wife, a tremendous
my
amount.
fiance.
Yeah, your fiance.
Not yet, dude.
Not yet. I don't want to rush put the cart before the horse. So, does that create working with the person that you are in love with and the person you're like together a lot? Does that create a work dynamic that can be a little dicey?
No, I mean, it was before we got into therapy. It was certainly because...
Legit?
Yeah, we're in therapy, 100%. Come on, man. We live in New York City, and we have a kid, and we got to have a lot of space. But
and you're in entertainment?
Exactly, dude. Oh, yeah, don't get me started. But, yes. Because we would fight with each other and have to like turn that off and do the video so we can pay our bills.
Yeah.
But now we're at a place to where we don't. We fight in therapy and like we know how to argue now. But it was very dicey for a moment. But yeah, we're always together. But we do also give ourselves some space. Like I go to the gym by myself. I do all these things by myself. I do comedy. I go to comedy shows. She lets me come on the road by myself. You know what I mean? So we get our breaks from each other.
Yeah, you have to. You have to have your separate
no
things.
Choice. You get so sick of each other, you know?
Yeah, with all of the stuff that you're doing, you also going through your list of things that you're involved in. You have your restaurateur. Or you have how many do you have? Or
just one.
Just the one in New York.
In New York.
And what is the cuisine?
It's just American. It's called Bill's Supper Club. It used to be called Bill's Tavern. It's from back in the 40s, and it's across the street from a famous place called Monkey Bar. So it's a good restaurant. You know, it's great.
Did this come about because of all the food association?
It came about because people saw I had a following, and they're like, "Yo, you do food, but you also have a following. Do you want to work with us?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I need place to put my money.
The heart of Midtown?
Yeah, it's yeah.
What is that real estate like?
I don't know. I don't ask questions. I put my money down and I'm like, don't tell me anything. Just let me a tax write-off, dude.
Oh, my God.
You came from sales as well. You done
I did cell phone sales and gym sales and any sale. I would sell toothbrush if I had to. That's what, again, that helped me with radio. Radio helped me with that. That helps me with comedy. And
improv.
Everything. Exactly. 100%. I think what got me into entertainment is I was working at Metro PCS, probably the premier cell phone agency. And I don't know, do they pay you guys? They used to pay me.
Listen, they used to pay me too.
You know how many appearances I went to? Appearance with Paige, the UFC fighter. What was her name? Paige.
Oh, Paige.
You know which one? The one. She's on OnlyFans now.
Yeah.
Paige one. But I did an appearance with her. It was me and a Mexican radio station, and then it was great. It was a good time. But it was like, I would never use that. You know, I didn't have it.
Paige Van Zandt?
Yeah,
Paige Van Zandt.
There we go.
There you go.
So in your years of radio, because we all have them.
Yeah.
What was the biggest disaster appearance you ever ended up at?
Oh man, I got yelled at. I was at a Metro PCS. I did really a lot of Metro PCS. And I'm filming being there, and my boss calls me and goes, "Why are you on your cell phone? Get off your cell phone." I was like, "Because I'm making a video for Metro PCS. Like, why am I? I got in trouble.
Right.
They like Metro didn't want me to do it anymore. I was like, yo,
wow, that's
dude. There were some cell phone appearances that were happening regularly. I don't even remember which cell phone company it was, but regularly, whoever the personality was would show up at the store and they'd say, "What are you guys doing here?"
No one had ever communicated.
Told the store that we were there.
That happened so many times.
Right? Exactly.
And I don't know what's worse, that when you show up and they don't know you're coming, or you show up and they think that you're broadcasting live.
You're bringing lines of people. They're like, "Where's the lines of people?" It's like, dude, come on. Where's the lines of people? I do the afternoon show.
Yeah, but you know what? Also, and I don't know what New York is like or Chicago's like, but like. Here in Philadelphia, we're going to do an appearance in Center City, and they don't care.
Yeah.
They don't show up. But you go to the surrounding areas. You go over to Jersey. You go somewhere in Bucks County or Outer
the suburbs are where it's at.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard. My biggest my sales with tickets are like Des Moines, Iowa, and Dayton, and Buffalo, and the suburbs, like places. Pottstown. I did Pottstown, PA.
You do
sold
Soul
out
Joel's?
5 shows at Soul Joel's. It was amazing.
Wow. Yeah.
You come to like Atlanta and then in the cities, it's like, yo, buy a ticket, please. What do I got to do? I'll dance for you. I'll rub your belly. Buy a ticket.
Is that so? That's where the humility comes.
Yeah.
in, right?
Oh, dude, I'm humbled every time. I came.
Yeah.
They're like, I sold out all these shows in Dayton and Des Moines. I come here and I'm like, hey. They're like, yeah, but you're doing all right. I'm like, yeah, but
Yeah.
not what I want. You know?
But I mean that's part of it, and we talk about again. So your Insta numbers are huge.
Yeah.
What's Facebook? I mean,
Facebook's at 8.9 million. I got 9 million on there.
And you have literally billions of views.
Yeah, TikTok's 10.7 million.
I mean, so when you do you ever feel that? Does that ever? Because I'm trying to understand how that manifests. Like, do you ever wake up and there's 10 billion people in the front of your house?
No, I don't see. I'm not one of these. I'm not like a Jake Paul personality. You know what I mean? I'm very to myself. I don't brag about what I have. I don't show the cars I drive.
Right,
You know, I don't do any of that. And I probably could and make more of myself and market myself better, but that's exhausting.
It's not you.
That's not me.
Unauthentic.
It's very unauthentic. I can't do that. It would be very exhausting. It's not fair for my son to see that side of a person. Like, I'm not that kind of person. I don't want to be that kind of dad to him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just I don't think of myself when I'm out in public as like I'm this figure. So when people come up to me like, "Oh, you're the guy," I'm like, "Yeah, man, let's do a picture."
Yeah.
I don't think of that first. I'm awkward, corny Corey. That's who I am, dude.
I mean, as well, those numbers are so big. Sometimes we'll see somebody with a following that's nearing the population of the United States, and I'm like, I don't know who that person is.
100%.
You know what I mean?
100%.
So it's wild.
Yeah,
it's a different animal.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, with your videos and with the food that you've encountered, and there's so many, and they keep coming across, my algorithm. So that's how I know you're penetrating that way. What is
how, dude? You're jacked. You don't look like you eat crap food. This guy's
occasionally,
swole, man.
But I'll say this: there are a lot of things that you will highlight that I'm like, that looks pretty goddamn good.
Hell yeah, dude. That's why I'm making it.
So the question, long question for a short answer is: how do you not end up ballooning up with all the crap you're eating?
Is it? No, I'm kidding. No. I got a good gym. I work out. My metabolism is okay. I do have love handles though. It's tough. I saw myself at one point. I was like, I look like Chaz Bono right now, and so I had to. Don't laugh at that because that makes me feel like it's true.
Just facially.
That's not what I want. I know I got the boobs too. I see them. That's not what I want. God, facially, that's the worst part about it.
I was just thinking something else.
So you work out. You work out.
Yeah, I
you
go to the
exercise.
gym. Yeah. I've been trying to eat whole foods lately. My fiance had a health scare a year and a half ago where she was diagnosed with cervical cancer. She beat it. But she beat it because we really cracked down on like eating healthy and eating clean. And now I'm eating bread with seeds in it. So you can tell how that bathroom.
Do you eliminate sugar?
Yeah. Well, like the white table sugar. I try to do I try to talk about like organic cane sugar is great. And so in the maple syrups and whatnot. But
okay. If you're just tuning in, we're talking to Corey B. Is going to be at Helium Comedy Club. There's 3 nights of shows. Tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday as well. You can go to heliumcomedy.com. Have you given up on barbecue sauce?
Oh, yeah. See, remember Remember Leslie Jordan?
Yeah.
And he passed away, R.I.P. Leslie was making a barbecue sauce with his company. And while he was in the process of making the barbecue sauce, he passed away. And then the barbecue sauce, I got in contact with him like, hey, we were making one for Leslie, but would you like to make one? I was like, this kind of seems like a bad omen. Like, this guy just died.
Right.
And are we using his recipe? Like, what? It's a company in Chattanooga, great company, very good. They source their stuff organic. They have their own farms that they use. They make really great products. They made me a barbecue sauce, put my face on it. It was wild. It was kind of like these hopes and dreams of like, I'm going to use this in every video. But then I felt bad for using it in every video.
Right.
So it's one of those things I could have marketed better and promoted harder. I didn't. And it's kind of flared out, but it's there. There's a Corey barbecue sauce.
So let me ask you about contributing. Sorry to interrupt, Steve.
Yeah.
So I have my own pickles here in Philadelphia.
No way.
Fishtown Pickle Project. Yeah, amazing. And I gave them some ideas, and they did the work, and they made it happen, 100%. And they're fantastic. Did you offer up any, like, I want to get these flavors, or did you just say, make a barbecue sauce, throw my name on it?
It's funny because I wanted to do, like, in D.C., there's this wing sauce. It's called Mambo sauce, I believe it's called. I had it before, really loved it. And I was like, let's bottle this up and make it. And they tried it and they sent me a bottle. I was like, no, let's just do traditional barbecue sauce because that's not working. And so they were like, we want to do like a lavender honey flavor and this and that. I was like, that sounds perfect. You guys are the pros. I have the face. I can make videos with it. Let's do that. And so that's kind of how that went.
I sort of get, though, I mean, and it's... you have something, you have a fan base, and you don't want to be... You
don't want to beg.
Yeah, buy.
Yeah.
It's
Same
like
with tickets.
They're already supporting you,
Exactly.
you know?
I appreciate that about you.
Yeah.
You know, absolutely. And by the way, it's called Corey B's Oh Baby Barbecue Sauce. That's a great name, by the way.
Look at the face, dude. Who's buying that?
Looks like Chaz Bono.
It looks like something. The mouth's open, dude. It should come with a Sharpie. You should be able to just draw things in there.
Draw a penis.
You never get a picture in public with your mouth open.
There were billboards in the city that there's a girl like she's surprised.
Oh, come on.
On a billboard, people were drawing
giant. What is that? Giant. And by the way, this is an incredibly well-traveled stretch of road.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That the odds that you could do it and not be discovered, and they had a huge dong right there.
Bunch, right?
Yeah.
That's great.
And hair on the nutsack.
You gotta have attention to detail, dude.
And do you remember that morning? Because we were reporting on traffic, and it was because of that billboard. There were
people slowed down.
They were slowing down a little.
Yeah, it caused so much traffic.
Right.
Hey,
You
Corey.
can't have alopecia on your balls.
Corey, I went to Bill's Supper Club, the Instagram account. Did Taylor Swift have dinner there?
No, well, she went across the street.
Oh.
What? She had dinner across the street, but she shouldn't have walked in front of our restaurant because now that's promo for us.
There's a picture of the awning that says Bill's right below where Taylor is
Sure as
walking.
heck walked across the street.
All right.
Yeah, don't walk anywhere near our building. We will get a photo of you next to it as a shameless plug. Dude.
Oh, that's
might as well go
awesome.
for it.
I'm not allowed to go there. Too many models go there, so my fiance, I'm not allowed to go eat there.
Hey, do you have any celebs that are fans of yours that you found out about?
Yeah, well, Elizabeth Banks. Why don't you keep messing me back? She followed me. Christina Milian. I don't know if you know who that is.
Love her.
John Stamos. We're boys now.
So how, you said Mario Lopez?
Mario Lopez. All right, I'm big into boxing. Love boxing.
Right.
I'm a huge boxing guy. I was at a boxing match and saw Mario Lopez there, and I took a picture. Beautiful hair. Crazy. That's unbelievable hair. And I took a picture, and I was like, yo, AC Slater still has that hair. And he saw it, and he liked the video, and he commented, oh, man, love that. And I was like, my response right after was, let's make a video together. And he goes, would love to. All right. And next thing I know, I'm going out to L.A. to do Access Daily and do that, daytime television.
And he's a pretty good boxer.
Dude, he's great. He's funny, but he's not like, everyone's like Mario. Mario is off air. The coolest guy ever, man.
Really?
He's like that guy's guy. Like it's amazing. I love Mario.
I love that.
So we've been talking a lot this morning, and even in the conversation with you, Corey, about like the how awful social media can be, and just the exhausting nature of all of it, and keeping up with it and creating content, et cetera, et cetera. However, these things happen too. You connected to him because of social media, and like you have a friendship now, and it was just a comment, and it was just a silly thing, and now you guys are buddies, and like that wouldn't have happened if not for social media.
100%. I give everything, all my success to Facebook. I told Zuckerberg, like, I would, pull your pants down, and I owe you everything. The crazy thing is, like, not only the Mario Lopez thing, I had Jared Leto hit me up one day out of nowhere. It wasn't him. It was obviously his team, but they were like, we want you to come do a video with Jared. So next thing I know, I'm in his hotel room. Him and I are just doing a video together. He's floating because he's not a human being.
he does seem a little otherworldly.
You know, man, you know how people like they get into roles and characters and they don't break out of it. I think he still is Morbius, but like somehow vampire. I don't know.
But I heard he's just like weird.
I signed an NDA, but I'll tell you everything about him. He doesn't eat till 4 p.m. He's just nuts, dude. It's just look at the shape he's in. Look at the guy's nipples, though. It's real weird that he had his nips out right next to me like that.
Yeah, he's wearing a mesh or sheer shirt.
And I mean, obviously, 30 Seconds to Mars he's on too. So he's not just an actor. He's just got so many things going on.
And he's actually a damn good actor.
Doesn't age. He's just he's a really nice guy. But like you get done with a video with him and he just disappears.
Did you see that video where he invited that celebrity chef over and it was this person who is renowned for being a terrific chef, and they come over to this private dinner at Jared Leto's house, and Jared didn't care for what this person was preparing and just acted really aloof and arrogant around this guy, and the guy's like, what am I doing? I just came to make exactly. Yeah. I came to make you dinner, and you're treating me this way, and it was just
I don't like fish sticks.
It was off-putting.
He's a vegan, so he doesn't. There's a lot there was a lot of restrictions I had before I brought food over to him, but he's just. He's got that vibe.
Yeah.
And you've got I saw him hugging people and I was like, dude, wouldn't even shake my hand. I didn't know if I was smelly. I didn't know. I rode a bike there, so I don't know. I do have I wash really hard, but sometimes I still smell. You know what I mean?
It happens.
Was it in New York?
Yeah, it was in New York.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you have that Chaz Bono kind of build.
Yeah, so my grundle, you know what I mean? But again, great guy from what I've recognized. But it could come off as that for sure. 100%.
All right.
Let me ask you. You mentioned the boxing, and you had fought an ex-boxer,
Italian guy,
who was had won a few titles.
Yeah.
Now, what was the age difference?
He was 40-something. I was 30-something.
Okay.
But so Paulie Malignaggi, that's what I'm talking about.
How did that go?
So it went with I don't know if I'm gonna get sued for this, but it went from a company called Celebrity Boxing hit me up and be like, yo, would you like to do boxing? And I was like, yeah, actually, I've been training. Because my other co-host told me I couldn't do it, so I wanted to do it.
Right.
And they were like, well, we want you to fight Paulie Malignaggi. And I was like, who's that? And I didn't really know of him. And I looked it up. I was like, oh, this guy's a 2-time world champion.
Oh, my God.
But you can make some good money doing it. And so there was a whole thing set up where we hated each other, and I went to some match, and I smacked him in the back of the head, and it went viral. And then we had some fight that they didn't promote, so we only had 5,000 people there, tops. It was just it was whatever. But for me, it was like, I still have those shorts. I want to frame them. It was an experience. I went 3 rounds with a professional champion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I lasted. You know,
did you get tagged?
No, he's always been known as like having pillow hands.
Okay.
And so he doesn't really hit hard. And we also had 18-ounce gloves on.
Okay.
So we did some hitting, but not enough to feel it. But it was exhilarating, man. It was very exhilarating.
Cool. Yeah,
That's
the fact you got in the ring with a guy like that.
Exactly.
That's
We were actually fighting each other. It wasn't like we weren't going to go easy on each other. It was like we were going to fight. Yeah, it was fun, dude.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Nice. Good on you, man. Well, listen, we're gonna take a break, but I want to make sure everybody is aware that Corey's going to be at Helium Comedy Club tonight, 7 and 9:30. Tomorrow night, 6 and 8:30, and then there's the Rare Sunday show.
Yes,
7 o'clock. So you can go to heliumcomedy.com and get those tickets. But check out Corey on social. He's got all the platforms covered, has millions and millions of followers, and that's for a reason. He's really talented and very entertaining. So, but dude, cool. It's nice to meet you,
Absolutely.
man.
You guys too, man. This is great. I love this. Keep the radio alive. Thank you for that. That's
You
awesome.
got it, bud. Have a great show this
you too.
weekend. All right, we'll see you. Corey B, everybody. All right, we're going to take a break. Back in a moment. Stay put.
Preston and Steve.
Right. Yeah, is that what you thought? It was one state, but there was a western part of it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No.
So, and I mean, I think it's understandable.
Absolutely. I'm gonna give you that one, Sam.
It's understandable.
The other thing is that my friend thought that she's also 24. She thought that buffalo chicken, like, you know, buffalo chicken dip, stuff like that, that it came from a spicy chicken.
Rather than because the old one is that it came from a buffalo.
Right,
We
yeah.
learned that from Jessica Simpson, but they actually raise spicy chickens.
Yep, that this was somehow.
They feed them jalapenos, habaneros,
all that
stuff like that,
and then when they die, they're just the tastiest, spiciest.
Oh my god!
Yep.
You know, though, that's so. What's
great.
worse that the people that was it Jessica Simpson thought it was a buffalo, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, no, it was chicken of the sea.
Well, both of them.
Yeah, that.
Both of those
shit,
things.
both
Yeah,
of
yeah.
those?
So,
Oh.
or I think so. But yeah, the chicken of the sea. She thought she didn't know it was tuna.
Sea chicken. Yeah.
So yeah. Oh my god. These little brain fart moments, man.
But remember when
They're
you
the
when
best.
you jump on someone, remember that there's just something waiting in your mind that may not have been exposed yet.
You
but-
just wish that you have these revelations while you're by yourself.
Right. Oh my God, yes.
Yes.
And then who do you admit that to if you do?
Then you can sort of, oh my God, do you know that I used to think that?
Well, have you ever had? I've had it where you'll be reading and you dodge a bullet because you're reading something. Oh my God!
Right?
I've been way off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely. Wow. All right. Well, wallow in that for a little while this morning, and thank you.
Marissa posted a poll, and she put it as an anonymous poll. Did you know you could drive from Philadelphia to Alaska?
So far, 83% knew yes,
Yeah,
you could.
They sure
that
did.
was-
Come on, people. If you didn't know, just let me see.
Fess up.
Help me out.
Help a gal out.
16.9% didn't, and
Yeah.
know now.
Yeah.
I'm not alone.
All right. Well, listen, let's take a break and come back in a second and dive into some bizarre file stories will make you feel better.
Oh, good.
Definitely. We'll do that in a bit. Don't forget, Coolest Teacher. We started that today. Burlington County Institute of Technology. You guys are the first ones up. First time that name has ever been called, by the way, I've been told. So text the word teacher to 39333. We'll send you the voting link. You let us know who deserves the honor. We'll be back in a little bit. I wanted to go back to the story that Kathy had in the news, and it was a woman, a local gal who has gone viral because was her grandmother?
Yep. So her grandmother was from Conshohocken, and her grandfather was from Ambler. They met and they got married. I forget what year they were married. 1952 they were married. And they went from Philadelphia to New York City for their honeymoon. And the grandmother took all of the outfits from 93.3 WMMR.
Thank you, Kathy. Steve, you want to share some info?
Yes, I do. After a couple years, the Mutiny on the Mashalou is back. It's my wife's signature charity event for Max Fund, which benefits TNR programs and helps get homeless cats and medical treatment, provides a centralized fund that pet charities can call from. Anyway, it's been a couple years, so it's back on the Mashalou. It's sponsored by Rafferty Subaru. Parking will be free. They're giving a special dispensation that evening. The wonderful people down there are taking care of the parking. So let me tell you what you get for your ticket price of $40. It's pretty amazing. You get great food tastings from Algorithm Restaurant, Zaz Ice Cream, Tuck-Ins, Nothing Bun Cakes, Rosie's Kettle Corn, Insomnia Cookies, Finger Food for the Mashalou, and more. Drink tastings from Yards Brewery, Chatsford Winery, Clear Rum, Stateside Vodka, and more. And the cool part is, I don't know if you know, if you haven't been to one before, there are wandering entertainers while this is going on. and that DJ Perry's providing the music. Bad Entertainment will provide jugglers, giant bubble-blowing guys. Mike Palladino is a magician. Strongman Todd Jones. Tarot card readers, Reagan Tilton and Jacqueline, let me get her name correct here, Baker. Bryn the Contortionist is going to be the Pirateers, Kittens to Pet. It's a big thing. That $40 is going to go to the charity. Everyone is donating their wonderful services and food gratis. So it's a win-win for all the animals in the tri-state area.
It's only $40.
That's pretty damn good.
Hell yeah.
And everyone's very generous about it. You can go to maxfun.com to order your tickets. It's June 8th. Thursday, it's from 6 to 9, so it's before your weekend plans. I'm going to be there, and there's going to be a lot of people hanging out there. We'd love to see you. Have a good time.
I'll be there.
Oh, awesome. And so I'll be hitting it. It's just great to be up on the deck of the Mosh Show. Love that place. And again, the fact that you do not have to pay for the parking in that lot right there makes it super convenient. So we'd love to see you out at the event. And
I have to believe this is all at PrestonandSteve.com.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay.
And we're adding stuff. So it's actually, as people find out about it, very generous food providers and other people and entertainers are approaching me and like, yeah, let's make the party even bigger. So,
awesome.
And my wife Claire is doing a great job putting everything together. So it's awesome. But thank you, Preston. I just wanted to get it out.
No, please.
We're excited about it.
PrestonandSteve.com to get the info. Another thing I want to mention, just a reminder, this weekend, the movie The Machine opens up.
Yes.
And we want you, if you love Bert Kreischer and love our relationship with Bert, go see the movie.
Yeah, go see it.
Support it, and it looks hilarious.
Yeah.
It looks fantastic.
If it gets a good, strong first week, that's all you need. That weekend, Memorial Day weekend, it'll be fantastic.
I'm going to hit that a few times this week just to remind people. There's a great picture of him and Kevin Smith together. Did he come by for an interview with a podcast or something?
He was on Kevin's podcast. Yeah, I watched some of it yesterday. I think they ended up talking. This might surprise you, for 2.5 hours.
Oh my God!
Yeah, because both of those guys are talkers and have a million stories to tell. But yeah, I watched a few of the clips yesterday, and it's cool to the guys that we love the best, and to see them in the same room at the same time is pretty nice.
Opens on Friday. Go see The Machine. All right, in a little while, we're going to have a young woman by the name of Maggie Drozdowski on the program. You probably saw the story. If not, she was bit by a shark. In Stone Harbor, surfing. 6 stitches, nothing really bad, but I mean, there haven't been any shark bites in a while down that way, and her foot looks pretty gnarly. We're going to talk to her in a little while about that. And while the subject is up, I didn't think we'd have too many people that would have stories of being bitten by sharks.
Yeah, I was bit in half, but I'm doing fine.
But, man, there are people, if you've been bitten by an animal, it's pretty freaky. And if you think about it, and I'm not talking about dogs and cats.
Yeah,
and obviously
Scruffy on the couch.
Those can be pretty bad too. But there are plenty of other animals that can bite you. And even though you, as a human being, are going to win in that competition, the other one's going to die if you wanted to. It's still pretty freaky, terrifying.
There was a story recently about a woman, a dairy farm, was bitten by a cow.
Oh, yeah.
Bitten by a cow.
Sure, man.
And like a lot of damage, broke her arm.
Yeah, 215-263-WMMR. If you were bitten by an animal, not just, your pet or a dog or a cat, something a little bit different than that. We'd like to hear about that.
My friend lives on a farm, and the neighboring farm has cows, and there were babies there. And so we were there once, and we went to go look at the calf. And my friend stepped into where it was, and she was like, you guys stay there, because she said if the mom gets pissed, you don't want to be in here for that.
Sure. So you just don't think a cow's that way.
Yeah, just thought like a cow.
Docile.
We can get out in enough time. Like, they're slow. They're big.
You're always seconds away from an utter catastrophe.
Come on.
Seriously.
Come on.
You know what freaks me out though? Like the little reptiles that can latch on. A kid, like a little boy is playing with one, and it just latches onto their finger.
So Trish here from our sales department, she and her husband have bearded dragons. And I was at their house one night, and she was showing them to us, and I stepped away for a little bit, and she's like, oh, I got bit. And I turn around, and she's got blood pouring out of her hand, and she thought it was funny.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you just got bit by a freaking...
By a
dragon!
A dinosaur!
Yeah. I remember my fraternity brother got bitten by his python. He was going in there. He had the mouse in his hand, and the python was like, No, I'm going to go for your arm.
Dude, my friend growing up had a snake. That snake ate him more than the mice and crap he'd put in the tank. He was constantly getting bitten by that friggin' snake.
Dude, the scene in Road Trip where Tom
Yes.
Which just totally wraps its mouth around his hand. Oh my God!
I don't get owning snakes and stuff like that. But I did see, Steve, a picture of a snake. This guy dressed up as an Uber driver. He goes, "Oh my, like little Billy got his first job. He had a helmet on this thing and a little backpack that said Uber Eats on it.
On the snake?
On the snake. It was hilarious. I'm like, okay, first cute snake I've ever seen in my entire life.
I've never seen a helmet on a snake.
No, you have to see this. It's like an albino python.
I've seen a snake smoking before.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah. There's a really good picture of a
I saw
snake
an
with a
adult man
cigarette
pleasure a
hanging out
camel.
of its mouth.
You did? Tijuana.
Let me go to...
On 93.3 WMMR.
All right, let's go for the bizarre file.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you by Family Company Jewelers. You can ditch the ties and gift cards this year and get Dad something different. Get him a gift that shows how much you care, like a hand-forged pocket knife from William Henry. FamilyJewelers.com. Well, in March, the Idaho legislature declared that an emergency existed in that state, requiring it to immediately criminalize the public exposure of, among other things, any human breast, except for breastfeeding purposes. Now, many of you might be thinking, wasn't that already illegal in Idaho? And the somewhat surprising answer is no, but it is now. Now, it's called House Bill 270, which the governor has since signed into law, amended and expanded the state's indecent exposure statute. And according to this article I read, the bill expands this to punish one who similarly displays toys or products intended to resemble male or female business, they're calling it, or exposes developed female breast, real or artificial. Now, the concern about toys or products intended to resemble human business is what seems to have gotten the bill dubbed, and this is what they call it, the truck nuts bill.
Oh, is that what it's about?
Yes.
Truck nuts. Oh my God.
Well, that's what they've nicknamed it.
Listen, they crack me up when I see truck nuts.
Yeah. It cracks you up when you see truck nuts?
Yeah.
About how stupid it is?
Yeah.
I think so anyway. I look at it and go, oh, you're an a-hole. You're a moron.
It makes me chuckle, yeah.
So following mockery to that effect by Melissa Wintrow, Idaho's Senate Minority Leader, she had said they're gross or offensive and kids on the road see them. So why wouldn't
Truck
police
nuts.
get a call and say, that offends me, pull it off the truck? Because now this bill will allow it, and I talked to the police, and they said, indeed, it would. So the Idaho Supreme Court will have the ultimate judge of that. But the truck nuts bill in Idaho. In New Jersey, while some wait their entire life for a knight in shining armor, it was a hoodie-donning man on his horse who came to the rescue after a hit and run on a suburban street Saturday in Riverside, New Jersey.
Was he wearing a black mask?
No, a man named PJ was visiting the township to show his horse Shiny to his friends. But that morning, the duo saw a driver strike a parked car and ride off into the sunset. And a different person reported the incident to police, telling officers she heard a loud crash outside her Middleton Street home. When she went outside, she saw a vehicle speeding off and noticed damage to a parked car. Shortly after, PJ emerged with some important news to deliver by horseback. PJ informed the caller that he saw a gray Honda Accord hit the vehicle and drive off. And with Shiny's help, PJ rode after the car. He went chase down the car. And he got close enough to obtain a partial license plate number. And that information helped police identify Italo Lavely, some really long last name, as the suspect. And he was charged with careless driving without a license, failure to report an accident.
He should have lassoed the side view mirror.
Leaving the scene of an accident. Riverside Police said, we'd especially like to thank PJ and his sidekick Shiny for their efforts to get us the information that ultimately solved the case.
That's pretty cool.
A rare 19th century condom decorated with an erotic etching featuring a nun and 3 clergymen is going on display at a museum in the Netherlands.
Wow.
Believed to be made from a sheep's appendix, the prophylactic dates back to 1830 and is likely a souvenir from a brothel. Joyce Zellen, curator of prints at this museum, said that condoms would have been sold under the counter at that time. This example is in mint condition, she said, with UV testing revealing that it hasn't been used.
Do you know that before they could remove the sheep's intestines, they would often use just full sheep as condoms?
Wow. Yeah, I've heard of that.
But that's where they got lambskin condoms, right? Is that they would use the lamb's intestines?
Yep.
How? Okay, so I'm just wondering at the base, like, elastic didn't exist then. Like, how did they make it stay?
I don't know. So this fact, as well as the print and the extended length of the condom, which is 7.9 inches long, suggests this was a, quote, luxury brothel souvenir.
Oh, okay. More for display than use.
It makes it more of an object to laugh about with your friends than an actual object to use, she said. In the etching, the nun can be seen seated with her legs open while the three clergymen are holding up their robes, revealing that they have, their manhood ready to go.
This is scandalous.
The inscription, Voilà mon choix, means this is my choice. And it makes the print of a parody of both celibacy and the judgment of Paris from Greek mythology, said the museum. So
the artwork is actually very impressive, and that they got it on this the way they did, because it is a meticulous etching.
Yeah, so here's how they did it. They would have
put this on.
Provided minimal protection from unwanted pregnancies, but it was used, but the printmaker would have laid the appendix of the sheep or goat out flat, used a copper plate with the inked etching on it to print the design onto it. So that's how they worked that out. All right, and then we'll do one more story, and then we'll wrap this up. A Florida-based lock manufacturer named Proven Industries has filed a lawsuit against Trevor McNally, a social media creator with millions of followers, after McNally posted videos appearing to show how easily Proven's locks could be opened using a piece of an aluminum can. All right, now, according to the documents, McNally first published a video on April 3rd that incorporated about 15 seconds from Proven's promotional video. In the video, McNally is seen demonstrating how to bypass the lock, which Proven claims creates a false impression that their product is trivially easy to defeat. The video, titled $130 Lock Bypassed with a Can, has been taken down due to copyright claim by Proven. In his complaint, Proven Industries said the reproduction of plaintiff's copyrighted material was not necessarily to convey any legitimate message and was instead included to improperly attract attention, ridicule plaintiff, and frame the lock product as insecure and trivial. So in the video, he is, with its editing, timing, and context, gives consumers the false or at least misleading impression that the lock, that the Proven lock is mere child's play. In the video, McNally appears swinging his legs and sipping from an apple juice box, conveying to the purchasing public that bypassing plaintiff's lock is simple, trivial, and even comical. But what they say he failed to disclose was critical information, such as that successfully bypassing the lock required prior disassembly of the product to examine its internal components, including the position of the plunger, and to manufacture a custom-fit shim with precise notch dimensions.
Okay, so I can see where they're coming from. This isn't just like, oh, look what I can do quickly without any prep.
Yeah, so after...
any lock given enough effort can be broken.
By the way, after they asked him to take it down, he posted 3 additional videos targeting more of their products, and so now they're coming after him with a lawsuit. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
It is interesting.
When you go after a product online, you may want to be careful how you do that.
Yeah, listen,
they might have legal recourse.
You could open up the package and crack it open.
Yeah.
You might have a case for saying, look, it's here, it's obvious, you made this claim, and I refuted it.
Yep.
But this is a little bit more elaborate.
Yep. All right, and there you go. That's what I have in the bizarre file for you. Hey, again, thank you to our friends at Dunkin' for dropping off a whole bunch of donuts. Today is National Donut Day. And you can stop by your local Dunkin' and enjoy a free donut with any beverage purchase. So they've been doing 15 years of free donuts on National Donut Day. So head by and get that today. Offer valid today only. Exclusions apply. Participation may vary while supplies last. So thank you, Duncan, for doing that for us this morning. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back in a moment. Lesson question is up next. We'll get some trash and a few things in music news as well. Stay put. We'll be right back.
Preston and Steve.
Luke. Search snake smoking if you want.
Yeah, and the helmet thing.
Nick needs to see that. And the helmet thing, too. Hi, Luke. You're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, I just want to tell a story about how I used to be a UPS driver up in Vincenttown, New Jersey, and I had to make a delivery to a farm that had a bunch of where they would raise horses. where you would sit on those carts. And I'm going up to go do the delivery, and then you got your driver's door open because it's so hot in the summertime, and all of a sudden I just feel this bite on my leg, and I look over and there's an ostrich.
What? An ostrich?
Stop it. Come on, really?
Yeah, they actually had a pet ostrich that would roam the property for some reason. And I could not make the delivery, so I'm in the UPS truck, honking the horn. Nobody's coming out. I'm like, I got to get this thing off the truck because with UPS is every package every day. Makes
right.
sense.
Yeah.
So here I am. I run out the passenger side. The ostrich starts chasing me. I'm running around the back of the truck. I hop through the driver's door. It tries to lunge at me through the driver's door. I get out the passenger door again. I run to the barn, drop the package off. The lady comes out of the barn and she grabs the ostrich by the neck and holds it. She's like, "Get back in your truck right now." I'm like, "You don't have to tell me twice."
I bet you I know what was in that box. It was probably ostrich sedatives.
Oh my God,
Jesus!
Have a good one, guys.
Yeah,
Dude, see you, Luke.
Wow. There's a I think she's on Instagram. She has an account, but she has. I guess you know what I'm talking about.
I know who you're talking
and
about.
it's this bird that is it an emu or an
It's
ostrich?
an emu.
It's an emu,
Right.
yeah.
And it freaks out all the time, and it comes charging, and she's
Yeah.
yeah, it's crazy.
She'll do videos with like selfie videos of her, and she'll just like slowly pan over to this like vicious thing ready to like bite her.
Mm-hmm. We will go next to Will. Hey, Will. Morning.
Rhythm, schism, a brizza.
Rhythm, schismism. What's up, buddy?
What's up, guys? Skull Sealer here.
The Skull Sealer.
I got bit by a groundhog.
Whoa.
Now they've
Don't
got
drive angry.
Yeah, don't drive angry. They've got sharp little friggin' teeth, don't they?
Yeah, giant in sizes, man. So I was coming home from work one day, and I saw this animal in the road. So I slowed down, and it was still alive. It was a tiny little groundhog. It wasn't like a full-grown, like full pounder or anything, but it was pretty small. So I got out of my van, picked it up, moved it to the side of the road, and it bit me in the web of like my thumb.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. I still have the scar from it.
So I assume you don't know if the thing is rabid or not. Did you go to the doctor immediately?
I did not.
Oh, dude.
You became a werebadger.
Will, the thing is biting you. Did you start like smacking it on the head to let go, or was it a quick bite?
It was a quick bite, but I did like try and shake it off. You know?
Yeah.
Because it wasn't like thrashing or anything. It was just like a real quick chomp down my hand and then like a release. But
ow.
I don't know if it even survived. Who knows?
Thank you, Will. Appreciate it, man. I have a fear of being bitten by a snapping turtle.
Okay.
Oh, for good reason.
I'm fascinated with them. You will actually see them on golf courses a fair amount of time. At least once a year, I'll see a good size one just sitting out sunning itself. I'll go over and take a good close look at it.
Yeah.
Just because they're really prehistoric looking and
it's
really cool, but
tank.
That beak terrifies me.
So Coney Island Aquarium has a snapping turtle, Preston. This thing's lived in Coney Island to begin with because it's got tattoos and stuff. But it's this big, this beak on this thing. It just sits there, and it always sits there at the corner of the tank. But you're right, they're really threatening looking.
And if you've ever bitten by something small, and how bad that hurts, I can only imagine. I got bit by a hamster in college. I still, from time to time, will think of it.
You still cry?
No, I actually it gives me like the chills because I'll never forget his little teeth going through my finger. I was like, oh my God!
But this thing, a snapping turtle, can take a full finger off. I told a story about where my dad lived years ago. They had a pond, and they were finding ducks and geese with their heads bitten off.
Yeah.
And they don't fly that way normally.
My brother used to put them in the pool and swim with them.
What?
He would get them from the
turtles?
He'd get them from the creek.
I think I remember you telling
And he would
me
put
that.
them in the pool and he'd swim with them. And then my mom would be like, "Go take them back." And he would take them out of the pool and take them back to the
By the way,
creek.
everything else about the turtle is slow, but that snap is lightning fast.
Yep.
I have been bitten by a swan. It didn't hurt at all. That was the only one where I was like, oh, my God, you're adorable.
Stop looking at me, Swan.
My dad had to smack a swan in his head because he went after Jace. Jace was little, and he looked at Jace like he was an enemy. And
No!
Mike did. No,
Yo, SWAT!
He did. He just took one hand and smacked him.
I know people who have battled with goose before.
Oh.
There was a guy that was fly fishing one time, as a friend of my dad's, and it was, because you throw it up in the air,
Yeah.
and it either caught on the goose or the goose snapped at it or something like that. But anyhow, he had to reel it in.
Oh no!
Because it's flying in the air, and he wasn't going to give up his rod. And then when he got there and he's trying to unhook it, the thing is beating him with his wings, which are pretty formidable, and I've been snapping at him as well.
Getting back to sniping turtles real quick, I saw one in the middle of the road one time, and I tried to be a good Samaritan and get out. I stopped the car, and I tried shooing it off the road, and I got a stick, and I was sort of trying to poke at it or whatever.
Why'd you just pick it up?
Because it scared me. It was a big old snapping turtle.
Yeah.
And
if you just pick it by its shell, it won't even get its.
He's panicking.
No, I know.
No, I mean, and it was in the middle of the road, case, and so I was just trying to shoo it off of the road. But those things hiss at you.
Yeah.
And I just and I was like, man, I'm just trying to help out, buddy.
Yeah.
I hope we got run over.
Let me go to.
Well, listen, fool don't want no help.
I got Kelly on the line. Hey, Kelly. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hey, what's up, Kelly?
Oh, thank
you.
Back in the late 70s, early 80s, it was a thing in Philly, apparently where I lived, where people had monkeys.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like one of those little monkeys that was on Friends.
Okay.
And
Like Capuchin monkey.
Capuchin, yeah.
So my dad used to let it run around the house, and one day it was sitting on my shoulder, and he was a nasty thing. He would steal cigarettes, and he would rip up things, and he was sitting on my shoulder, and my dad said, "Oh, turn your head, he's going to kiss you." I turned my head, and he bit me.
Where did he bite you? On your face?
On my face, yeah, I have a scar.
Oh.
You have a scar from the friggin' monkey.
I'll show it to you on Friday. I'll be at Keenan.
Yes. Tell us your monkey scar, girl, and we'll showcase that.
If you have a monkey scar, come down to Keenan's. We want to see it.
Wow, Kelly, did you have to get any stitches or anything like that?
They didn't take you to the hospital back then.
Nah. Just put a piece of gum on it.
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
I don't have any stitches.
All right. Well, we'll see you on Friday, Kelly.
Okay, perfect.
Scarface is your name from here on, by the way.
By the way, monkey's going to monkey. It's going to do. People, and I remember people would get those things. There was a Woolworths.
93.3 WMMR. It's Everything Rocks. All my friends from The Revivalist, and you know what? For the lesson question today, we are going to give away tickets to see that band, The Revivalists. They're going to be performing September 26th at Parks Casino in the Excite Center. Tickets are on sale, parkscasino.com. 21 and over event. Well, we have your chance to win those tickets, which is pretty awesome. They're such a great band.
Yes.
Nice people, wonderful performers. And let's do that now. All right, lesson question. I'm going to ask you this question, see if you know the answer to it. One time at a meal at the White House, what ingredient couldn't Ronald Reagan taste in the monkey bread? If you heard that earlier this morning, you need to call right now, 610-660-9333. All right, one time at a meal at the White House, what ingredient could Ronald Reagan not taste in the monkey bread? All right, if you know the answer to that, you heard it, you need to call us now. We'll get you on, see if you get the answer and get those tickets to see The Revivalist. 610-660-9333. Good luck to you.
The trash business is a gold mine.
93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
All right, we'll get ourselves the trash and we'll see if we can get a winner. Steve, what's going on this morning?
Well, actress Neve Campbell selling her Sherman Oaks home for $4.4 million just weeks after listing it. Campbell says the secret was offering a party of five style house and the promise of a scream-inducing handjob.
Oh, my God.
Armie Hammer reuniting with his family for the first time in a while with wife Elizabeth and their two kids for a family photo session. Hammer said his kids were so cute he wanted to eat them up, but he had already eaten a homeless strip dude. Because he's a cannibal. And finally, Kristen Cavallari opening up about completely cutting ties with her father, Dennis, saying it's the best decision she's ever made. Cavallari says it became too stressful trying to pick out a Father's Day gift. That's all
right. Let's see if somebody knows the answer to our question today. One time at a meal at the White House, what ingredient couldn't Ronald Reagan taste in the monkey bread? And we will go to Sean, see if we can get that answer. Hey, Sean, good morning.
Rack 'em.
All right, what was it that Reagan could not taste in the monkey bread?
You could not taste the monkey.
The monkey. You got it, bud. Hang on just a second. And we are going to present you with tickets to see that band we just played, the Revivalists, September 26th at Parks Casino at the Excite Center. And tickets for all upcoming events at parkscasino.com they're available at parkscasino.com. And you must be 21 and older. Parks Casino, this is how you win.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
Brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors, celebrating 100 years right now. Save $250 off windows, $700 off doors, and 0% APR for 48 months. I had a story all set to go for Music News, and then there was a last-minute update to it. So I'm going to just dive right into that. I'm actually happy that there's an update. Authorities have made an arrest in the theft of 2 irreplaceable instruments owned by members of the band Heart that were stolen from a venue in New Jersey last weekend. Atlantic City police say surveillance video initially led them to a 57-year-old Pleasantville man. He was later seen on video walking through various parts of the city trying to sell the instruments.
Oh, man.
He eventually sold one while the other remains unaccounted for. Police declined further comment. The man has been charged with burglary and theft. So the band was set to kick off an Evening with Heart tour at the Hard Rock in AC on Saturday, and its gear had been set up there the day prior to the show. And among the items stolen were a custom-built purple sparkle baritone Telecaster guitar with a hand-painted headstock made for Nancy Wilson, and also a vintage 1966 Gibson EM50 mandolin that band member Paul Moak has been playing for over 25 years. Nancy had said in a statement, "These instruments are more than just tools of our trade. They're extensions of our musical souls." And she also offered a reward for information leading to their return. She said, "We're heartbroken, and we're asking for the safe return. No questions asked. Their value to us is immeasurable." So obviously they're still looking for one of the instruments. And I don't know which one they retrieved.
When you're and you're heartbroken, it doesn't get worse than that.
No.
So how did this guy, and who is this guy? Like, how did he gain access to this stuff?
Don't know. But they left all that stuff sitting out. I mean, I understand... You know, you have you set up the night before, but a lot of times the instruments are put in, vaults.
Yeah.
They have those mobile vaults and they lock them up and nobody can get to them. So I don't know what the story was.
Seems a risky prop. Well, now they learned. Yeah.
All right, how about this? Didn't see this coming. Pop star Nick Jonas will play Kiss singer-guitarist Paul Stanley in the upcoming biopic Shout It Out Loud.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, isn't it?
The Jonas Brothers singer-guitarist has been cast as a Kiss legend and will do his own singing in the movie. The film, being directed by McG, known for helming various music videos of artists like Korn, The Offspring, Sugar Ray, and Sublime, as well as big screen flicks such as Charlie's Angels and Terminator Salvation, among others. So, according to Deadline, McG is also looking to cast a big-name actor to play Gene Simmons, while there's no word yet on who will portray Ace Frehley or Peter Criss.
So he's supposedly looking at Kevin Hart for Gene Simmons. He's going to use the cast of Jumanji.
Okay. Oh, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
So back in 2023, it was reported that Shout It Out Loud would be released on Netflix in 2024, while news of the film first broke a couple of years earlier in 2021. Now Deadline reports the movie will first go into production at the end of this year or early 2026, meaning it probably won't be released until late 2026 or even 2027.
I want to see him in the makeup. Want to see if he can cut it.
And I'm really interested to see a movie about Kiss.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool. The latest script is being handled by Darren Lemke, a screenwriter who's worked on Shrek Forever after Goosebumps Kung Fu Panda 4.
Well, Kung Fu Panda 4 is essentially the story of Kiss.
Yeah, Shout It Out Loud will focus on the formation and the early days of Kiss, who formed in New York City in the early 70s and went on to be one of the most influential acts in rock history. This is really cool. Talking Heads formed in New York in 1975, which means the band is turning 50 years old this year. They're celebrating that anniversary today with the first official music video for Psycho Killer.
Oh, wow.
An enduring classic from the 1977 debut album Talking Heads 77. Now, it's 50 years today since they played their first show, which was an opening slot for the Ramones at CBGB. The video does not feature a Psycho Killer in action, but it might show one in the progress of formation. It was directed by Mike Mills of REM.
Wow.
And it stars the great Saoirse Ronan as an office drone who seems to be having a mental breakdown under the weight of the daily grind. We see her at home, at work, in a car, in the woods, alternating between despair and unhinged crack-ups. It's a really cool video. She's great in it.
I love her.
And here's what she had to say about the video. She said, to simply be mentioned in the same breath as Talking Heads is hands down one of the coolest things that has ever happened to me, let alone making a video with the singular Mike Mills to accompany one of their most iconic songs, Psycho Killer. I've grown up listening to their music, so this is truly a childhood/teenage/lifelong dream come true. Mike, myself, and the rest of the creative team had so much fun making this, and I can't wait for Talking Heads fans to see it. The Talking Heads said in a statement, this video makes the song better. We love what this video is not. It is not literal, creepy, bloody, physically violent, or obvious. It's a pretty cool little thing if you get a chance to watch it.
She's in one of my favorite movies of all time, Brooklyn. Love that movie. Yeah. I hope this is like that movie, Preston. You think it is?
It's a love story. Steve, you're going to love the ending.
Yes, I love it.
And then finally, our buddy Kyle Mack and his project, Minute by Minute, a celebration of the music of Michael McDonald, are going to be performing this weekend on Sunday at 118 North in Wayne, PA. Showtime is 7:30. Doors open at 6:30. And it is an 11-piece band. And as he says in this press release, 3.5 singers. I don't know what that means. But full horn section, rhythm section, and they're wonderful. They came by here and played some music in our studio. But it's not only Michael McDonald's solo hits, but also Doobie Brothers, Christopher Cross, Steely Dan, Patti LaBelle, Van Halen.
Yeah.
So all things that Michael McDonald had a hand in. As we've said before, the song I'll Wait from Van Halen was actually had some co-writing done by Michael McDonald, so that's why they put it in their set. Tickets are only $20.
Hey, you can't beat that.
Yeah, you can buy them in advance at 118northwayne.com, or you can get them at the door. You can also do dinner reservations. If you want to have dinner during the show, you can do that. 21 and over event unless you're accompanied by an adult. So we can't recommend this enough. Really talented local musicians, and they worked very, very hard to put this project together, and we know and love Kyle, of course. So again, you can check out 118northwayne.com and get those tickets for Sunday's show. And that's what we have in music news for you. All right, we have a final break that we're going to take when we get back, wrapping up the show, giving away our Word of the Week prize. Good luck to you. We'll be right back.
Section when I was growing up.
Yeah.
It had a pet section, Kathy, and there was a chimp in there.
Yeah.
A chimp. I'm like, what?
I do remember like odd animals in the Woolworths section. I remember always wanting to get birds. And my mom was like, absolutely not.
Birds. They were like blue.
Yeah.
Yes.
They were nice colored birds. That's why I liked them.
Parakeets?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, they were right down from the chimps.
Finches or something.
Finches, maybe, yeah.
My friend got an alligator, and I believe he bought it legally at a place that's not even there anymore. Nick, you might remember this. As you were driving down the Blue Route, just past Broomall, there's a place called Jobu Pets.
Yeah.
And he got it.
Jobu.
Yes. And he got an alligator from Jobu Pets. What? I know. And we would be in there in his, he had a
you have any more alligators?
He had a giant aquarium in his room, and one time he decided he needed to clean the aquarium while we were all in there. I was like, dude, and he just took the thing out. Like,
had he been bitten by it?
He had.
Yeah. I'm not down with that. No.
All right, we'll go to Jen next. Hi, Jen. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, what were you bitten by?
So when I was 14 years old, I was down in the Outer Banks, and the people I was staying with thought it would be a good idea to go feed the wild horses that were underneath our house. So we bought a whole
She's talking about cave horses.
Underneath your house?
No, the wild horses in the Outer Banks.
Okay.
Yeah, but they were under your house?
Yeah, because they used to, up in Corolla, they used to roam the whole top of the island.
Okay.
Dirt horses.
They were corralled.
All right, so, and was this a house up on stilts or something?
Yeah, it's a house.
That makes more sense.
No, they were earth horses. They burrow into the ground.
Okay.
No, but so listen, I know for a fact that a horse bite can really F you up. So how big was the chomp?
So we joke about it because I got my first hickey from them. It was the giantest bruise on my shoulder. I got trapped between the air conditioner and the house, and the horse just wanted the apple that I had already given.
Oh, my God.
So the horse was about to kill you for an apple.
Oh, I was terrified. And then my mom, I don't know where she came from. She came out of nowhere screaming and yelling, and she luckily scared the horse away before anything else happened. But I can just remember he was walking towards me, and I turned around, and first he was like eating my ponytail.
Man, so listen, if you get, obviously we've all been in proximity to horses. Look at the size of their heads.
Oh, my
look
God.
at it. Look at the size of their mouths.
Yeah.
I mean, that can make some heavy damage.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We just don't think about it because they're horses. They're our friends.
Thank you, Jen. Appreciate it.
Mr. Ed.
But yeah, they're the power of their jaws has got to be extreme. They could easily, bite something off if they wanted to. Let's see. We have a lot of great calls here. I will go next to. There's a lot of monkey calls, believe it or not.
Hey.
Let's go to Liam. Hi, Liam. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. You guys rock.
Thanks, Liam. All right, you have a monkey story.
Yeah, actually, so when I was 13, I'm 28 now, but when I was 13, my family took a trip to Punta Cana, and there's a gentleman next to the pool that had a monkey on a leash, letting people take pictures with it. So my brother talked me into going over to it. It climbs up my leg onto my shoulder, smiles with me, takes a picture, climbs back down, and is holding his hand out. And I thought he wanted a little handshake. So I gave him my thumb, and he just hacked right into it.
Oh!
I want to shake your hand.
To top it off, I'm 13. What do? They take me over to the bar and just pour vodka on.
Well, that's how you respond to a monkey bite. Yeah.
So the monkey was looking for a tip, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Dude, I want money, and I'll rip your goddamn head off if you don't give me some.
And it's funny
That's
because
nasty. Thanks, Liam.
there are those monkeys that are part of tourism and the people train for for tips and stuff like that. They get very aggressive, and I'm surprised that a lot of places where you wouldn't figure they would allow that do allow that because they can freak out at the drop of a hat.
Yeah. So we've had an ostrich bite. We've had several monkey bites. What else we get here? We got another
horse.
Yeah. There's bird bites and all this. But how about this one? Let's go to Jessica. Hi, Jessica.
Hi, welcome.
Hey, welcome.
Welcome to you.
What's up, Jessica?
Thanks for having us over.
Thank you. We appreciate you having us on your show.
I've never been on the radio before.
It's all right. I say something like that on a daily
Preston,
basis. That's totally
what's
wrong.
the latest phrase?
Good morning to see you.
Preston said that, so you're absolutely
Good morning
fine,
to see you. It's all good, Jessica. What's up?
Welcome.
I was in Indiana, and there was a large cat rescue, and they had accidentally had baby tigers. And so for an extra like $5, you could go in and visit that with them. Who doesn't want to go pet a tiger?
Right.
And they were about the size of a big lab. So they weren't huge, but big enough that one decided like my calf looked really tasty, and it bit down on my calf.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it didn't break any skin, but it left a good bruise, and it scared the bejeebies out of me. But,
Jessica, you said it was the size of a large lab?
Of like a dog.
I mean, that's a big animal. If a dog that size bites you, that's problematic. If you have one that's trained to do that, that's basically wild.
Yeah,
and
this
it
isn't
clamps down. Yeah,
this isn't a kitten. This is a young tiger. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I didn't card it, but it was definitely older than like an adolescent.
Yeah.
Was it able to buy alcohol?
That's pretty wild, Jessica. You have a tiger bite. That's way up there on bragging rights.
Yeah.
I like to use it in the whole 2 truths and a lie.
Yeah, totally.
Because no one believes it. I
Thank
love
you,
it.
Jessica.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Wow. Do you remember when the trainer that we knew would bring Louie in here, Louie the chimpanzee? Man, I'll never forget that. He brought him in a couple times. It was really cool to be that close to a chimpanzee and hold him and so on. But he was always on guard.
Yes.
The trainer was like he didn't lighten up for a moment.
No, because he said at any moment, like he was stronger than everyone in the room.
Absolutely. And that if he were to to become unhinged, we got real trouble.
And he said that, like the 3 of the children's parties, every 4th one he'd have to shoot the chimp in front of the kids.
Well, and he would bring, he would.
Get out of the way!
They would bring them to parties and things like that. We had them out.
We did too, Kat.
And how it eventually ended. I don't remember if it was Louis or I think he had Mikey too. Yeah. But they got out of their. All he would say was they got out of their cage and they had to send them to zoos.
Yeah.
Well, he was. Didn't he bring? He brought in one time a cub, a bear cub.
Oh yeah.
And it was my wife. And my wife, the bear cub fell asleep. Claire came in. My wife just because she couldn't believe it, and I said, "You got to get a chance to pet a bear cub." The bear cub fell asleep on her lap. She was sitting on the floor. Those spikes on that bear's, that's a bear cub. Yeah. Those things look like Wolverine.
Yeah.
It doesn't have anything on these friggin' things. It was unbelievable.
So, did you guys see the movie Nope by any chance?
Yes.
Because there's like an underlying theme of a chimp like going crazy. It's terrifying because, it was a fictional thing in the movie, but
it's not inaccurate.
What that thing did, it could, that could have happened in here.
Looking back on Louie and Mikey, like they were cute when they were here, but I'm
not a great idea.
No, it was not smart. Like they're wild animals, and they shouldn't be kept in cages like that.
We also had the white Bengal tigers. Remember that?
Yeah. Yep. That was well before Tiger King came out, and we didn't realize that any yokel could walk around with.
The possum bowl doesn't seem so bad now, does it?
Yeah. Right. Let me see here. Okay, since we did mention snapping turtles, we got to go to Tom here real quick. Hey, Tom, morning, bud.
Good morning to see you.
Yes, very good. Good morning to see you. Good morning, it. Welcome. What's up, Tom?
I used to go camping a lot when I was younger, and
WMMR, Everything Rocks, and a very summery, flavory song, in my opinion. Nice way to end today's program. 10:32. And No Sad Bro Friday is in full effect, heading into a decent weekend. We do have a chance for showers on Sunday, so just be aware of that as you're making weekend plans. We've got graduation on Monday for my youngest. Fortunately, that's looking pretty good.
Oh, there you go. And a little bit cooler, right?
82, so a little bit cooler than
Not
today.
bad.
About ideal, actually.
In the evening?
Yeah.
All right. Well, you'll get away.
So is it, in the football stadium outside, or where's okay.
As long as the weather is going to be acceptable, it'll be in the football stadium.
Ours was in the pavilion on Nova's campus the other night, and which was great because it was pretty warm out. And I know it seems like half are outside and half are inside, but inside with the air conditioning was fine by me earlier this week.
Yeah, so we'll see if the weather does change, and we'll head indoors. We've done one outside and one inside with our kids, so we'll find out what the next is to be. I would like to thank our guest today. We have Mr. Corey B. Stop by, and he was a really nice guy. He's going to be at Helium Comedy Club tonight, tomorrow, Sunday as well. You can get tickets at heliumcomedy.com. He's got millions of followers across all platforms on social media.
It's crazy,
Really fun, talented guy, and he's looking forward to the shows this weekend, which is cool. So it was nice to have him by. And again, congratulations to our final Coolest Teacher of the Year for this 2025 school season, Leslie Kaiser of Washington Township High School, a French teacher. And she's our winner. By the way, Robert, with a name like that, Pierre.
Yeah.
Do you speak any French?
Schwa.
Yeah, of course you do. Schwa to you.
Schwa.
Yeah.
Fwa.
I am sorry I asked that question.
Okay. Do you know how to say cut the grass in French?
How?
Modillon.
That's good. We have some French here, Preston.
Cacalola.
Oh, yeah. And what was the other?
Si.
See, there you go. Yeah.
My classes will begin tomorrow.
Summer class, summer school classes.
Join me at Villanova on the lawn. Underneath the Pope picture.
Nice. How you doing today, man?
Great.
Awesome.
I enjoyed the conversation with the comedian, and I loved that Steve said, yes, Pierre, our legendary blah, 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 blah. And we purposely go late so he can sleep later, which was an interesting deception. But I loved that. However, I actually do love that you go later also.
Well, now, correct me if I'm wrong. The second bizarre file is your alert. Is your
get up and get moving?
Right.
I was in the shower on the bizarre file. So I knew I was in trouble. And then Ryan actually texts me now the exact time the show is going to end. And so I was doing 75 up this little road up here. And
Is that the speed limit on that road?
Yes,
I didn't know.
it's 85. So I was under the speed limit, and I pulled screaming around a corner. And then there was a police car in front of me, and I slowed immediately.
Yes,
I pulled into the parking lot, and I have to leave my house by the song that comes out of the commercials out of Bizarre File.
So technically, you're what, 20 minutes?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
15, 20. I don't know the mileage, but I know the details.
Okay.
And sometimes I tend to go back roads, and if they do work, then I'm effed. But I'm used to all kinds of things. Back in the day with DeBella, this one time I lived up at the Art Museum area, 22nd and Green, and I hopped in. My mother died. She left me her Coupe de Ville Cadillac, her 1979 Coupe de Ville.
It's a beast.
It was a beast, and it was hard to find parking, so I got all these illegal tickets, and it was always wanted. So I had to get it off the streets before 10 because I had to get into a parking lot downtown because that's when the parking authority came by. So I come running down, and I had gotten a few memos from the general manager about being tardy, and it was going in my permanent file. And DeBella, of course, would, as I've told you guys before, would give me no break. I mean, it was just like, because he had this little rap he would end his show with, and at the end he'd go, "Hi there, Willie." And I'd go, and I'd say hello. And then if I wasn't there, he'd go, "Oh, where is he?"
Yeah.
Silence. He doesn't seem to be here. "Oh, he must be late. You mother effer. Could you just give your bro a little break, man?"
He would never cut you slack.
Dude, never.
Yeah.
And so after having caught in one of those a few times, I would drive down 23rd Street, make a left on Locust, over to 20th Street, up, and there was a parking lot I parked in at 20th and Walnut. I make the left on Locust off of 23rd. I go down to 21st Street. There's road construction blocking the street. There's a car behind me. I can't back up. There's construction in front of me. I got this big, fat, old Coupe de Ville, and he's starting to go into always look on the bright side of life, which gives me 2.5 minutes before that out cue. I go, mother, oh, and I pulled the car right up onto the sidewalk. Half of the butt of it's sitting onto the street. Half of the butt of it's bumping it almost into a building at an angle. Put the flashers on and took off running down Locust through 19th, 20th, across Rittenhouse Square, into the Wellington building, hit the third floor button, up on nothing, run down. And the guy is yelling. The road guys go, "What the are you doing?" I go, "I'll be back. Someone will be back." And I made the crossover.
You did.
One of my greatest
That's amazing.
And then I had to find an intern to go move the car.
That's more inspiring than Hoosiers.
Yeah. So there's been any number of calamities which I've either made or not made, similar to catching airplanes. Sometimes you make them.
Sometimes you don't.
As Maxwell Smart would say, when I don't, missed it by that much.
And this is the curse of being Pierre Robert.
I don't wish it on anyone. To be perfectly honest, every word I just told you, that is an absolutely true story. To see that hulking beast of an old car, even then, half on the sidewalk, half of it in the street at an angle with the flashers on, and these construction guys, "What the hell are you doing? I'll be back."
Oh my God!
It occurs to me that you're the only person I know who's actually living in a multiverse. There's another time frame that you live in.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's accurate.
Wow.
How about that letter?
All right, let's do it. We're ready, my man.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
Preston and Steve show brought to you today by the letter
E as in early.
All right, call number 8 at 610-660-9333. You'll take a crack at it. We need to know what that 5-letter word is. Do that, and give it to us correctly, and we have a cool prize that we're going to give to you. So with today, what do we have in store?
We've got more tickets for Queens of the Stone Age in Atlantic City. That's going to be June 13th, coming up pretty quick at the Hard Rock. We also, you guys were talking about the Kiss movie. We have a block of Kiss because Ace Frehley, the spaceman, such a funny interview you guys had.
Oh,
with
that's
him.
great, yeah.
He's at Rivers Casino tonight. So we're going to do a block. I remember when Nick and I met him in the hallway at the Borgata.
Yeah.
And he had played with Pearl Jam the night before we'd spent the night over there.
Mike McCready's a huge Kiss fan.
Right.
Yeah.
And we're in the lobby, or in this elevator lobby, waiting to go up to our room. And he comes in with a thing of Starbucks. And Nick and I go, "Hey, Ace, great playing last night. Ace," and Nick says, "Oh man, Ace, great playing with Pearl Jam." And he goes,
You remember what else was in that elevator? The 4 very attractive young women.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, well, you remember the coffee. I remember the women. So
I remember their brothers, but I don't remember them.
Were they in there with Ace?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
Oh, they were with him.
Yeah, they were all going back up with Ace. Yeah.
They were baristas.
He was
Anyway.
Yes. Yeah, baristas is the term that they use. Yeah.
So
Goddamn spaceship.
we'll have a block of Kiss. Tommy Conwell's playing in King of Prussia on Sunday. We'll have a block of him. Prince will have a birthday, would have had a birthday tomorrow, so we'll do a block of Prince. It'll be fun.
All right, let's see if we can get this caller number 8 to get the word of the week. And it's Stephen that we have. Hey, Stephen, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Preston.
All right, Stephen, give us that 5-letter word, please.
Hey, it would be pride.
Pride. Did you just yell Liberace? All right, Stephen, we're going to set you up with something Liberace would love. A pair of Paddock Pass tickets for the NASCAR Cup Series. Great American Getaway 400, Sunday, June 22nd at Pocono Raceway, and that does include access to the Media Party Plaza and Chalet Village as well. Chalet. So congratulations to you, Stephen.
Thank you very much. Durka.
All right, hang on, Bub. We're going to get your information. And don't forget that NASCAR, it's your time to start your summer as NASCAR returns on June 20th through the 22nd to the Tricky Triangle at Pocono. And for more information and to get your tickets, you can head to PoconoRaceway.com. Let's take a moment to thank our sponsors. The Preston and Steve Show, brought to you by Dunkin'. The Preston and Steve Show runs on Dunkin'. Thank you again to Dunkin'. Today's National Donut Day, and they dropped off some donuts today. So stop by and get a free donut with any beverage purchase. Brought to you also by Acme Markets, fresh food, local flavors, and brought to you by United Tire and Service. Buy 2 tires, get $50. Get $50 and additional service. I think it's get $50 off additional service. I'll have to check on that, probably. Don't drive alone, drive United. Next week on our program, we will have Steve-O joining us.
I love Steve-O.
Have many times on this show. Our buddy Ricky Bo from our sister station is stopping by. And also, I'm excited about this. We will have Tom Johnston, lead singer of the Doobie Brothers. Yeah.
That's freaking awesome.
Pretty awesome, right?
Love him, man.
Cool. And the I Bleed for Presidency blood drive is next week.
2 days.
Yeah, 2 days, Thursday and Friday. Details WMMR.com. That is it. We are done. Rage on. Have a great weekend, friend. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.